Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Chat, why do you have to write ew? Why can't you just say good morning? It's just a good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Chat, I woke up today. I opened my phone. I thought, I'll check the match score of the C9 series. Brother, how is C9 out? Like, what? What? Quid is the goat of mid lane, that's why. They got smoldered. That means that what's the world slots gonna be? FlyQuest 100 Thieves or FlyQuest Shopify Ratbellion? Can you watch the highlights of the games? Yeah, we can. Man, I feel bad for Dom, man. He put in so much work with them. Chat, who won, Alcaraz or Djokovic? I'm guessing Alcaraz won, right? Wait, let me have a look here. C9. Alcaraz won in 3? Wait, really? Did Djokovic just get fucking stomped or what? Bro. Hang on a second. Why is LS's YouTube video the most glorious hate watch of my life? Does he hate C9 or what the? Oh yeah, he's ex-coach, yeah. Yeah, this morning's gonna be a bit of a slow wake up. I think DK is gonna give me the energy I need when the time comes to it.
Like, you are gonna want safety, so how nervous is he? Does he go Ezreal or Xayah? Those are kind of the more safe picks.
What games were interesting? I watched game 1. Game 2, Stomp.
Finally dies to Blabber. Needs a little bit.
Game 3.
Oh, nice arcane storm to interrupt the recall from Vulcan. The Alistar now flashing away, but the Death Ray catches him.
Lucian Alistar into Braum. Oh. Ooh, fuck, I hate that. I fucking hate Lucian Alistar into Braum. What happened there? What happened in this draft?
Just a great way every time
or
Why do they ban Senna? I would ban Rakan Braum 100%. And I think Lucian on 4 is... I think it should just go Zeri, shouldn't they? Or some shit. Lucian Alistar, I hate that. I also don't like 1-2 Talia Skarner. Hey, this game looks fucking impossible to play, by the way.
Fires off a laser, tags Loki.
I'm gonna look really stupid if C9 won this game.
However, the Herald is already secured. Loki fires off. Okay, the Herald marching back into the mid lane. No value going to be gained from that one. 100 Thieves want this dragon, but immediately engaged from Vulcan. Beautiful catch into the follow-up on Quid. Now, if Otacon's alive, you have to click him.
It's happening. I mean, they get the teleport and they're fighting.
Oh, but now Ayla's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Steps forward with the Unbreakable. Vulcan with the Unbreakable will now knocking Ayla back towards the rest of C9. Aphelios ulti's not going to find a lot. And the Impale seals Ayla's fate. Thanatos trying to do something here in the back line, but already Dokla has dived forward. Loki gets the kill on him.
Oh, winning. What the fuck did Thanatos? Oh my god. He just completely trolled.
so they're the
That
ones
was
with
such a
the lead
free
up.
double
We're going
kill.
to have to be extra careful. Loki with a Weaver's Wall, but it's not going to section anyone away. Thanatos only has half of an R-bar, as now Vulcan's gonna
What did Alistar just do? Oh, it's over, by the way. They just lost.
Steal the Otacon, and C9 come crashing back down to earth. A double kill for
Except
FBI.
this time it was actually C9 spending all their resources.
They just lost the
trying
game
to
on
heal
Otacon or what?
River, because the Otacon is actually shredding them the whole time they're peeling, and the rest of 100 Thieves.
Incredible. Everyone gonna remember that Zeri
The
game
Zeri.
where it was just a heroic performance from him in a game number 5. But
Want this as with the Ram. As we fight over the wave here mid, teleport coming in, Thanatos looking to join the fight, Blabber with the slam into the wall, River has been caught.
Oh
C9
my god.
want this as their moment, River dies first, but low health bars on C9 as they try to retreat.
I hate the
Quinn's
positioning
coming
of the
in with
carries there.
Sven. Loki in danger now as Dokla wraps around from the side. Sven's about to die against Quinn as only Vulcan and Thanatos are still standing. A nice little bit of damage comes out from Thanatos, but
Yeah, GG.
flashing
So this game was cooked.
Loki's gonna have to join this fight pretty swiftly,
So
and there's the
they have
TP
Mount
coming
and
in
Soul,
now.
right?
River down to 2/3
And a
HP,
Phelios.
C9 on the approach. Thanatos Narbar charged, but he does take a chunk on his way in. Vulcan wrapping around from the side. 100 Thieves are gonna turn their fire onto the enemy support.
That's
as he's
so
now
deep.
stranded in the middle of a bunch of thieves.
Way too deep.
C9 as well, but a nice two-man impale coming out from Blabber to try to turn it around. 100 Thieves are going to lose 2 for sure, but C9 need even more than that. Thanatos wrapping around from the side, but he has no Narbar. Vulcan's ready to follow it up, jumping in, but the Cataclysm locks up C9. 100 Thieves are trying to fight back. FBI's got to be protected.
This game's
Thanatos
cooked.
is already down. Loki next.
It's cooked. Even with the winning fight, doubling him down, they have Mount and Soul. Aphelios is completely broken.
the gold lead suddenly does not matter at all. Loki, though, in trouble.
Yeah, Loki finds himself stuck in the Cataclysm as River is putting the pressure on the C9 mid laner.
Is River just the GOAT, by the way? Like, is that guy who normally just plays so well, doesn't he?
The kill on the enemy jungle, and now Vulcan's got to try to run as well. The Alistar ultimate is forced.
I feel like that guy just shows up, man.
It won't even matter because he will not be useful, but it won't even be the case. It works out.
100 Thieves is
Did they first pick Sylas? Or is this bugged? They go Viego mid. Oh, this draft, I would like it if they had a like an AP top or something here. Or an AP jungler. But I guess Kaisa can go AP.
First couple objectives and take
Eventually get that Ocean Soul, it would make...
Was he like first timing the Viego mid or what?
100 Thieves wanting to approach this. Otacon down to 5k. Thanatos looking to keep River away from this objective, but Quid's coming around on the flank. Keep your eyes on the Viego here off to the left. Hostile takeover, not going to get a lot this time. C9, they're taking a ton of damage, and River steals away the
But
Otacon. Now Sven's gonna die first.
I feel like I'm watching a replay of game 3. Like, what the fuck is this?
Still a 2 for 2 overall. 100 Thieves steal the Otacon.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And
This feels like they
expecting
watched
different
T1
results.
Gen G,
And
like
that
spam click
Otacon
Atacon on
serves
spawn and
insane.
force it.
River is right there and steals
And they
it.
just like did it
actually
themselves
can't
and
believe that
just...
happened. They're in so much control of the game, and they just let
Danger here, River moving forward with Quid and Ayla right beside him. Blabber's taking a ton of burst, but he's still alive for now. The Xin Zhao ultimate very powerful. Quid about to die, and Sven gets the kill on the enemy mid laner. Now Blabber might just fall.
They still win the game then, I guess. This Sylas is frying. Loki's pretty good, right?
Yet again, chunks back into the Skanda duck.
100 Thieves can actually more.
Concerned about kill.
It's actually so much answer. They're engaged. No.
Pantheon first pick Chandra Leona. Yon. Oh my god, blue side draft 1, 2, 3 is fucking broken. Vlad top counter. Senna on 4. Smolder
Use Derek
Tarek.
ult offensively.
Oh, I hate the TF pick, you know. I would not want to play TF in this game. I would not want to play TF with Vlad Leona. No way. This is kind of reminds me of the... What series was it that they picked Smolder mid into TF? Was it Nongshim? It's like the reverse. The Smolder now has like really... Oh, what am I saying? It's picking Smolder. Wait, he's picking TF into Yone. What am I saying? Ooh. Wait, there must be like a good pick here on 5, isn't there? Is Aurora open? No, it's not. Does Thanatos not play Jax or something? I feel like maybe Vlad mid Jax top is better.
It's actually so much.
There's a pick on 5 here. If it wasn't 6 AM, I could tell you a pick on 5 that goes hard, but I feel like Jax top is probably better. Why is TF not good? I mean, I just don't like TF with Leona Vlad. I feel like that's just... It's not good enough spread for the TF. It's like, it's not unplayable, you know, it's fine, but I personally don't like the TF there.
Because when you can just sit around an objective, wait for the other team to fly.
Also, by the way, I'm #1 CEO Senna hater. Like I am. I've just seen this champ just lose every game, all the time, always, forever useless. This is a good fight for C9, I think. All they have to do is wait the Taric ult, lose the Herald, and kill them all.
But nothing more happens right after C9 still looking for the fight. Thanatos going into the back line. FBI's in danger, has to try to flash away. 100 Thieves on the defensive. Thanatos has already killed Ayla.
Wait, they lost after this?
Feet of warfare claimed as C9.
How the fuck did they lose?
And Quid has to head for the hills, but Thanatos will bury him there. Cloud.
Don't commit, waste that ult, which is such a monstrously long cooldown, and then find the
Don't you dare say they threw it at Atakan, by the way.
Need to find a way to use
and getting out of there once Pantheon ulted in. Don't want to be in fights when Thanatos isn't around. Unless they do, they're back in.
Yeah, they jump in for a little bit of stun onto Ayla, but it's not going to matter. Vulcan loses half his HP, and the fate sealed from Quid does just that. River picks up the kill, and 100 Thieves, 19 minutes in, are on the board.
Yeah, a little bit aggressive there from Vulcan. Doko's pushing in the side lane, so both teams are going to
look like they're going to come and try to contest this. Again, they kind of just have
Don't you dare say they're going to click Atakan and lose the game.
Just using it as a down payment to not have to continue fighting C9 at the disadvantageous state they've been ever since the Rift Herald.
Oh my god, you could see the way they're clicking that they don't want to do it. Like, Trundle and Leona here are saying, okay, let's base. I think Sven's saying, but what if Atakan can't do it? Okay, I'm going mid. And Blubber says, okay, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And I can see it in the way they click.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, Doko did show top lane. He just finished another item. He has the TP available, and they have been spotted. I can't imagine the C9 commit to it from this spot.
This is the window before FBI is going to be at 225. He's at 205 stacks on the Smolder right now. So C9, they're drawing him in.
Yep, C9 starting it up. Thanatos coming in, looking to help. Otacon already down.
Come on, please be just a clean Atakan.
Thieves looking for their opportunity to go in here. Blabber taking some damage for now. Otacon down to 4K. Thanatos with pressure onto the back line, but he's not going to find a whole lot of anything just yet. Blabber so low, about to die. Thanatos may just be the first one down. River taking the shutdown as C9 have to continue their retreat. 100 Thieves now on the Otacon themselves.
I'm actually like severely disturbed. Blabber can maybe still get this. Oh my god, that was a clutch smite.
Quid going in looking for a little bit more. Loki hits him with the blue card, but it's not a whole lot. River looks for the Grand Starfall here to cut off the escape.
That was a hard smite.
Yep, that's the power spike we're looking for, but now the Grand Starfall for the engage on Blabber. This might be the catch.
Blabber caught.
Sven and Vulcan can't get him
away. Smolder smoldering.
On the approach, Baron down to half HP. Thanatos looking for the angle to get into the fight. Hits a big tides of blood, but he's locked up and killed before he can get anything else. 100 Thieves looking to take the fight.
Oh, it's over.
Vulcan's gonna be their next
it's actually over.
Chop him up on killing spree for the Pantheon. Sven and Loki trying.
How did Blabber get caught?
Now 100 Thieves back onto the Baron. Again, the health battery that is Ayla's Taric makes it so difficult to try to knock these guys over. Sven's on the run. He has to flash away to try to stay alive, but Quid hits him with a Q3 and executes him where he stands. 100 Thieves take the lead.
Wow.
In a side lane.
And the rest of 100 Thieves.
Jesus. Shall I run the ads now and then after draft? Hopefully it's all good. I don't know if I think I just fucked the ads up, but we'll try our best. Well, C9's out, but DK's gonna stay in. Oh, I need to swap to YouTube, man. Why does it always do this on Twitch? There we go. There we go. Are you gonna watch LCP today? No. I'm gonna watch DK 3-0 bro. How's IG doing? They're doing great.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the LCK play-ins. We don't have many more of these best of fives to
Oh
go.
my god,
Today,
it's Atlas for bro versus
we have
DK.
one that will leave many of us with a heavy heart. Myself especially, maybe not Wolf. He's just looking to see whether D+ are indeed the frauds that they have kind of looked like for some of this year.
Yeah, are D+ going to be able to prove themselves here finally and make that run through the playoffs, or will they be dispatched by old rivals in the Bros? So many high-stakes matches between D+ and Bro have gone the way of Bro. Normally when these teams met up in playoffs, which happened a few times, I think twice, it was D+ who ended up getting the win, but sometimes Bro was able to upset D+ to stop them from getting a top seed or to make their way into playoffs. There's a lot of history between these two squads, as anyone who's been following the LCK since Fredit Brion will be able to tell you. They got the Kingslayer nickname from beating Damwon Kia at a time when Damwon Kia was unbeatable.
Yep.
And so as a result, if you're a D+ fan, you kind of were wishing it wasn't going to be this matchup that could have potentially been the knockout, as well as consider since round 1, favoring Bro a little bit. In round 5, D+ did get the win over them 2-0. Almost all series have actually been pretty one-sided here, though.
Yeah, and it's absolutely insane seeing this game record be even between these two teams. I think one thing that we can take away from this is we're likely to get that Bro value. And that is what we're looking for. Coaching staff expressing some disappointment in the previous drafts. And I could kind of, be there with them. I think we've had some pretty horrific, like even yesterday, for example.
We're apologizing for the draft. We're apologizing for the draft.
From Nongshim, they're going to need to get back on the horse for that one to face off against whoever wins here. But Duke saying by Game 5, drafting wasn't easy, and they will definitely need to fix that. CVMAX has been struggling.
It's Bengi versus Duke. It is Bengi versus Duke.
Fearless has solved his biggest problem, which was running back bad drafts over and over again.
Yeah.
And thankfully, he just cannot do that anymore.
If this goes to 5
True,
games,
CVMAX was the guy who like picked champs for his team. They lost and he was like, "You're just bad, pick it again," and picked it again. And they lost and he said, "You're just bad, we're gonna pick it again."
Far off of players like Zeus, as you can see here, and could eventually pass players like Kuve and Smeb, who are retired. Here's the Preds, which I imagine will be
all DK
split.
Oh my goodness. It's actually Bro favored on our side, and no one
Korean casters know exactly what's going on
the Korean side.
And 2 3-0s from Wadid and Jonas Strong as well.
Damn.
Everyone else, though, I mean, looking at this, how many? We have 3
Korean casters, they just know ball.
3-2s, but everyone else
just
in this
know
game
ball.
is going 5 series, or 5 games out of this series. As, wow, it doesn't get closer than this.
Oh my god.
LCK Twitter is clueless. That's just all hate watchers of DK.
Bro fans, we know. It doesn't matter. They are going to support. And do you know what the best thing is about this series? I could imagine a lot of D+ fans are also pretty keen on Bro, just in general.
No,
in
we're
fact,
not. We're not.
There was a guy in Twitch chat earlier on, JWLR, and they said, if I'm a DK fan, do I still pay the bro tax? And the answer is, you absolutely do. And guess what? They did. It's absolutely fantastic. Time to get into an interview? I'm pretty sure. Let's go into it.
네, OK저축은의 감독 듀크 이호성입니다. 아무래도 저번 경기에서 1, 2세트 때 무기력하게 패배한 게 가장 큰 원인이라 생각해서 그 부분을 집중적으로 생각하고 준비해 왔습니다. 3, 4세트 가면은 어렵다고 생각했었는데 이제 저번 경기에서는 괜찮게 됐던 것 같고 5세트 가면은 확실히 많이 어려운 부분이 있는 것 같아요. 저희의 조합을 완성시키는 게 가장 큰 거라고 생각해가지고 그 부분으로 생각하고 있습니다. 1, 2세트에 어느 팀이 가져가냐가 가장 큰 포인트일 것 같습니다.
Whoever wins game 1 and 2.
지면은 이제 진짜로 시즌이
Well,
끝이기 때문에
listen.
것을 다 쏟아붓도록
You might think this is a very high stakes game
안녕하세요.
because it's elimination.
배성우입니다.
But let's be honest, if DK lose this series, this is the most embarrassing thing they will have ever done. So they won't.
아무래도 챔피언이 빠졌을 때 티어가 빠르게 바뀌고 거기서 조합을 잘 짜는 게 중요한데 그런 거를 일단 잘하는 게 중요하다고 생각하고 있습니다. 피어리스니까 다양한 방식으로 뱀픽이 나오다 보니까 거기서 대응을 잘하는 게 중요하다고 생각하고 있습니다. 오늘 꼭 승리해서 위에까지 더 올라가도록 노력하겠습니다. 디플러스 기아 화이팅!
Bengi, please, if CVMAX says go Kimon on 5,
Very
say
interesting
no.
to hear from both of these
Call it
coaches.
off.
Former
Call it off.
T1 alumni, of course, and G-Sun obviously did remind us of that because, of course, they were playing in the Bang era of SKT back in the day. But Duke, of course, also a world champion on IG as well, which is very, very cool. So we'll see how this matchup is going to go in the coach's booth and in this draft as well, Will.
Yeah, and you know, we saw the predictions on the global side were very close. On the Korean side, not so much. The fan vote was 80%, and then online, a lot of metrics putting like somewhere between 60 to 75% for D+. As the KR side thinks D+ is going to get it done. I think a lot of this is kind of the transitive property of Nongshim's series against Bro, and then, of course, B&K destroying Nongshim yesterday
just
in a
because
much
they're
more
wearing
one-sided
Crocs
series than we expected. So much of play-ins to me, though, has been about draft and not about top-tier picks. It's been about composition, as the coaches were alluding to, both coaches in that coaching interview. It's about the comp you build, not about the picks you have. And one counter pick in the mid lane and the top lane isn't necessarily going to be game defining. It's how your comp works together as we take a look
C9 Fnatic
at our
DK.
jungle matchup here.
Are they all just going to have to be sent to
Lucid.
Cancun?
This is so exciting
No,
to see.
only Fnatic and C9.
Rounds 3 and 5 and play-ins. We've seen, you know, some drop downs on some of these stats here, but if you look at the stats in CS difference here, very, very high for Lucid, actually, across the board. Has not been able to translate that into consistent performances, though, on the Rift. Same for Krako's kill participation in play-ins, by the way, has been insanely high. I feel like the jungle role has been the most pivotal since we've hit these BO5s.
Yep, and we saw yesterday as well, farming isn't actually necessary. Raptor demonstrated that, in fact, you can just gank kind of all the time, and that'll work. It kind of reminds me of many, many seasons ago where junglers basically just didn't get anything at all on the Rift. Maybe not necessarily the same thing because they were more vision bots. That was when you just had Mondo walking around with an Oracle's Elixir, looking cool.
Masks, yeah, they're probably sick.
OK Savings Bank Breon staff have contracted COVID-19, so that is why
what? They got COVID, some of their staff?
And why you saw Duke wearing a mask earlier, so for some additional context there. I don't think it'll affect the series too much. A majority of these players have played through the COVID era and have lived through that time period and are very familiar with what it's like to wear masks on stage.
Yep. And some players just wear masks on stage anyway, not even necessarily if it's COVID. And can you believe it's still 19? I thought we'd be at least up to COVID 28 or 35 or
I'm no scientist, you know, I'm not... it might not even be COVID-19. I just added the moniker there at the end.
Aiming lock-in, please. Just get fucking...
Just
get it done today. Just get it done. CBA.
Just
actually, just CBA.
Potential of it, as of course there are some members of the staff that do have it. So
it's just to make sure everyone is safe here, of course, amongst the team as well.
And to hide their emotions from D+.
Poker face.
Exactly right. And I want to talk about taking some inspiration because the play-ins has been the start of not only best of fives, but also a brand new patch. And I think it's so interesting, right? Because this is someone that, especially Valdez, has been very critical of.
Put it up.
But Ryu just gets it, man.
Yeah, Ryu has had the best drafts, and it's wild to see, but he has made comps that are low tier, but they're comps against an enemy team comp that has like more meta champions.
4 coaches?
Quotes, but
Four?
Raptors just like lol
4
the fury,
coaches?
by the way.
4 of them? 4?
Watch out
4
for
of
my
them?
level 3 gank, and that has been working, so their reads have been really good.
When did that
I
happen?
think a lot of our teams have been spending so many draft resources in game 1. I feel like a lot of these best of 5s we've had have been 2 insanely strong drafts against each other that are so expensive fearless-wise. And whoever wins that gets such a huge edge because all the other champions you
just
picked
I
in that
hate
game
watch
1
this
draft are gone
series.
for the rest of the best of 5.
Yeah, and I like the use of their expensive
but they're not cohesive. This is the issue. You like pick a whole bunch of
Bro's
stuff
building
that is theoretically
Gundams.
very strong on the patch, but that doesn't matter if they don't work correctly together, right? So we'll just have to see what kind of things these coaches have come up with at the drawing board. Moving into game number 1 here of this best of 5, do or die between DK and Bro.
How did we end up here?
The last time
from going 5 games against Hamalive to playing against Bro for 8th place.
To just pay bro tax in games that they're not in.
Yeah,
it's nuts. I don't know how we're going to figure it out.
So here's the plan: win this, win versus Nongshim, draw Genji, lose.
Taken away with the Yanara and
win against Fearex.
Yep, on the side.
Win against KT.
Yeah, pretty decent chance that Pantheon is
take
gone.
the last world spot.
Atalia will match as the Pantheon actually gets taken away here by D+. As maybe looking for a Wukong first pick here.
A bit of yaw.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's the plan.
If only we had have banned
in case you were wondering.
Evelyn Ezreal, because then we could have got Yi-Yo.
We still got Ya, it's just a different spelling.
Yeah.
So Wukong first pick feels pretty obvious here. They may be looking for something else though.
What have you got to me? Rumble?
Rumble is
going to be able to pair with it.
Strong.
That's true.
Wukong?
But I think Wukong is just so insanely strong right now and will be snapped up.
Okay, we'll take a Wukong.
Just the same.
I think this is interesting.
We'll take a Wukong.
I feel like we've been seeing less Wukong first picks when we're expecting them. And DK this time around will actually pull the trigger
Good
without
start.
the Annie available to them, but it is going to cost them a fair bit, you could imagine, as the Rumble and
she was
Orianna
gonna int.
both
No, he's
going
not.
to be taken away, of course. Showmaker has been defaulting to the mechanical
Okay, they took our Orianna.
quite a lot.
Yeah,
we can
there's
go
a lot of potential in
Galio.
this draft
We
here
can
for
go
Bro now,
Ornn.
because
we can go
you can either go
Gwen.
for something like a Jarvan, or
We
you
can
can go
go.
for the Nocturne.
Ooh, I don't know about
because
Rise.
The Rise feels pretty obvious.
There it is, there it is, there it is. Look at
can
that.
have a global
Maddie
impact
wakes up. She
and
comes
is
in the
good
chat.
to
She
the
says,
Orianna.
can't wait to watch my
Yeah,
favorite
you
team
can
of
also still play
DK of
Gwen
the
in
world.
this draft as well,
Maddie,
on DK's side.
are you a
Because
DK
Rumble,
fan, yes
it's
or no?
not, like, I feel like
Are you a
that
DK
Gnar
fan?
counter pick that we saw yesterday did work out very well because you actually capitalized on her lost
Be
armor.
honest.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Rumble doesn't necessarily do that.
It's
Be
very
honest.
expensive if you
Say it.
commit that in now, but with
Say
the
it.
fact that both the Rumble and the
Showmaker
Orianna
fan,
here,
so
you
of
know the
course,
Aurora can't
hell
really be
yeah.
played.
Yeah.
It does work, and she was definitely considering it here. I don't think you want
Real
to play
recognizes
Nabessa
real.
in this game.
It just do be like that.
It has a lot of value in other drafts, and so probably
Maddie the
avoid
goat.
that one. A lot of thought
W
going
Maddie.
into this. As
Ornn?
They're gonna lock the Aurora,
Aurora,
ultimately themselves, in
damn,
fact.
okay.
So making the Gwen much more stronger, but not in this game.
No, exactly right. It's going to mean that Gwen will need to be banned for the rest of the series, you could imagine. But we will see. Of course, she was nerfed a little bit as well, as Xin Zhao is going to be hovered and should be locked here by Croco.
Yeah, that's definitely where they're looking here. The Jarvan was still a possibility, and remove Sivir,
Nongshim
because
took.
Sivir is so good with
I know
the
Bro
Rise,
took Nongshim to 5. It
but
doesn't matter.
They can just ban the Sivir now.
DK's gonna beat
and I
Nongshim
think they
later.
probably will. This is not a draft where you necessarily are thinking Kai'Sa is super high prio with this Wukong setup. It can be utilized in drafts like this, but it's not the Giga Kai'Sa angle. So I imagine that Sivir will be taken away at this spot.
I'm also kind of surprised that we haven't seen Nico's priority just skyrocket. We've seen her be so incredibly pivotal.
I think if you're D plus Kia, you're more concerned about the pick right now because they get pick priority, so they're on red side. And so Rakan gets taken away first.
What are you banning against OK Men, bro? Do you ban
well
Jhin?
Wukong. And Nico just wins you the bottom lane kind of by default.
Do we play? No, we don't play
We've seen that
Kai'Sa
in
here.
so many scenarios. Corki, Nico, incredibly powerful lane.
I don't know why people don't ban
And
Corki,
that is
by the way.
certainly something that we could see. Okay,
I feel like
savings
Corki
bank
ban
round
is
look
good
to
on blue.
lock in here.
Taking a long
Yeah,
time
D+
for
are
these bans.
really using the clock fully.
I like the Jhin ban for DK. I haven't really enjoyed watching Aiming play Jhin. I am kind of known as a bit of a Jhin anti, so it is understandable that I don't like watching Jhin. There are some Jhin players that have been pretty good.
Hype got this team here by flashing on Teddy with Jhin, so
see,
it does kind
What
of
do you mean
make
you don't
sense.
like the DK draft? It's
also
fine.
got
It's
solo
all
killed 3
good.
times in that game.
Yeah, no, his early
We
game
allow
was
it.
great. They're actually the ones to ban Poppy away, or not Poppy, sorry,
Nico
the Nico
ban.
away.
I
this
think
means
just
that they
ban
want Silva.
Corki. Or
Yeah.
Nautilus.
And it's crazy how neither of these teams have banned it just
Ban
yet.
Corki or Nautilus.
And it's
IMO.
incredibly strong with both comps, but I like it more for D+'s. As D+ are just going to use every single second of this clock again, which can be a good thing to use your time to think about all possibilities, but it also can be a worrying thing as a commentator. You're like,
yeah,
you guys have a plan here? I hope so. As the Poppy I mentioned does get taken away. If Nico is gone, Poppy stocks go up massively.
He wants Alistar.
So that does
and then if they take it on, why didn't they just spend Corki? I don't get it. That champ is so OP. If you take Alistar, they can go Brad.
Pick in play-ins and is 3-0. Has not lost a game yet.
I could imagine its KDA is absolutely absurd as well, with what we were seeing from Diablo yesterday especially. Oh my god, that game was very difficult to watch.
And you get a support counter pick here now, so you feel very confident that you're going to win this lane no matter what.
It was Lucian
Don't do Lucian
it's the only
Braum.
thing you can play really left, unless you wanted to try to
Don't do Bro,
Varus
what is
trap,
this?
Varus
Lucian Braum game 2-3, maybe.
I don't know whether I like Braum here, though. It is going to be what they do, but doesn't feel fantastic. We'll see what Polo is going to go towards. Of course, Polo is going to pick and engage support into Braum. That is what's going to happen. Like Rel or something like that. Alistar might get picked up here. Yeah, there it is.
Oh my god, they're picking Alistar into Braum. What the fuck? Channel on ads if you know what ads. You can try and have subs. I don't want to back the games.
Damage output into any support that tries to interact with the Alistar.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That Alistar pick helps a bit. I like that.
In the bottom 2v2. And then the Alistar's
your 4 coaches did this draft? Yeah, my 4 coaches fucking
for the Orianna as well. So I really do like how OK Savings Bank Breon rounded this composition out. There's a decent side lane threat with this Aurora here for D plus Kia, and if the Aurora gets ahead in the lane against Morgan on his Rumble, then the Ryze can have a lot of value elsewhere. But my issue with D plus is
I'm upset,
doesn't necessarily fully all in on any type of game state. Like, it's not the most amazing late game comp. Like, Ryze can do a lot of damage later. It's not a perfect pick comp, even though you have the Lucian that has great follow-up for that. It's kind of a mishmash of, I tried to get the best of every lane matchup, but I didn't end up with a comp that has a ton of cohesion.
Yeah, my problem is that there are a lot of short-range champions with not a lot of engage. And that spells, if you fall behind, you lose.
Yeah.
Because you just cannot approach anything at all, ever. Unless you have a phenomenal flank. They'd need incredible coordination.
Why are you upset it hasn't even started?
Back into a game. And of course, Aurora
because this shouldn't happen.
For doing that. You've
we
got
shouldn't
Ryze
be
with
here.
Warp. If they can use these tools very effectively, it can work. But the problem is, keep it simple, stupid has been so effective here in the play-ins. We'll see whether that's continuing to be so as we jump into the Rift for game 1.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, I just want to say thanks to everyone for their bro tax. There is so much of it littering the Twitch chat right now, and it fills my heart with incredible amounts of joy. And I really appreciate you guys. Even the DK fans that are also pressing the bro tax button. Because
DK fans press the bro tax button, you are removed from the fan base.
Egon is looking to launch his new website, brofundme.com, after Bro's run ends.
I'm surprised that hasn't already been made. You could just accidentally make money if you just made that.
You did not wake up just to hate watch DK.
Just call it BroFundMe. People
can you just be unbiased today,
and then,
idiot?
You know, you just link it to the Bro organization, and suddenly, like, they
just be unbiased today.
Players next year. You could fund it.
Oh, honestly, this is such a missed opportunity.
Anyone
Hopefully,
on our side?
We've sent a message, right? With the fact that the majority of the global side predicted Bro, and we had a 51% prediction rate for Bro versus DK on X as well.
I think
that means maybe they will start to listen to what we have to say, and that is, it all comes down to Bro tax. As Hype and Polo, it's going to be a little bit rough, I guess, in the early stages just because it's an Alistar, but it is also a Corki. So
yeah.
Probably not going to be too worried.
I think a lot of Alistar lanes struggle into Lucian, but not this one necessarily. It's very close, as you guys can see. The push goes to Hype and Palu, which feels really nice for them. As long as they don't overstep here, they should be able to get the level 2 advantage.
Yeah, aiming, you can see, still trying to step up. But
aiming,
one more
hit the Q, please.
I believe the Bros will be able to reach that level 2.
God bless.
Very close. There it
Never
is.
you mind. There it is.
And you can see the win rates here across these champs. Aiming has had a very good performance on the Lucian. It's Shiu's Aurora that has been in the late game is so insanely impressive. In base defense, obviously for that famous Penta, but in late game scraps, his usage of the ultimate, where he places it and how mobile it makes him, how survivable it makes him is really, really huge.
Yeah, he's been like, his clutch play in the later stages of the game has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, Siwoo's clutch is good, but his actual gameplay is rough.
Have lacked a bit of longevity in these games. I think we're going to need a little bit more mental fortitude out of these players, especially Lucid and Shiu have seemed to struggle as the series goes on.
Don't get me wrong, having a clutch factor is great, but you gotta have other factors. You can't just have clutch.
Fair amount of engage.
What are you gonna do? Fucking int me the whole game and then just clutch
with a top laner that's a mage. So you're not looking at a positive late game state if you don't have control of the map. And D+ do often kind of mess up a fight and lose control of the map in the late game. As Krako is coming for a very aggressive level 3 gank here to punish the pushing Aurora.
Well, let's see how Shiu is going to be able to do here. It does go into stealth, and that should allow him to get away from this one.
Chilling.
No flash required, but does
Chilling really
a lot
hard.
of damage. So does Morgan, though. Man, down to sub 100 health just from following the Aurora to try and kill her.
Yeah, it took a lot of damage earlier in the initial trades and had the lane pushed in. In fact,
you're not getting that
Shiu's going to read this well, doesn't back, but now neither does Krako actually.
Yeah, he's going to come back and look for a bit of an angle here. As Shiu going to be able to bounce away. When becomes lightning is going to become a miss.
That hits.
Take his Krugs.
I mean, I don't know whether it kills, but it's close. It still feels bad.
Did this rat just run across the whole map to take enemy?
Close. Shiu doesn't have to flash, though, ultimately, as Lucid is going to come on to Krako now.
Yeah, Krako in so much
trouble.
Kill him,
by the way. Kill him.
Wind becomes lightning onto a mini Krug, and the audacious charge going to get him out of there. But I don't know.
There's
Lucid's
no
still
way
chasing
he's
after
out.
him. Needs a few buttons to come back off cooldown. 4 seconds, and the blast cone is going to be there.
All right, so some near deaths there. Lucid feels really bad about the fact that he wasn't able to get that kill, especially because he committed his flash on the follow there. No prio for closer means he can't come up and assist. He is just locked down under this turret with Showmaker just pushing these waves in. This is a good matchup for the Rise, especially early on, and you know, he's just going to constantly out-wave clear you, as we're going to have another trade up here on the top side.
Cannon denied here by Morgan, so it's a trade up already, as he does make himself quiet. It is weird that when Rumble silences himself, he gets louder.
Yeah.
Which I think is wrong. I don't like that very
Rumble
much.
matchup is now losing.
And so the Lord is eating good here towards his top side.
But it's okay. Look at the lanes.
Like,
just look at the lanes.
The Yordle
Mid.
that says,
hard
like,
matchup.
Warning,
winning.
or is it actually like
winning.
I think that's the mech.
Yeah, I think
3
so.
winning lanes,
so
baby,
I guess
in
maybe
draft.
he's quiet.
Well, actually, mid is a losing lane on
so
paper.
he's
robot
been silenced, but the robot's still loud. There you go. But wait, the robot is the one that can't use abilities.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Shouldn't
You
Lucid
feel
have
like you get
based
to the
open
bottom of
bot,
it, and
taken
then
bot
another
scuttle and
issue
full clear
crops
to
up.
top so
It's
he can
the
play on
mech
Rumble
that
lane?
uses the amp tome to
Why did
be
he
a
open
spellcaster.
top,
Yeah,
full
the
clear
mech
to
has
bot,
to read the
crab,
book to get
flip it,
the
and then
info.
enter?
Bit of a
All right,
fight
yeah,
here.
DK going aggressive here as we do get concussive
Like
blows on
playing
Apollo,
topside.
taking a bit of damage from aiming, but Beryl
Better.
also looking a little worse for wear. These fast
So
bombs do
Aurora
need to
can
land
actually
from
win her
Hypo
lane.
if they do want to be able to keep this lane working. And you can see aiming having
Oh,
a
I'm
very
hungry.
good
I want a
time
meal.
on the Lucian thus far.
Level 6
7
here for
a.m.
Morgan.
I want the
A
meal.
bit of a dash forward here as the Winter's Bite does connect. Beryl puts up the door and says, nope, you are not coming
Now
in.
he's just gonna lose bot crab
There's no barriers used.
for
so
free.
still some potential for follow-up action there. Morgan did not use his equalizer with a level 6 advantage, but he's going to crash a massive wave. She
lost
does not
bot
have
crab.
teleport and is actually just going
Crazy
to abandon
business,
and
crazy
take a
work.
back here. Morgan's going to push a massive wave in. Looking at Shiu on the mini-map, he wants to make something happen, but he's just walking out of the lane.
Like, he
Will
could have
eventually be able to go catch
cycled.
that wave. They don't know where
He
is.
could have
There's a
based,
sword there, knowing
cycled,
he's not wrapping
bot
around.
crab full
Looks
clear,
like
and
because it's a
invaded enemy
cannon wave,
Krugs.
will actually be fine. And while that's happening, they're actually going to be able to, with that bottom side and mid side prio here, start the dragon. So Lucid, the nice early lead here, nice amount of control despite that vision. Just going to be able to get away with this because there's just no way to match on the side of Bro.
Yep, and also did manage to steal away the Krug camp, so he was already ahead just a little bit as far as his clear was
Lucid's
concerned.
a rat.
So feeling pretty good on this Wukong thus far, wanting to race towards that level 6 as quickly as possible. Very close to it, actually. As aiming, getting some damage down onto Polo. Beryl stands beside him. And there it is, level 6 and the first Drake going over to DK. So
now we can
about a
invade his
600
bot
gold
camps.
lead.
That dragon
Ooh.
experience allows him to potentially make a play here bottom side for this blue buff. And with Realm Orb
Okay,
available
this
for
might work
Showmake,
out
he was
pretty well.
already threatening one. It's going to be hard to defend this. They're even going to commit the
It's not
TP
gonna
here
happen,
for
sure enough, right,
Alu.
Lucid? You see that TP?
He is
It's right in
teleporting in
front
to
of
try
you.
and get back Beryl at 50% health. Kroko only level 5 though. Still, they are going to respect it and back away. The Oriana was roaming over first. And so they will at least respect closer at a very large health total.
To say nothing of
I
tempo
think he could have got a full
straight up
level in
regular
jungle.
tempo, 100% D pluses
All
with
good,
the
all
counter picks
good.
they got
I mean,
for
you're
these
down
lane
in gold now,
matchups.
but
the Rise
I
working
mean, who's
incredibly well,
counting?
20 CS ahead of closer. The Aurora down on farm, but was able to absorb a ton of pressure there top side and be totally okay. And then the bottom side control
It's
they've had
crazy
gets them that
to
first
me
dragon. And when she was at his deficit,
that
obviously Grubs
Showmaker
hadn't
is
spawned
20
yet, so there's
CS
no
up
way
in this
to make a
matchup.
counterplay there.
This
Lucy
matchup
gets
is
level
not
6
that
first, means
easy.
that Bro can't really fight there.
This is a hard
And now they
matchup
should
after
be able
level
to
5.
go up and contest the Grubs themselves. D plus that is to potentially get double objective here early on.
Pretty crazy have a start like this. Of course, Morgan is a large reason why this gold lead is basically 0. As you can see, 11 CS ahead on this Rumble.
From 8th to
Which,
Worlds.
is
Oh
very
my god.
impressive, to be perfectly honest.
The
I think
storyline.
Q's laning phase on the Aurora has never really been that good, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's the late game stuff.
He manages
Yo,
to dash
what up?
around fights pretty expertly, but doesn't necessarily understand how to destroy a Rumble in lane. And honestly, this champion is pretty ridiculous anyway. So it does make a little bit of
Showmaker, you have
sense.
to last
Morgan
hit them.
also no slouch.
Yeah, I mean, this is arguably Morgan's best champion in this year.
Yep.
So not surprised by that. He is going to lose Prio here for just a moment, but Lucid's already got this first grub without Smite, so feeling very good.
That was a crab.
Oh, sorry,
that was actually a cheeky cosplay
That was
crab.
a tricky crab there.
Yeah, it was very tricky
Okay,
crab.
does Smite the first grub, so I was like, damn, he got the first one without Smite. He's going to get 2 for sure without even a fight, but no. Gets the first one with Smite. We'll get the second one, it looks like, without it here
grubs, not
because
bad.
Bro are just not going to contest.
Culling for fun.
Polo is going to accept a
Nice
back
damage,
massage.
though.
It does a fair bit of damage, as we can see there. But yeah, Lucid actually going to get all 3. So a bit of a monopoly when it comes to the neutral objectives thus far for DK.
Only one more for the objective feat of strength.
This is what the hate watchers don't realize.
Double dragon.
The hate
as
watchers,
now Bro decide to make a fight happen.
in the they're very.
Getting taken down to about 300.
The hate
as
watchers are a
Morgan
little bit
is
short-sighted.
frustrated that there's a minion wave
In the
on
moment,
line
they're like,
forward,
"Oh my God,
and
DK
she
is gonna
can
lose."
cover.
Lol.
That is
But then,
illegal.
in a couple months' time, they'll be like, "Man, I wish this 4th place decider match between us LPL was DK versus IG." When instead it's just gonna be like what? KT versus Weibo or some shit? I don't know.
They didn't group, and so D plus just
Some
get all
fucking
of the
useless
objectives
ass shit.
completely. And this is a bit
Actually,
of a
IG
bro
is
game,
first
you
seed
know?
anyway,
We
so
haven't
it's
seen
not
as
gonna be
much
IG.
Bro and Brew early games recently, but this is certainly
So
one
stop
of them
being
where
short-sighted.
you gotta give everything.
I swear
Think
this
about the
happens
long
all
con.
the time with DK versus Bro, though. What I want is the stat of average first blood time between DK and Bro and average first blood time throughout the league. Because I think that this matchup gets really late first bloods almost all the time. It's a gentleman's game, you know? It's a no-rush 20 that we get most of the time, you know? Like, let me get my
Whoever
photon
says I want
cannons up.
Nongshimid Worlds
I
in
want to
chat
be able
is
to build only
clueless.
Stargates and carriers.
Crazy
I don't
carrier.
want gateway units. That's annoying.
Unfortunately for Bro in this game, I don't think they actually have Fleet Beacon tech, so
no.
they're going to have to eventually fight D+.
I always thought that was kind of, you know, annoying anyway. 'Cause
Like,
you
that
only
is a
did stuff for,
reportable
like,
take.
high Templars and things in there, but
yeah,
it was necessary if you did want to build those carriers.
The game state here is pretty D+ favored. It continues to be so in this Wukong, even though he has not cycloned onto anybody yet, is just constantly threatening, and Bro are forced to respect it. And this lane here on the top side, that's where the only lead for Bro is right now, but they haven't been able to capitalize on it just yet. I mean, a 400 gold lead means a lot for winning the straight up 1v1 for now, but what happens when we get to team fights?
Respect
The
the
bigger question
noodle.
is Beryl is doing
Beryl, we're
things.
doing the
Beryl
thing
is
again.
barreling. As he does ulti, that is only going to knock off the cow, though, as now aiming.
I swear to
is
God,
going
he
to be
always does this.
dissuaded from killing more minions
was the
and will
same-
save his support.
I don't know.
But still, that is
I
every button that Beryl
Beryl
had available
Nautilus
to
in
him,
my head is just a
just
scar
because he was trying to annoy a cow.
of
He was like,
walking
"But
around
I'm
getting caught.
tempo, guys. I'm getting tempo. I have the tempo.
Also, aiming and hype trading ultimates there as well.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
It's an even trade for the 80 carries.
Yep.
Not really, of course. Sundered Sky picked up here for Krako as the observers zoom in
Ah,
on the,
it happened again,
new Gore
chat.
Drinker of
Yeah.
the jungle. The strongest
It
item
happened
that we've
again.
had probably this whole year. I don't want to say on this patch because it's been the whole year.
LOL Esports said this
And
started
now
at 10
looking for a
a.m.
fight
What
here
the
for
fuck?
Second dragon to try to deny double dragon. But
First
D+
time,
full
huh?
cryo, even though Beryl doesn't have his ult and doesn't have sums, and the fact that aiming doesn't have his ult doesn't matter here necessarily. Looking
Croco
for Lucid.
going forward, where Trickster comes down, but there is a Rune Prison still. Wind Becomes Lightning does connect. Lucid may need to flash here, but never mind. Oh, Croco does
What
go
is that
in.
Sin Zhao damage?
Still not enough follow-up to be able to lock him down. No knock-up prepared or anything like that.
I mean, Hype's pushed out this lane. D+ could look for a recontest here. They have Realm Warp, and Lucid held his Cyclone there. Just wanted to heal up a little bit before he goes back in, but he's so low that I suppose they're just going to give this up. They did not collapse with that mid-prio, and it's going to be an even trade of Drakes here instead, as Showmaker's not really in a position to Realm Warp anybody in. And they didn't have enough vision here. As you can see, vision control is bros, so it's not
What
like
do you
you
use?
Sneaked,
I mean, you're going to say
Lucian
#ad, but I use
like that.
DPM lol.
So
Because we use the
Closer
coding
also
from
taking turret shot
Wikipedia, I
because he
think,
could.
or some
Yes.
shit.
May as well.
Or we use it from somewhere
Trying to get
that's
as much damage
accurate.
down onto Showmaker as he can.
Doesn't
So
have
DPM
Lucid
loss.
here. He's coming over now, but there's a window.
Well, Beryl is going to
Correct.
turn up yet again. This time Aiming is there to defend him as he gets behind the door. There's a nice stun to try and lock them down, and the double knock-up comes through from Beryl as Lucid dives forward, but First Blood goes over as Beryl does fall down.
Winning.
Still Croco is going
Chase,
to die as
maybe?
Showmaker Realm Warps his way in, and Aiming is on the warpath.
Chase.
Looking to take
Showmaker.
down Polo, and there's Lucid
Showmaker,
to finish
chase.
him off. The flash forward there from Showmaker finds the Rune Prison onto Hype as well. And they're looking for the feats of warfare, but it may
Okay,
be a
not bad,
second
not bad.
kill over to the bros. Never
Not
mind,
bad.
Lucid will survive. Man, that's a lot of action in a game that had basically none until now.
Yeah, that was a very, very close exchange there. They get barreled
Got the
in
cannon
the
as well.
end. Still down his summoners, but they stay too long for the play. The real target is Showmaker, but they see, okay, Barrel's here, and Hype's like, Aiming's rotating down, we got this. We have the Orianna coming over here. Closer speeds up, tries to get
Not
in
bad.
here. They look for the shockwave here. It's pretty low value.
What I've
Aiming's
realized
able
with
to avoid
DK
that
is you do
damage,
not
and then
count
he
your
does
eggs
so much
until
here on
they've
the follow-up.
hatched.
Showmaker's able to realm warp in. Croco gets obliterated, and then Paulo is just trying to help his teammates
Because
get
they're
out
fucking
here.
disgusting.
And it looked like for a second, like, ooh, maybe they actually get a kill here as
Can you
Showmaker
fucking
goes in
stop
very
that?
deep. Lucid takes a ton of damage, but that is ultimately the end of it. Closer really maximizing the Orianna damage in that skirmish. It was kind of insane.
It was. It's West straight back into
Barrel,
the
nice.
action as
No flash.
Polu getting taken down pretty low. Doesn't have his ulti, but isn't going to get stunned
Nice
up. That is
redemption.
not going to be the same case for Hype, though.
Nice,
Croco gonna
2v2.
get slowed down as he makes his way back. And I want to talk a little bit about Closer because you're exactly right. He did make the use of his kit, but not his shockwave because that was on cooldown. It wasn't like, and the circle came through, and I almost said it in the play-by-play, but
DK's
that
a
was the
rotten
crescent
egg.
guard.
No,
that
no.
was the only
Yeah.
thing that we saw. If that had have been a shockwave, man, completely different story.
Yeah, there's just no damage onto Aiming. He's able to avoid
Chat, who
everything
won yesterday?
there
Did
and
Loud
just
win?
clean up the fight in what is an incredibly strong skirmishing comp here early, 4D+, as Lucid is lurking around
No.
once again. They're trying to use the solutions power
Wait, so Loud
right
is out,
now.
Griffin's out,
They
GG.
are without a Braum, though.
Yeah, Showmaker moving over. We'll eat some honey fruit here as Croco does know exactly what's going on, but control vision is around for DK.
Aiming's doing so much work here in the mid lane to push Hype away. I think that's why Bro is so hesitant to actually look for a contest here. And Beryl does show back up, doesn't have his flash yet, but is very close to it. Has his ultimate, of course, and with this Cyclone and Braum ultimate choke point control, Paulo can't be anywhere near.
Yeah, the culling just going to come down once again. Big one will be avoided there by Aiming. Pretty decent chunk of damage that is going to be missing now for the bros as Croco moving over alongside Closer. Showmaker going to get pushed out here as we'll see whether Lucid can land the smite. Teleports from both of our top laners moving forward, but she is going to get here first.
Tag him.
There is the ulti out of Beryl, does find Hype as Polo goes unbreakable.
It's winning, it's
and
winning.
she was actually going to get
It's so
headbutted
winning.
to safety. Still, it's a fight on multiple fronts, and Croco is likely to die to Showmaker as the shockwave comes through yet again, but it's just not enough
Beautiful.
damage. And Shiyu is just ignored.
This is a trio.
throughout
This is
entire
just a
fight.
trio.
And Closer
The
is just gonna have
exaggeration
to
of
run his way
DK's
away.
death was
Yeah, the
greatly
target
big,
selection not
exaggerated.
Great there for Bro. Very split fight, and so many near kills that don't go over there in the end. As Closer is able to shockwave, but not finish off
2.2K.
the kill.
First blood
And
tower.
now, this is a pretty disastrous situation here for Bro, who will also lose this
Just
first
trio
turret.
them, go to bed,
And
wake
he's
up,
made
trio
Beast
non
already
chim,
there,
and let's just
but that's
pretend
a ton of
never,
extra
this
money
never
to
happened.
Aiming, who is running away
Deal?
with this game. And so much of what Aiming has done has been in these team fights, these early skirmishes. Hype's not going to get that backstop. But a lot of it has also been in how much he's controlled the mid lane to get them prio here in the first place into this Corki, who gets ulted on the outset here, goes down to half health, and then Shio
Good fight on the right side. Left side 2v2 is whatever, because Ryze will eventually carry that fight in the long run. Because he's got enough damage and sustain.
Able to kill Showmaker here, but
right side of the fight was good.
At 0 health, so they can't quite do it. Shio gets the execute there.
Good TP by Shio.
Well,
match enemy top. You love to see it. Free kill Alistar. Polu's running it down. If we lost to Polu, like that is just...
And those are the sort of fights that DK's composition thrives on as well. I mean, once they're in, they're feeling absolutely fantastic about it. I feel like Beryl as well,
like losing to fucking,
out of the engaged
not to be that guy, but losing to Vikla Morgana is one thing. Losing to Polo is another.
Kind of okay,
we don't lose to Polo. We are a world team.
Look at Aiming's items.
We are a world team. We don't lose to Polo.
And they are ready to
we don't lose to Bro.
For this second dragon for them, the third dragon of the game, which will be the first Mountain Drake, and with Showmaker also controlling the side lane and the bottom
There's
side.
There's levels to the game.
Level 11 hit.
We're just levels above.
Cyclone. Pretty scary. Still DK, not going to have access fully to this river as Banana Brush control is going to be there. As Lucid comes out as stealth and finds Morgan. He lays down the red carpet, but that is not going to help him when it comes to the culling. As now Beryl looking to continue the follow-up. He's likely to die, but what more can they get? As never mind, Beryl's going to be fine. Showmaker now looking for an angle as the shockwave doesn't quite CC him enough.
Beautiful.
As the knockups are
There's
everywhere.
it's just an everything gap.
Out and it's a
this is more like it. This is more like it.
Just styling on them.
This is more like it.
Have just ended right here in front of our eyes.
That's more like it.
Another phenomenal engage from Lucid on that first
now you're seeing what I see.
Grabbed, able to get
you can see it now.
Play around the vision control. Bro had no idea. They knew, like, yeah, he's looking to engage us, but we have to approach for Dragon here. They had no idea the angle of which he was going to come in. Just jumps out, gets the Cyclone. We have Flash Cyclone.
I'm not like Game 1 Andy. Today feels different. Today feels so much different.
Brush, so they don't know exactly where he is. He also has that ward up here, so knows exactly the angle that Morgan and Hyper going. Aiming is also pushing them in. It's not even really that Bro are trying to force the way into this dragon. It's just
not a Game 1
like they're kind of near the dragon, and we have so much control. And then Beryl lives, and Closer is just like trying as fast as Oriana's legs can carry him away. But it's just another wipe here. Not a full wipe, but a near full wipe. As Showmaker grabs 3 kills, 4 kills total, picks up his Seraphs. His Rod of Ages is near completion. And I think this might have just been the back-breaking moment here.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's good to see Showmaker awake for the start of the series, because if we remember his
no, you don't write the ...
0-0.
You can't hate watch my teams and then write that. You're not getting away with it.
On here towards the top side. Lucid will be backing away, though, as the teleport comes in from Polo to try and protect his Rumble. We'll be able to do so for now, as Otacon has spawned.
Look at Aiming, man. He's just like...
I've got a theory. Do you think Aiming just plays better when he gets to build Essence Reaver first?
I mean, it does seem that way, based on the champs he has really excelled.
That may justify the terrible center build.
Yeah.
Because he just
Guys, they're clicking up the can, kill them. Kill them.
Okay, they feel more
kill them
now. Just starting Otacon.
Bro desperation here. I mean, they have all their ultimates online. This is the best fight they're ever going to get for the rest of the game with the prio they have.
Now, this may not be the way to live long and prosper, but we'll see whether they can make something of it as Beryl and Aiming are going to turn up. There's the interruption on the culling as Aiming does have to flash to get out of the way, but he finds the distance with the flash. Shiu's going to go down first, though, as now the Otacon down so incredibly low. It will be taken here by the Bros, but Otacon for Nexus is not a trade I've heard working out very well so far in the LCK. Maybe elsewhere it's a thing, but no, that 50 gold is the most important, if we remember.
And they want to get the chase on him. Looks like he's going to escape as he went up here. Showmaker trying to catch, but
what did Shiu do?
Prison range. The fight, the concept of it is obviously it's silly to think they're going to win a fight.
God bless, LCK replays are so quick.
It was used on the Rumble top side. They have every tool, so the turn has to be perfect here. And Shiu just goes in and sacrifices himself, but it's 100% worth it here because he does so much damage. Otacon
he just fucking ints it. What's he doing?
Behind a wall.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter because Bro have no formation here, whereas D+ just sends Shiu in, sacrifices himself, and they have so much damage on their Fed carries here in the Lucian and the Rise to clean up house after those resistances get shredded by Otacon. Sure, they secure the objective, But like you said,
I like that
it
narrative,
feels
though.
like it's
Sacrifice.
for
I like
Nexus
the
here
narrative.
in the trade because D
Let's
Plus
go with
gets
that.
so much gold. The Lucian lead is exploding. He almost has IE online here. And he's already just walking up to Hype and taking everything he owns. I don't know what else he's going to do once he gets that IE. He's just going to walk up and shoot the Nexus, I think.
I could imagine. As we'll see whether they can actually break the base without the Baron. That's going to be up in 2.5 minutes as Lucid comes on over, looking to take some Raptors here.
It's Ferrex's world, and you're just living in it.
His onslaught on the game.
Yep, and then I woke up
his map
and
sense
realized
today,
it was
I feel,
just
is
a
better
fucking
than what we saw in
fraudulent vision.
previous days. He just seems to know where to put this this Winter's Bite. Maybe he's got
Then
the
I
black
joined the
sheep
real world
or
again.
something like that.
He certainly made us nervous a few times in the early game, but now 11 out of 13 KP ready to trust.
Yeah.
And this Braum angle in this game, you know, we weren't 100% sure about it, but from ahead, and when you just can send your Lucian straight up the mid lane and then
If you woke
be
up this
wherever
morning
you want,
really
Braum
excited,
totally
grabbed your
works
coffee,
out.
walked your
As you can
dog,
see this
and made
extremely
breakfast,
strong
listening to
Aurora here.
Summer
Not Ori,
Vibes
she's,
playlist
not
or some
extremely
shit,
Ori Aurora.
and you sat at your PC and opened the
Aurora
stream and
is
thought,
pushing
wow,
away the Rumble, and, like,
today's
you
the
just get
day.
deep vision
DK gets
everywhere.
eliminated.
Wait
Today's
for this
going to be
next
great.
dragon to spawn, which will be soul point for them.
Just know
Yep, and that will be
this
with
is
a
going to be the
Lucian
most
that has
boring
an
series you've ever
Infinity.
watched in your
and
life.
this time, Cyclone
DK will
be
3-0 them.
available, and this time
Every
we'll have
game will be a
Flash
10k gold in
Cyclone.
20 minutes,
So
and bro will
the
be
last
eliminated.
Otacon fight went poorly.
And you will
This
have
time
had a
D+
nice
will also,
breakfast,
by the
but
way,
you
have
will not
Cryo
get
on the
what you
objective
really
'cause they'll
wanted
go
from
there
today.
First, so
Not today.
And they got Sundered
Not
Sky
today,
now.
old
Lucid
friend.
completed, so the Sundered Sky gap has been closed.
You want to just send it sometimes in games like this. Maybe it's better to just hope D+ make a mistake later on in the game, because I think trying to fight a straight-up fight against D+ here means the Nexus explodes right afterwards. But if you just let him have it, you don't get anything either. This comp isn't just going to magically outscale. See what bro decides
Is
to do.
Law unbanned? No,
They're
she's
going
staying
to
banned.
need to land the Wombo.
When DK gets to
They're
Worlds,
need
she
to
can
make
be
it
unbanned.
actually work, because so far it just has not. And they need to kill aiming. That is definitely part and parcel
Look at his
of the
positioning.
task here.
He knows where he doesn't have vision.
Well, Polo's going to look for it.
Desperation.
He does have the orb, but he's
Desperation.
not going to be able to find the target. Beryl might
Nothing's
be in
gonna happen
trouble,
here.
though, as
Just
he
a
does
free
throw
win.
down the ulti, but finds no joy with it whatsoever and will just die. Still, the culling does so much work onto Morgan. And DK now just find themselves without a Braum.
Okay, this could be playable.
Oh, Shiu looking for an angle here, throws down the circle. This is their engage, by the way. It's Shiu putting his body into the bros. It worked at the Otacon fight. It did not work here.
It did a lot of damage, but it didn't do the impactful damage that D+ are looking for. Now, without two critical members here, bro, actually with Pryo on this dragon, Morgan with TP to get back after fully healing up. D+, you're on their side of the map. Maybe you could try to threaten to push for the inhibitor turret, but bro, we're going to get this dragon. Realmore will get them, or Showmaker, to the Raptor camp. They can't actually threaten that inhibitor.
Oh, that would have been so cute. I think aiming missed the memo. So what he could have done is realm warp them over so that they're out of vision on the Baron, and then get to sneak the Baron away without them knowing, assuming they have no vision on the top side of the map. It could have been very cute. We're having a look at the replay, though.
Yeah, so Beryl gets picked here. The equalizer, not the greatest, but it keeps them zoned. And then from here, she was like, I'm just going to blow myself up again to take away half of all of bro's health bars.
Are
that
Beryl
part
and
works.
Shiwu like
But Lucid already used his Cyclone. If Lucid has Cyclone there and
terrorizing
can flash in the
every
follow,
game
that
on
would be
purpose?
amazing. Baron did spawn, as you
Because
mentioned,
every
but
time I look
in
at my
trying to
screen
start
and
that one up
someone's
would've been a
losing
bit
the
of a
game
pipe dream.
or
They
trying
could have
to,
also tried to run
it's
it
one of
into
those
the
two.
mid-inhibitor turret, but they weren't decisive about that, so they kind of just ended up
I don't know.
losing
I
members.
saw them run it at the mid-inhibitor turret.
At the end of the day, still a Fed Lucian, it's still a 7,000 gold lead, but D+ is going to have to tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Remember, if they lose tempo control, even with the gold lead, like you mentioned at the start of the game, before the draft was even really fully locked in, this comp is low range, does not have consistent engage, and there's a trap set.
Well, you can see DK just getting the vision down now. I'm hoping that Beryl starts to play it a little less fast and loose, because they've got
We
Shiu
got
in the
control
side
of the
lane,
game again,
and
we're all
it's
good.
very difficult to answer him. Croco going to move over, does find Beryl, who was possibly caught in the shot. He's going to get exhausted, but Beryl
Bro,
will be
can
able to
you
redeem
just
himself.
stop it?
Like, actually redeem himself. Don't know whether it redeems
Like, seriously?
what happened earlier on, but I have a bit of a soft spot for Beryl, as you may know.
He redemptions himself.
Yes.
As we're going to see a TP here from Palu. It's Baron vision and Baron control that we're now kind of posturing around right now. if you look at the comps here, Mountain Soul, pretty insane for Wukong, but also, you know, it's not like either of these comps are running a big tank top laner. You know, we have two AP tops, so the Soul isn't necessarily going to be game-breaking. I just think that if you lose control of one of these fights as D+ again, and that gold lead thins down to 3,500, like if Bro can cut this gold lead in half with another big flub from D+,
guys,
then
we
you
can
maybe
one-shot
get a
Baron.
Then that gold lead disappears, and
We
then
really
D+
can.
are really going to struggle to play the game with this Braum.
And we can kill anyone who walks up.
I still think they're in a very favorable position, but what I've watched over the last 5 minutes does make me a little nervous.
I'm definitely I'm feeling Chronicler's anxiety from here. He's probably bouncing off the walls over there in the space.
Beryl, you were here 5 seconds.
Beryl in his favorite position once again, does have Lucid to stand beside, but that is still a flash now down.
Not the most valuable support to have, you know, to use flash to engage, so it's okay, but doesn't feel like a win, let's say.
Yep. Croco discovers that he doesn't
like
have
how
a
many,
Krug camp,
when are we gonna learn?
Showmaker has been hoovering those up. Showmaker is very close to a Flame Horizon, by the way.
Yeah, he is going to be so difficult to kill. Like, aiming is definitely your target.
Yeah. Beryl, don't go back to that spot. Just don't. He is back there. Never mind. Do what you want, Beryl. He's now moving further forward. Does have a fair bit of support, but will get pulverized once again. But when that's on cooldown, there is some opportunities here as aiming.
Nice.
Going to get engaged on here as Rocco has to use the ulti. Man, and he does so much damage. The circle is put down as Shiu goes between worlds, and the Realm Warp gets Showmaker into the base. He's playing Rise like Twisted Fate. Gets a huge shield here from the Seraphs. Shiu's in there as well, but he's going to get taken down. Showmaker follows suit. Hype finds the double. And DK, I mean, that's too much.
Like, they snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory in that fight. I mean, I like how Showmaker was positioned before he took the Realm Warp, because I'm like, yeah, you can literally walk up to them, because Lucian is taking half of Paolo's health bar off of just like a Q
it's
double
not that deep.
Yeah.
You just kill one of them and go Baron.
And Showmaker has
we don't have to be Batman. It's not the bad signal. We don't need a superhero.
That part's fine because he can Zonius and his team.
We just need a kill.
Paulu's health bar here, and then Croco goes in for some reason. I'm thinking, wow, D+ just won the game. I guess kill Croco and walk up mid. Instead, we Realm Warp into the base. Now Showmaker's isolated away from his team. Closer goes golden, buys a ton of time, and then what do? We send our Aurora in so we can lose both of them.
Morgan's equalizer as well was so incredibly good.
This is a 7k gold lead for the last 8 minutes.
But I have to say, you know,
oh
you're
my
right.
god, we're rage starting Baron.
Probably just don't do that.
Yeah, just either go get Baron or like walk down mid and end the game. Instead, they decided to get fancy with it. Now they're going to start Baron up. Bro, do not have flash.
Do I want to watch this?
So contesting this
no
is
flash,
so
no blast cone. This is just
Thank
gone.
God.
And DK, I guess, was sick of having fun, and they kind of just want to end the game. I don't know. That was not a whole lot of contest. There's also Soul Point on the cards for both teams.
Yeah,
likely something that
God
DK are going to head towards here.
If Bro just sit back and farm and let them have the dragon and hope it takes D+ a long time to do it, they're like, that's just part of their Baron timer that is going to be down now. Aiming's going to take away this buff here as well, take the blue from Bro. I'll give it to his team. Yep. That's a small bonus here. Now that he's on this dragon, it won't take too long, but Bro, we're just going to go, well, hopefully they'll get a little bit too excited again, and maybe we'll win another team fight where they overextend. Because really, that's your game plan now.
It's 1-0.
Is just
it's 1-0.
To keep your Nexus alive until
it's
D+
1-0.
run it down.
Do you remember?
Or otherwise, you know, maybe they won't and you'll lose and we'll see you in game 2.
September.
Let's just say DK has strong arms.
Yeah.
Like Donkey Kong himself. You know, very strong arms, really good at throwing things. Doesn't matter how heavy the wallets are, they can still be thrown. As yep, Showmaker could be in a little bit of trouble. He's just going to Realm Warp away, so he's fine. And Shiu, as a response, is just going to take an inhibitor turret. This is what we were hoping to see. After they kill Croco, go back to Baron, and then go back in.
Beryl,
Instead,
stop it. I swear to God.
Team fight first, which is an extra step that we would not recommend.
If we just grab Siwu and say, hey Siwu, you're really cool, but so is Ornn, Sion, Cassante. Boom, put him to the side. Boom. Beryl, new rule. You're not allowed to walk into enemy jungle by yourself unless you're playing Rakan to put wards by yourself. You have to wait for Lucid to hover. Deal? Deal. Okay. Sign the agreement, contract, boom. Okay. Now, we've suddenly won 50% more games. Suddenly. I'm telling you for a fact. Just
things
Boom.
just go
Nongshim
right on fire all the
Fearex,
time.
1.
As, all right,
Shiwu plays Orange Scion.
Bros
Beryl
not
doesn't
able
get
to
caught.
defend any of
The
their
games
inhibitors.
are stable.
However, guess what?
The Nexus is still alive.
Exactly. And as long as you keep that 50 gold to yourself, you can still potentially win the game. However, it is very, very difficult because now you got super minions making things even harder as Croco, my goodness, okay, that's not a back massage anymore. That is just, yeah, that's a lot of damage there from aiming.
Yeah,
Shiwu's tanks suck.
Yes,
He can play Ornn,
yes.
he can play Scion.
Take your boots off.
He needs to
It's
learn
okay.
Cho'Gath and
The Cyclone
Sante,
comes
and needs to
on
play a
forward
lot of
for
games.
Lucid. It's not really a full engage though, as DK just pull it back. They have now used the Cyclone, but now there are no Nexus turrets. Braum is going to be the target once again, and guess what? Yes, you can kill Braum.
It's like it's a win.
You have lost your
It's a win
entire
game,
base, and there is
but
now a teleport bringing Shiu back in. Croco takes that as a sign to go.
it just
as
feels
the
wrong.
rest of DK will just end the game. There it is. Aiming finishes it off. It was a pretty classic
It
DK
feels
game,
like
but
we're levels
ultimately,
above.
They had the tempo
But it's
the whole
frustrating
time.
to watch.
They just had a whole lot of fun.
I liked so much of that game, especially with the lane prio and how they controlled the early game from D+. After that, I don't know why, but I until the Nexus fully exploded, I wasn't ready to trust. Like the last push to end the game, while they had obviously baroned up minions, made it look like D+ were doing like an all-in in a base trade scenario for Elder or something.
At what
Oh,
cost?
where everyone
That
would come back.
same
It's like, no,
mood.
just
You see
slow
that?
play group and kill the Nexus.
Mood.
Like, you don't have to be so split up that like your Braum is caught and Showmaker's trying to flank the Nexus from the top. Sure, Bro lost the game, but they kept themselves in it with a 7,000 gold lead for a really long time. And I think if you're a D+ fan, you're happy.
Absolute
you got the W on blue
mood.
side here in game one. You're happy Aiming is having a great start to the series. Showmaker having a great start to the series, completely destroying closer in lane and farming up a storm. I think you're a little bit concerned with how the rest of the game that should have been kind of a... I know they should have just been able to
Foregone
in and
conclusion.
win. Yeah, foregone conclusion. Didn't end up being that way, but I'm sure they could tighten it up, Atlas, in game two, surely.
Yeah, that's bound to be what happens, Wolf. That's what we've seen from this team all the time. Never you mind, that's what we're going to get. We're going to tighten up the League of Legends. It's not going to be Riot's group, baby. Don't you worry about that. That's exactly what we're going to get. We're now going to get a short break, though. Then the space is going to break that one down. Then we'll have game number 2. Don't worry, it's going to be more cinema.
Wait,
Man,
I have an
Showmaker
Articuno?
is ready he's ready to play today. Let's go to that break.
Chad, do you like watching me play Poker Rogue? I think my strat was good before, by the way. My strat was really smart. Wait, we add the Minum, and then we can add the... Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, my team is... Wait.
이거 우리 팀 아직. 얘네 질러. 뚫릴만하다. 나이스 위치. 넥서스 밀게. 여기 하나만 압력.
Look at my luck, top right. Look at my luck, top right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I could spit on this beat any day. Just say the words. Will you play Silk Song today? Well, today's gonna be a wonderful day. Today is gonna be a wonderful day filled with lots of surprises. Actually, today is just another day in the office. Just get the fucking win and just get me out. -6 speed. Yeah, just get the fucking win and get me out of this bullshit. Chikorita. I can't sappy seed him. I guess we just hit each other with our heads. Okay, all good, all good. All good, right? All good. Surely. All good, right? All good. Bum. Bum! I actually think this run is crazy. And you might call me crazy. But with S tier luck, I'm actually chilling so hard. Bro, is this LCK break music just ass or what? Like, what the fuck is this? Man, I think the hate watchers are quite sad today. And I absolutely feel I do not feel bad for you at all. Chat, I don't understand how Sappy Seed works. Why did they get healed as well? Do we like seed each other? I don't get it. I one-shot him by accident. I wanted to catch him. Where's my S tier luck? It's not popping off. The super XP charm is... Don't get fucking paralyzed, please. Just sappy seed them. Is the music the same still? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait to get coffee. What a blessing. What a blessing. A Pidgey. Now, should I catch the Pidgey? I killed them both. I think Pidgeot is a cool Pokemon. Monkey! Mega Pidgeot is good. I need 6 megas. I really do. I think 6 megas and we're chilling. Six megas goes insanely hard. I would not throw that run.
Welcome to the space for this elimination matchup. One of these teams will be going home. D plus Kia do take game number 1 over the Bros. Digon here alongside my very
Odoamne, why are you awake?
desk. It is Chronicler and the Honorable Judge Harrison Ox joins us as well. And again, impartial, everyone. And just in case it gets a little rowdy,
Chronicler, defend.
Judge Harrison is here.
Defend.
Conf now, you know, just game one. Don't want to be game one Andes, right?
Can I talk?
Oh, well, would never be a game on Indy.
Digon, you have any thoughts?
I think that, you know, when you think about the first couple of fights that we had trying to cross through a two-time world champion support on Braum, pretty difficult to do, so I understand why the bros might have
This what we're
struggled.
doing now on the space? We're just rage baiting.
Oh
Is
my
that
god, he's
whole
wearing the
thing?
D+ Kia jacket and jersey. W
That's all we
Chronicler.
have. No, we're locking in.
W Chronicler. Someone's on our side, thank God.
I think early
Odo's
on,
here for DK
was
downfall.
a DK special. As
Odo
in the
suddenly
DK
just
game
became
#1.
free
They
agent.
actually did a good job of making Barrel a very enticing target. As it turned out later, this was, I think, the best example they got of that. Really big here is that Lucid shows up, who does have his Triforce finished, and it's a big overextension from the Bro bot side.
Yeah, you know, this is a situation where just going way too deep. One of the Brahms, obviously a target who can buy a lot of time, committing too heavily and not expecting the Wukong to pounce from a lack of vision. And this wasn't a huge swing, but obviously gave a big edge over the D+ in the early stages of the game.
And this could have actually gone worse. Like,
I've
I think
been praying
they could
for
have
this
gone
moment.
into an
What the
even
fuck?
further deficit in that play right there. Because if either Closer or Hype dies as well, I think that they completely lose control of the early game. It still slowly snowballed from there, but it wasn't really until the mid game that DK got a truly commanding lead.
Yes, they did so here. If we could read the notes. Bro Vision highlight.
Guppy has a
jump
sock.
Scary, spooky, scary. Wow, wow, wow. Let's take a look.
And it wasn't me that put in the highlight, which is, I think, the weirdest part of it.
It was very
What the
honorable
fuck?
kind of text, though, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, it was very spooky. Yeah, I mean, this was a situation where the Wukong... Oh! Yeah, very spooky, scary.
Spooky
Wow, wow,
indeed.
wow. That's how I felt about it. Managed to get the jump. The Rumble just gets completely eliminated. They don't manage to blow up Hype initially, but they end up getting corralled into this tight choke point, and Showmaker gets so much value on the rise.
Wait, when
here.
a Pokemon levels
Shockwave
up, he
flips
gets
on a
his
train, so he
PP
doesn't
spec?
get pulled away, and he's just bouncing those...
Bro, we don't lose to a Bayleaf. Are you
I forgot
kidding?
the name of his Q, but just doing so much damage there.
Yeah, and what for me is really important is that this kind of highlights the good and bad tendencies of both teams. Because I think that we saw in this game, Bro fall behind early, and I think that that's when they really struggle, right? If the Bro and Brew goes their way, it stays even. I think they actually do have good team fighting, but when they fall behind, I think they really struggle. And DK got a 7k gold lead that at no point felt like it, because I think that their mid to late game is still, by a large margin, the weakest out of any of the teams left in play.
I'm feeling good about this run.
If you looked at those two clips, it looks pretty
I'm
clean,
feeling-
right?
Yeah.
Really clean, really... Yeah, really straightforward.
She has a Lapras at level 14.
So we wanted to give you a little preview
What?
of what possibly could come, especially because both these teams were in the Rise group, a group of culture where sometimes things go.
I think
not the
Bidoof is
direct
such an
path.
OP Pokemon.
You know, obviously he's a legendary player, and I have so much respect for Showmaker, but I just really want to know what the thought process was.
So
Yeah.
fucking slept on.
Look how deep he is, and he immediately gets turned on, and he's like, don't worry guys, I have stasis.
Bidoof
and
evolved
I
into
want to know
Caedrel,
what
no,
would
he
have gone through his head in the middle of 4 people in stasis. He's clearly calling for his teammates to help him, but they just end up in more trouble. And sure, this didn't end up costing the game or anything, but it's plays like these that in a game that was closer could have cost the game, and we've seen D+ definitely throw the game away.
Diddly 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 diddly.
And
Bro,
what I
can
think
we
is important
stop
to
just
highlight
throwing
is
these
that
fucking
this time it was
cherries at
Showmaker,
me?
But I think that this is something that the entirety of DK struggles with. These type of plays where they try to make too big a swing, right? Like, Barrel got caught a ton of times in this game. We've seen aiming be way too
Like,
far.
what are
get
these
punished.
ass
We've seen
cheek
Lucid go
Pokemon?
for engages that aren't synced. My bigger issue with that play is that it
Oh, I'm in a
does
grassy field, I guess.
really, again, speak to the kind of disjointed nature that DK have, and I think that's also why they struggle so much in late game.
See, here's the difference, right? If this was BNK Fear X, everyone would have gotten the Realm Warp together.
But they flash over the wall.
Yeah.
They flash over the wall.
They would have in unison, you know? And I feel like it was just Showmaker who went in, and that's why, you know, you talk about
Infestation. What the fuck is that?
Out to dry.
Yeah, that's where you felt the 7,000 gold lead, where when
oh
he
my
locked
god,
in,
he's
they were
so
able to
fucking
do so, but
locked
that
in
cushion helped
and
prevent
pissed off at the same
comfort
time.
Zone of the Bros, which is down lots of thousands of gold, but not more than 10,000 gold. It was a good. I still felt okay about it.
It's kind of interesting because I feel like as DK fans, you get the game 1 win, but it's still worrying, right? Even it's not the cleanest game 1, but it's still
so
game
fucking
1
locked in.
Cool. I know about that, and for Bros, you're like, we were kind of brewing at the end there. You know, there's hope for either team here. I think that
Come on,
we still see both teams
bro,
haven't
I'm
really
gonna roll
moved
you no matter
that
what.
far
Just
from
fucking.
where we lost sold them, which probably means this goes to 5.
I also just think game 1 wins for D+. It's so hard to put so much stock in them. I have so little trust, so little faith. I feel like, you know,
can you stop swapping?
They need to show more. They need to show that they can get a second, third game. They need to show something in this game too. Even if they lose this game too, show some consistent form and clear up some of the goofiness that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, I would just like to think that, you know, the Bro and Brew.
All right,
just last
show
for
them
game.
that you're not a game 1
series.
team.
So I feel like we're brewing up a good one. 1-0
Show
D
it to
plus
them.
Key over Bro. Let's get into game number 2.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for that breakdown. Fantastic to hear some truly unbiased analysis of that series. And I think they kind of hit the nail on the head, where it's like, good game 1 win, but we have no idea what to expect.
We really do.
We're seeing, it's like, good game 1 win,
Bum,
but
bum,
we
bum,
have no
bum.
idea what to expect.
Oh,
really
yes.
Um,
Hysterics, good morning.
was the
Good
kind of
morning.
win
Oh
that
no, I slept in. What's the score? It's
momentum was
1-0
with
to
Bro at the end.
DK.
Like,
To the
tempo
surprise
vibes
of
were with Bro when the
absolutely
Nexus exploded. You were like,
nobody.
okay, well, it's a loss here. However, yeah, let's see what happens in the rest of the series, as there's some discussion here in the I don't want to say coach's booth, but
I do want to remind Bengi as well that they're wearing headsets. So instead of moving closer to CVMAX, he probably should have just moved his microphone closer if he wanted to speak to him more clearly.
Yeah.
That could be a good reminder. I would prefer it if there was a bit more synergy. CVMAX, you can see walking away from him now to say that, hey, by the way, look, it's still just as loud. So things are going to be fine. Glad they've sorted that one out, and now it's time for us to sort out this draft as we move into game number 2. The Bros now
the Bros are getting
the blue
3-0'd.
side, and I want to see your bro tax all over that Twitch chat. We're going to need it. Is the Nico going to start getting banned away first up?
Where will Gwen fall in this second draft as well with no Aurora is a big question. No Rumble either. The Ambessa, of course, a big pick for both of these top laners, even though Morgan's
Pantheon,
stats don't
Azir.
back that up. I think he's
hey,
a pretty
do
good
that,
Ambessa game.
I think the most
and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he picked
You
up
don't
his
do
first
that,
win out of
something
11
might be
games,
bad.
Okay,
Okay, we've
quite
already
recently,
fucked it.
and that means that he's gotten better. That's
We've
improvement.
already
right
fucked
there.
it.
Closer keeps drawing these Yone bans, which feels really good if you're a Bro fan, because that's on red side, one
Never
of the bans
easy. They
taxed
can't just
away.
do the normal way. Can't
And
just do it the normal.
so
Can't do it the
that's
easy way. Can't
pretty
do it the
huge.
simple way.
As Nico gets banned this time very
Why don't we
early
just leave
in the
Azir
draft,
and
the
Pantheon
Poppy will
open?
also be taken
And then we
away.
can trade. And then we can
Crocker
trade.
could get Pantheon here
He
pretty
could.
comfortably.
What if we
He certainly
trade
could.
wins? What if they get one,
I
we
think they
get one?
banned Talia. I think that would
And
probably
trade my
be a
fucking
good
Nexus
choice.
for an Elder Dragon.
Okay.
Never mind,
Now
it's
what?
going to be the
Now what? They
Trundle.
banned
So the
Trundle.
Pantheon
Now
is
what?
definitely what they're aiming for.
Now what are you gonna
Well, if you ban Pantheon, it's the trade.
Oh, we can
And
trade
you
Azir
definitely
for
don't want to ban
Talia, so
Azir
maybe if we ban
or
Pantheon, we
the
can trade
Talia
this.
here, because I think both of those picks right now in my mind are better than the Pantheon. No, Talia still gives
Or
you
you
a
can
global
ban Azir and
effect,
stop fucking
so
with me.
I mean, Showmaker,
Because that
he
champ wins
does love
games.
playing Ari.
if you just
That
ban
champ
something
that
completely
champ
different, you
wins
can get
games.
Azir plus
Okay.
Pantheon or Talia plus
Okay.
Pantheon.
Ban Pantheon,
And
trade Azir,
CVMAXs
Talia.
love to have. So I'm
And
surprised
get
you
what?
just banned
And
the
get what?
Pantheon. If they pick Azir, you get
And
Talia
get what?
Pantheon. But they banned the Pantheon, and I guess we are going to get a first pick Talia into Azir plus.
Nah, it's going to be Vi Ari.
No!
Oh my god!
I mean, I guarantee the Ari's coming through.
Lock it in, Showmaker. I know you want to laugh as well. You want to burst out laughing. I know. I'm stun locked. Pick the Azir, take the free win. Come on. I know. I know. Talia has a lot of playmaking.
Jarvan or Vi and Ari is like almost a guarantee.
Can you please just pick Azir, please?
I think you could have been comfortable to play Azir here, but yeah, I mean, this is what Showmaker
Guys,
likes. This is
it's
what
a
they're doing, and it is with the Ari lock. I think definitely going to be the Vi. Just too simple.
Yeah.
And with the Pantheon ban, this all makes sense. Let's see what the response is going to be, because you could just... We've seen teams actually just push the 80 character. Like B&K did this yesterday.
I don't understand why we don't just pick Azir and take a win.
You could go for that, and
why can't we just pick
there's
Azir
no
and take
Nico,
a win?
unfortunately, so if you had like a Nico lane here, you could try to just avoid going straight into that Vi pick. Instead, we're just going to push the Renekton up. Okay.
That's an interesting one. As Croco, never mind, he is going to take a leaf out of the Raptor book and pick up the doggo.
The difference, though, between this Nefiri pick and the Raptor Nefiri pick is Raptor is picking it where he has the ability to pressure the bottom lane, knowing the lane matchup, picking it later in the draft, picking it right here.
Just don't pick
and also
Jace,
a little bit
whatever you do.
Also, there's set up on
Anything
the top side of the
else
map,
is
but
fine.
you are double AD, and there is, like, Talia is not set up in herself. That's why she pairs so well with things that
anything has CC. Yeah.
Exactly. Nefiri does not have CC.
Picking Scion into Renekton is also an interesting choice here.
But picking it into Nefiri?
Let's think about this.
Good. Yeah, I think that's
what
the main
mid
reason
laner
why they
is
do
really
lock
good
this
with
down.
frontline Scion.
Although we have seen Nefiri can just
Ari,
simply
correct. Ari, that's why we went Ari 1-2.
backline.
We're going to have lots of damage this game.
Just yet, but when you have Scion plus Ari, it always feels very strange compositionally, right? Because you're like, we got this pick comp, but we're also kind of looking to front to back a little bit. You know, we've got a big scaling 80 carry coming, surely. The Kai'Sa is an obvious ban. I mentioned they could have picked it away, but they decided to ban it here in the second phase instead.
I think like a Sivir ban could also work pretty well at the same time. But we'll see where they do decide to go. Obviously, Sivir feels like she adds enough utility as well as being a bit of a hype carry for the later stages of the game. They're not representing that much range to really cause too many problems.
It's kind of
Ben Zaya, that's good.
I'm very nervous for Hypewave's going to play here because they could just ban Ezreal. They banned Kalista.
Interesting.
Because now you want something that can cut through the Scion, but also those champions are pretty vulnerable to
may pick Rel on 4. You may do that. I give you
permission to do that, It is a little bit tricky to kind of draft around here in terms of your composition.
Or
we go.
As well, we just see a
don't go
80
Jhin.
carry
Whatever
ban
you do,
here
don't
in the
go
second
Jhin,
phase.
please.
Yeah, Zeri works decently here for D+.
Like
Sivir
Ziggs AD
one you
here or
mentioned
some
that's really
shit,
strong, and they could have even tried to run Jinx because it scales well and pairs
Just
well
don't go
with the
Jhin.
Ahri Vi.
I
They
just
didn't
don't
ban the
see
Jinx,
it.
maybe. I mean, there'd be an angle here.
Yeah, the
We should
double
wait a bit
reset
with the
value
Jhin.
is actually kind of high, right? Like that's
Maybe
how
one more
you
game.
turn this somewhat single target composition. Of course, Scion does do a lot of AoE stuff, but he's a tank. But Ahri Vi is very good at killing one target, and so you then get excited, and then you mow up the rest of them.
I feel always guilty that we point out these Jinx angles when you and I both know in the LCK.
Oh, it's definitely not happening.
Never, ever. But we're like, this would be a great Jinx angle. It won't be, though.
We're going to add more single target pick instead, which can then flow over into more CC.
I'm the biggest Varus hater.
That could work, as the Varus has been locked in.
Honestly, on-hit Varus would have gone pretty hard for Bros comp,
I am the biggest
now
Varus hater on the
Now
planet.
it's a little bit trickier to play the Ezreal I was mentioning into this lane matchup, even if it's not lethality Varus, which I don't think it will be. Going for Jhin, which follows up pretty well for Renekton Nefiri.
They might go Jhin not.
Actually, kind of a nice Jhin
we
angle
could go
here.
Varus
I don't mind it on the
Renata.
Bro side. I actually think that if Aiming had have picked the Jhin, it would have just been done deal. We're going to a best of 3. But Varus does do a fair bit of damage, especially if you're going to go the on-hit build, and he is able to keep himself safe.
Don't rel, Palu.
I'm worried about Bard.
Don't rel.
I'm very worried about Bard.
Bard, you can do some stuff with. It's hard. It's hard, but like you can kind of do some things.
If they don't blind Nord, Bard on 5 works.
I just don't know about
okay,
it.
we
The
can't go
Nautilus will
Bard
be
now.
locked away. I actually think this is great. I think Beryl would
Just
have
go
loved to play
Renata.
Nautilus
Thoughts?
in this position.
You 100% do. Also, it's pretty good into Ahri Vi because you can re-engage with it very well and punish those overextensions by just pressing R and clicking on Ahri. She can't really outplay it with her
Bard
very
is
much.
too hard.
Works well with
Renata
the Nefiri, works
is
well
a
with
bit
Talia.
easier.
It's Janna time.
Leona, Rel are also fine.
Just do it, Beryl.
It's
Okay.
real time.
Chat, I'm gonna add
I
if
don't
you
know
want
if
to
it
add
should
you
be
to
real
try me off
time,
subject
but it is real time.
We're just going to barrel
We'll
down
allow that.
the
We'll
lane.
allow that. We're gonna
Barrel.
Rel.
This is a
Barrel.
bit of a weird one, Atlas, in terms of drafts. You know, we talk about a lot at the beginning of the day. Both coaches talked a lot about how it's not always about the top tier picks. It's about the composition you build. And I look at these two drafts, and I'm like, not sure about the compositions we've built. I
mean,
I like D+'s comp more, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, like,
I like D+'s comp more as well.
a pretty straightforward style.
This is a
If
trio.
they fall behind, they will do no damage.
The only
and
champ
that
that
is
can carry on
problematic.
Bro's
I think Morgan's
team
Renekton, if he's in a good spot in this
is
game,
Nefiri
could
Renekton.
actually take over. And that could be very scary. And we know that the Nefiri really is.
But that's
a
not
lot
gonna
of
happen for
X
Sion.
factor as
I need
well.
to
We've seen
wait. I'm
Raptor
ordering my
really
fucking
demonstrate some mastery on how to get value and
bum.
get ahead early on this champ. And this composition, if it does find that early advantage, is very, very scary.
Yeah, the engage is so simple for the side of D+. And as long as they don't blow it all on an Nefiri who can just go untargetable and dance away, not to mention any teams who tried to do that yesterday, then I think they can win almost any team fight. Like, the Jhin is so vulnerable as long as you get the right angle of attack. But if you overextend in this comp that Bro put together, it is so incredibly punishing. Any Taliyah comp can be, but with a Rel here, if you mess up your engage, you lose your support. D+ don't have necessarily big damage. If you're behind, like you mentioned, it's tough.
Yep, and the follow-up from the Jhin will always be there as well. Let's see how it goes as we jump onto the Rift for game number 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Chad, did Sinner win
Here
yesterday?
we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for the second game of the series. Can Bro pull it back?
What does he play today?
And turn this into a best of 3. Guarantee 4 games.
Ooh, Lusa with a massive gold lead here.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's all over. This
when is the finals?
Rolling. 6 gold?
Yeah.
And the Bros don't even get to ping on the ward? Oh, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
As Morgan is toy Renekton. Having a good time walking up to the Lumberjack.
Renektoy.
Sorry, that is
the terminology.
I should use the terminology. I apologize. Renektoy.
Sunday.
It is the best Renekton skin.
I do need to write a public
What is that
apology
Varus
for that
skin?
one. I will do that one later. As I mentioned previously, I don't own a ukulele. I could try to do something on a guitar, but I just haven't practiced. So I'm just not very good these days. Never was. Not gonna lie.
Well, this Renekton into Sion is going to feel pretty good in this early game. Morgan is already ready to get into the thick of things in the top lane, as you guys can see on the mini-map. This ward will be cleared by Palu. Well, he'll scan it, and it'll be cleared by Hype.
100 gold lead already, boom, DK.
And this early game is going to be about barrel fishing. What he can find in this 2v2 will determine who ends up getting ahead, but naturally the Jhin is quite potent.
Lethality
pretty
Varus.
good at this early game. Oh, having a look, it is going to be Lethality Varus.
Is DK gonna have enough damage this game with Ari Vi Lethality Varus?
Going to be building towards any attack speed.
I'm not
We're gonna need Ari to get a lot of gold.
Like I think it's not very strong right now, but I think in the comp I don't.
We're gonna need Ari to get a lot of gold.
Follow up to any single target that gets hit by the.
How?
He gets hit by the deadly
What?
flourish. As never mind, actually, Barrel tanked that one up, but that
How
is
are we letting
still
that
gonna be
happen?
A terrible result here for DK bottom side.
It's a trap to think that you can play Rel at level 1. I think it's like Rel is like the new Alistair. I mean, how many lanes do I have to watch for? You're like, I think I can do this. No, you can't do this.
Whoa. One more link in the chain, and probably would have found that. This guy is kind of locked in.
Yeah.
This Nautilus so far.
Do not want to be hit by those hooks, D+ bottom laners.
Well, they are not going to get hit by it anymore because they are, thankfully,
the Varus skin goes kind of hard.
Barrel setting up the CS here quite nicely.
Yeah, it's going to be a +1 here to aiming.
Nicely done.
Surely.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, Barrel's got his back.
That's beautiful. Barrel with the proc, able to lock that one down. Very nicely done. So as you say, going to be ahead by just a little bit, but it's nothing to really write home about.
Very scary when you're walking up like this as the Rel, because if you get hit by the Nautilus and Hype 4-shots you, it is
as long as
not what you want,
top
but
goes
he
even,
times it well
bot
with the
retains
last
push,
hit the Hype was
and
looking
mid
for
is
there on
ready
the
to
minion.
move.
They're trying to contest
we
for
will
cannon.
find good options.
Really watching this bottom 2v. It's the new way, because this lane often is the decider of early games.
I do think that it's not actually going to be the decider of the game, though.
No.
I think that these are going to be
Why
supporting
did Jhin
cast
W the
members.
cannon?
And
It wasn't
if
even
there
low.
is a snowball, for example, from even Lucid in this game, but Showmaker especially, that's where DK are able to get themselves some leads.
Yeah, Showmaker, like, this is kind of the way that if we go all the way back to, hold up, we're going to have Shiu as a target of a dive.
Yep, level 4 gank this time around as Morgan is going to be slicing over. Everyone's flashing for Shiu, who does shield himself up. He's still alive as Croco comes over and will be able to pick up the kill with the bleed. Still, that was a lot closer than I think a lot of people were expecting. Shiu going to try and keep himself alive on this wave, actually picking up so much of this farm before it does all go down, and he can then teleport back up as Lucid walks over a ward to get back up here. Okay. Nice first blood, though, going over to Croco.
This is what you do with Nefiri, man. Even though Sion is considered very strong into Nefiri, these early levels with no items in his inventory.
So
especially
stupid
with
that
how much
champ.
damage he took from Morgan in the lane that we weren't watching. Very easy to just dive on him. He handles it well. He flashes here, right? But the aggro is reset by Croco's W, and that's Like, that part of her kit is basically designed for this. And so she just resets it and says, all right, well, one more Q will do it. See you later. Down here, this lane, resetting a little bit as well. You can see that Hype was denied a cannon moments before last time we were taking a look at this, but what I was mentioning about the B&K series for D+, the last one they had regular season, that was the series where Lucid had the insane pop-off Xin Zhao game, and then Showmaker had the insane pop-off Ari game. And so many games for D+, you're like, if you just trust these individual players to pop off and carry, like, who cares about what happens in the mid game? Who cares what happens in those late game team fights? Showmaker's fed, he's going to realm warp into the base, it doesn't matter. And that's kind of been the MO for D+, and this comp definitely does allow for those types of scenarios, as Paulo being such a bro here.
He absolutely is. Hype going to be able to make it up and pick up the majority of these minions. As Shu didn't actually teleport to get himself back to lane.
Yeah, and he is going to look like just hold this for the lane swap.
Sorry, I was just sorting something else.
That's going to work out.
Can
Actually,
we just,
works out perfectly here for D+, where they get
look
the
at the
dragon
scoreboard and notice
get
the
lane swap
outlier.
during it, as Beryl just hangs
mid
around
lane
here
is
for
winning
a moment
again.
and can go and rejoin.
Yep, the
Level
dangers of a lane freeze, which is obviously what Paulo was
Showmaker has closer under tower and has a CS lead.
They're going to be caught a little off guard as Shu doesn't manage to get the knock up here. Aiming going to turn up. And so Morgan now getting the news that things have kind of changed. There is still an Neferi in the area. Nice little seismic shove here on to Showmaker, who gets hit by the hook of Paulo. Will have to use that Spirit Rush in order to get himself to safety. So that is another big tool now down.
Yeah. As this shouldn't amount to anything.
Why are you leaning top?
But Doggo is... Sorry.
Can you go farm your jungle camps? Red?
Just going to be throwing around some hot dogs, which is why I had Doggo on mind.
Miss Doggo.
80 carry.
Well, at least he was playing with the right skin.
No. Does occasionally try to make some appearances, though, in other Korean international tournaments.
Yeah, we cast him in Casper Cup, right?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Alongside players like Woody.
That was in one of Maple's last games ever.
Yeah.
But now he's unretired.
Last games ever until he unretired, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to keep up, you know. It's kind of like farewell tours that obviously make a lot of money.
on a tank is fine.
People go on multiple.
Yeah,
he's
when you
fine.
are kind of the best player in your
for
region,
playing versus bro, fine.
Region, you try to retire, people just keep trying to give you money, and you're like, okay.
I guess I will. I guess it's fine. Also, he played well in Casper Cup.
No, he really did. He was the
mid guy.
Yeah. As this game is slowed down a little bit here, Grub spawn in 40 seconds, and you know, it's a relatively even game state here. Obviously, the top side dive was a success. Showmaker with a lead in mid, did not have to flash. His ult being on cooldown has not been
punished, a really good freeze in bot, but Lucid's top.
Paulo making some big impacts in this game so far, which is a good sign as we're going to commit the ult here.
Okay.
Yeah, some curtains getting cold on here as Hype is just going to try and use it to clear out the wave. Shu gets that message and he's like, no. That last shot is not going to work out.
Got the cannon.
Just farm, just farm. Stop it now.
Shu does punish him decently well.
Stop it now.
We've
just farm.
talked a little bit about, and Ox loves to
You're
talk about
freaking me
the
out
fact
a bit
that
here.
Jhin doesn't hurt Sion.
Yes.
Doesn't do it, so sometimes you got to ult to make sure you can keep control.
Ooh, fast play
Grubs
top.
are live, by the way, and
but that's a Renekton, guys. Just so you know, that's a Renekton.
The flash forward, Chains of Corruption going to connect there, as well as the kitchen sink hits the Renekton. He slices and dices though, and Aiming has to flash, but he does pick up the first kill for DK. A heal to get themselves back out here as well.
Nice
as
play.
Actually,
Renekton died.
Understanding that they have the
How
man
much gold
advantage
is
for only
Morgan
10 seconds time. A teleport can bring Morgan back in, but that may be enough time for DK to be able to lock at least one of these grubs down. Smite is going to be invested.
Wait, one grub?
And they are just going to get themselves out as Closer, holding onto the seismic shove, does find it here onto Showmaker in the end.
And Closer's Talia has been so insane this year. Like
one grub,
had so many great Talia games, whereas in the past it was such a weak point for him champion-wise in my mind. He did not, however, Weaver's Wall into that fight, try to turn it when Morgan was being focused. Morgan does go down. They end up losing the first grub. They'll secure the next two. And Grub's not the most important in this game with like a Scion and a Renekton. It's not a hard winning side lane comp.
I actually did not think that the Renekton would die
Let's
here.
just engage on the Morgan. Chains of Corruption's on the follow-up, so he gets to
if you had
press
Ignite,
R,
it's easy as
fuck. And he barely gets to press Q. Like he almost doesn't even get to press Q. That was the mindset. If he does get to press Q, then Aiming has to flash. Beryl actually heals to help the retreat there from Aiming, but 100% worth for Aiming, who has now got his Dirk and Retrix in inventory and is pretty accelerated in this game. And I kind of like a Fed Varus more than a Fed Renekton.
Oh,
Jhin misses another cannon.
Missed a few of them.
Yeah, but he just straight
missed
up
a lot of
the deadly
cannons.
Flourish.
Yeah.
That's a very expensive miss.
Hype did not have the great early game on the Jhin. That was not the part where he had the good game.
No.
It was the later part, the very latest part, in fact.
Oh, Xiu does have the anti-Renekton items now complete. Morgan is going to have the anti-Scion item.
Why do pros not go AP
completed
Varus?
relatively soon, but as you can see, as of right now, Xiu is feeling way
I don't
better
know.
in this
It's
lane.
probably because it's fucking bad.
kinda
I don't know.
nuts.
Isn't
gonna
it
find
like
some Q
super
damage,
resource heavy or
all
something?
these minions.
Isn't the reason that
grapple
Dality Varus
value
is good is
be
because you're
working
like
out there
super
as
poke
well.
heavy and
Yeah.
you're very low econ because your items are just
okay,
cheap as
hold
fuck?
on, Morgan.
Wait a second.
He does have ult.
Yeah, so I don't think he's under any threat of death or anything like that, but if he does have to ult, then that means that he is a definite target here.
I mean, Lucid is
Lucid.
He is topside, like you say, with his ult coming back online, so Morgan's actually just gonna channel it back here, get his health back. TP coming in for closer as Palu gets that vision cleared in the river. Hype's having a pretty good laning phase here.
I definitely think there's times where AP Varus probably works.
Yeah, a ton of vision around this
But
dragon that's
you
about
need
to
a
spawn here.
very
Maybe this
specific
time
comp.
we'll see that Weaver's Wall entrance and Bro trying to look for a full contest. Morgan does not have TP, Xiu does, and his ultimate, so he plus absolutely should be able to contest. That's not going to help.
See, now if he was playing AP Varus and he plays like that,
a
GG.
pretty opportunistic use of the ulti there.
Got it.
Out of aiming. It would have just got a cleanse, if anything. So, not exactly going to be the most impactful, but...
D+, gonna need Xiu here if they're gonna fight for this.
Yep, they've got a lot of vision, because they do, of course, still have...
Just don't ult the Fury, whatever you do.
Croco gonna have to bounce over that wall, and now DK with full control of this area. Morgan, no teleport, no chance. And let's see whether Croco can actually make something happen.
Oh, the chain CC is beautiful, though.
That is how you blow up the Nefiri.
Okay.
You just kill him in one shot.
Or mind control him to look for a steal, yeah.
Beautiful.
Something like
That's
that.
a big play.
Hextech Dragon is
See, now if
going
this
to be
was
the soul for
Raptor
this
on
game as Xiu
Nefiri,
teleports
he'd be
back towards that
5-0
top
by
side.
now,
They had
and
to
we'd have
sacrifice
like
some
6
plates for
deaths in
it,
bot lane.
I think
But
they're
it's
gonna say,
Croco on
Still, they
Nefiri.
don't have a gold advantage.
So mentally and
Double
physically,
dragon,
we're still in the game.
Hextech?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so in this game. With the Varus, lethality Varus, as well as going to be looking to poke and slow. Then your Ahri can hit charms better.
God bless.
Looking very good for D+ in this second game here, despite, like you said,
God
the
bless
gold lead
everyone
not
woke
being
up early
there
just to watch
yet, but
DK stomp
certainly
and
have a
be
lot of
boring.
ways to get one. And it's only this Renekton that has an advantage over a Scion that is the reason why they don't, because they're winning everywhere else in small increments. Croco has Blast Cone, and he also has his W
Good patience
and
by Lucid.
Flash, so he's kind of like, I should be able to get out here, but he's just chain CC'd to death.
Yeah. And Beryl even gets delivered towards closer as well. That's exactly what Beryl wanted, you could imagine.
Everyone just keeps coming in saying, what the
Showmaker
fuck? It said
overflowing
Lolly
with
Sports
essence
said
there,
10 o'clock.
and so no way for a follow-up fight. As DK, first fights have looked pretty good so far this series. I think if you're a Bro fan, first get your Bro tax in. There's a button there for a reason. That's going to help Polu land things like this, as the exhaust going to be used on him there as well. As nice double knockup. Beryl is going to die. Can they do some more work towards
I feel like at this
Showmaker,
point
as
you
the
just have to
curtain call
accept that
underground
at least like
is a
4
very
times per
confusing
game
phenomenon.
Beryl will get
But,
caught and
Hype
die or
is
lose
just going
slash.
to cancel
Like
that
it
one
is
in the
just...
Morgan,
It's just something you have to
Yeah. Gonna pop the Dominus as Xiu. Let's see whether he can find an angle to ult his way out. Decides instead to use it to CC the Renekton. Fully charges the Q.
C1 tanks,
not
doesn't
gonna be able
die.
to find too much because Lucid
C1
shows up
tanks.
5 seconds on the cease and desist. That would have been a dead Renekton, even with a Talia in the area.
C1
Scary
tanks.
stuff. Croco was also there, and Closer came up. Very, very scary fight potentially there for D+ had they extended into that further. But I think both teams taking the right and safest call there, as we are going to have plates dispelled here in 20 seconds time. I think when I look at this game state here, I'm like, okay, both teams have insane single target. Team fights are going to get brawly. But I like the fact that Xiu is able to, despite being nearly 800 gold down, it could just be silent. Like, he could still be a front lane, he could still be tanky. You're not going to pick him
like
very easily in moments like this, right? And in 5v5s, I do favor
Which
D+
is
later
chain
on because the
CC
comp
die.
is simple. Beryl here, not
I mean,
being
maybe
very
he thought-
respectful.
maybe he
and
thought
you
Jhin
can
was
see
gonna
the
catch
Jhin
bot
vault is
wave,
just
but
so
still.
simple. But like, every single win for these teams so far has been, I CC you again.
Beryl
I
just
CC you
once
one
is
more
fine.
time.
Okay,
I
just
CC you
how
and
does
I
Bro have
go
a
and
gold lead?
buy it
Like
side
what?
CC you.
Yeah, just to let you guys know, CU is also a convenience store here in Korea, so it's very confusing when Wolf is saying CC over and over again.
Yeah, the slogan is nice to see you.
It is.
But not for these comps, it's nice to CC you.
Yeah. We just add an extra C, and it's not talking about corn chips, it's about
Big shutdown on
it's about crowd
Showmaker.
control. Okay, there we go. Do you have CCs in America? Is that a corn chip brand for you guys, or is that an Australian thing?
But they do sell corn chips at the CU.
Ah, so
what
we
is
can,
CC?
But not CCs. I don't know.
Corn
just
chips.
corn chips in general.
Okay, never mind.
What
So
is a corn
for
chip?
the Aussies out there, you
is
you
it
might
just
get
like
it.
a
I
crisp?
don't know whether they're even still around. Maybe old Aussies. Never mind. The Bros still hanging on. They still have a little bit of a gold advantage as well. We don't have any feats of strength going over to any team just yet. The next kill for either side will be able to get that. You'll also get one for taking your first turret to see who can actually get that one down the lowest. Top lane did take a couple of plates worth of damage. You can see also here on this bottom side, things looking a little worse for wear on the DK side. I think plates is actually where Bro have made a lot of their money.
Yeah, and the
corn chips.
You know, again, next dragon here is really pivotal
yeah, you
for
have
D+.
corn
Like, if they
chips
get
and you have
Soul Point,
potato
they can kind of
chips.
do whatever they want for the rest
Do you have any
of
of the
the
chips?
mid-game.
Ooh, Barrel. Deadly Flourish comes down again, and he's caught by another hook.
I see you, I see you!
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of CCU there.
And now they're just going to get this Herald, and because the dragon doesn't spawn for 40 more seconds here, it's not like D+ can make a trade for this. They either have to try to contest this Herald, or they're going to have to just
Barrel
regroup
just
and
needs
maybe look for some vision on dragon.
Like to be subbed out at this point.
Surely, right?
This
Lucid
is
wrapping around. They're looking for the poke damage, of course, with Avaris in here. It is a possibility, but there is a Renekton now channeling the teleport behind him, and now the engage onto Lucid. Can he actually get in here? I think it's a successful disengage thus far, but it is going to be the Rift Herald going over to the Bros. Now can they find the team fight? That's the question. Is Aiming having to deal with a crocodile on top of him, and he gets shoved right back into the melee. Now we do have the return of Beryl, but he's a little too late. It is going to be Lucid taking down the support, but I think he will be the sacrifice as there is a slice ready for Morgan. As Showmaker going to have to flash away, Shattering Strike from Beryl to try and save his mid laner, and Croco
God bless Beryl. You're back on the main roster. You're back on the main roster.
Well, that's no Magnet Storm for the Dragon, so that doesn't feel great. Shiu is at basically no health here. I'm just going to 4-shot him.
Yeah, Seismic Shove going to pull him back in as well. Yeah,
oh!
The curtains have been called. This is going to take some serious DDR from Hugh, who is going to be able to walk his way out of it. Never mind, very nimble is the Lumberjack Scion.
All right, so we're just putting all the buttons on cooldown, except Lucid's ult.
Oh, but that is going to be feats of strength over to the Bros.
Yeah, bro. Oh.
Unless Morgan just dies to the turret.
Oh my God.
That would have been feats of strength.
He doesn't have this. We are losing to this.
How much health?
We are losing to this. We are losing. We're losing the game to this.
They actually are not going to get the dragon anymore.
They just did Herald and owned us, and then they got executed to the tower, and we're getting soul points for it.
To at least lock down feats of strength. So there that is. I think that would have already happened, I think, to the minions, but that's totally fine. The soul point is going to be taken for free.
Yeah. Aiming in danger? Question mark? Maybe not.
Aiming in danger confirmed. Beryl may be more danger because he's just
a free soul, just take it and stop getting caught.
Bro, you were the dragon team. Remember?
You were the chosen ones. You had the high ground.
I remember when Bro were the Kingslayers and they beat Damwon Kia and like
hey,
all King Lava and
okay, but they still do have
What is that? Did he just Scion ult into Nefiri by accident?
They took the mid lane out of turret. They've done some stuff. They're landing every single shove. And Shiu is just dead. Shiu's also playing a tank. We haven't actually mentioned this, but he has struggled on the tanks so far here in the Rise group.
Well, you know the gift that keeps giving is I see you, I CC in this game. Like, it's actually wild. Like, we saw that flank from Lucid on the Herald earlier. They saw him. They CC'd him.
Yep.
And this just continues to be a thing. Scion, he takes a long time to kill, but they will CC him.
Well, oh, that hook was beautiful. And the follow-up is going to be there as well as the Nefiri grabs herself a kill onto the Foxy Lady. Closer is going to get exhausted, but it's not really going to be much there for DK.
Of these 10 champions, by the way, only Croco does not really have CC.
Yeah.
And he has a button to get out of CC, so he's kind of winning.
And that's why I was kind of worried, right? Because Closer's got follow-up CC, not CC. However, if you've got a Nautilus, a Jhin, and a Renekton, you're going to be able to lock down.
Look at Shiu here.
What happens when you
I'm
see
ulting.
someone,
Oh wait, Nefiri's here.
Right? Shiu's like, I've been seen. Okay.
So you see them.
Now look at Closer.
Like, oh,
look what he does. Combo, and then he gets in the Herald, dodge the Varus ult.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I get it now.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing. Showmaker's just playing bullet hell, trying not to get CC'd. He's like, they saw me! Damn it!
They CC'd me! No!
I mean, it's actually so silly how easy it is to get picks with his comp for Bro.
Yep.
When you're ahead, like,
and now they're 4.3k gold ahead. So before, it was Soul Point, and they were down 1,000 gold. That is totally fine for DK. But this is getting to the danger zone.
But for D+, if you have map control, it's the same thing. Like, they see somebody, they CC them, right? With the Vi, Ahri, Varus. We've already seen it.
Live?
Like, they've
really?
done it
Am
multiple times in this game, but when you're down vision, you don't get to see them, so you can't CC them, and that's where we are.
Well, Lucid is going to see Croco. I just don't know whether that's actually going to do anything. As the Bros now moving over, 2 items already for this Nefiri. As, all right, Beryl looking for a Magnet Storm angle. It could be a big one. Charm lands onto Croco. They don't get too much follow-up, and Lucid down to below half health. Hype is just bullying.
Shield on the flank.
Like, where is the damage on DK's champs? Like, tell me.
Does that mean he'll get CC'd?
Nah, he left. He got off vision real quick.
Okay, there we go.
He's just out of range. Okay,
Yeah,
you also have to be in range.
Tell me where the damage is,
Croco and
now.
his little hot dogs making their way towards the Otacon here.
Okay, the turn has to be pretty crisp here. Showmaker has TP. They do not have vision, but they're very aware of this. TP from Beryl as well. They should be able to come for a contest, but, like, they need to be faster about this.
Yeah, Hook is going to connect onto a wall here as Lucid okay for the moment. Does get over and does have to flash to get out of the way of the seismic shove. Magnet Storm pulling a couple of them in, but Beryl is still going to fall down. Palu flashes away to not suffer the same fate as the seismic shove is going to be avoided. Cease and desist as Lucid will trade his life, but this time Croco gets to go untargetable, and it is just kind of a disaster here for DK as Bro. They're seeing a target, and then they're CCing a target, and then they're killing a target.
Bengi, can you just come in?
Just keeps on giving with this comp.
Can you, like, how long has it been since you played League, Bengi? I'm just wondering. How's your fucking, how's your Alistar or some shit?
They have Paulo set up, and, like, I think old Bro might have just held the Otacon here and given D+ an in, but they say no. We have a Talia, we have a Nautilus, and you know what, Atlas? The Otacon is immune to CC. So
oh no!
They're like, you know what? We can't CC that. Here's a Weaver's Wall, and Lucid gets cut off, gets CC'd. He has to flash the second part of the CC there, and yeah.
Just think about this for a second. You're watching this game.
For an Otacon contest, but the trap was
there was a world where someone in DK said, Azir's open.
They just don't have any control. Your shield is completely cut off on
Why don't we pick Azir?
I mean, it was a nice try to keep aiming alive, but
and then suddenly the game is slower, the damage is higher, the scaling is better. The pick is better, the side lane is stronger, the pressure is lower, the game is easier, the series is more reliable, the elimination is less scary, but no. We have to play Poke Varus that's nerfed with the fucking most dogshit champ in the game. We have to play Ahri Vi in summer 2025. And we have to lose to Bro for no reason.
Beryl's going to be the next one to die. Yes, you took down the Lord, but we will kill all of you as the revenge comes in from the Bros. Yeah, I think Morgan's probably typing Worth.
Yeah, I do think so. He also avoided the charm very deftly there. And first dragon for Bro. It's not too much to write home about on its own, but the gold they picked up in the ensuing fight from the pick
how
on to
good
Morgan
would it be
4 kills worth is definitely where they're going to be
like
pointing their fingers here. If
Skarner.
you're looking at the game state to their 7,000 gold lead. We had one for D+ in game 1. Now the pendulum has well and truly swung as Morgan here is a Renekton. So look at where Shiu is, by the way, so far away.
He avoids all the CC as well.
Exactly, like they saw him, but they couldn't CC him.
It would be very nice if we hit our VIQ so we could hit our Charm, so we could hit our Railstun, so we could hit our Varus, so we could kill him, so he wouldn't lose so much health.
Bro just rotate over so quickly here. Another Weaver's Wall from Closer gets him, man. The follow-up is just so easy with this Nefiri. And like Renekton lives so long. It's unfortunate. Maybe he would have lived a little bit less.
Why is everyone spamming Lucid Skarner question marks? He just missed a VIQ in mini range. Bro, put the Skarner in the bag.
And Shiu once again was just a spectator. So hasn't really been getting in front to make things happen. The rest of the team looking a little hyphy, to be perfectly honest. I don't want to blame the young player on the top side of the map too much. But the tank play is not really being
also, Lucid Skarner is one of his highest win rate champs of the year with over 10 games.
We kind of mentioned at the draft, like whoever gets ahead is going to just roll over the game because of all the dive and single target pick there is. The Scion is kind of the most awkward part of this because he does have CC, right? He can set up a CC chain or follow up on one, but when you're behind, he's just a a big CC target. Like, he's got quite a big hitbox to seismic shove into all the other forms of damage. And Showmaker's caught again.
Yep, another hook. Polu is just going insane today. It's looking real good. The Magnus Storm is kind of decent here for Barrel, though. That will
kill more. Kill more. Okay, a bit more.
Now they're starting to get some of these resets for aiming. As close to the next one to be locked down, but they run out of damage. They run out of buttons, and they may run out of 80 carry as well, as the curtain's thankfully going to get blocked by Lucid. Shiu does finally find himself in amongst the fray, but he is just going to get murdered for it. So Seismic Shove going to be avoided there by Lucid, and it's a 2-for-2 trade.
They don't have their jungler to do Baron here, even though it is spawned now, so they will reset. I think try to clear as many waves as possible. Hype's actually going to stick it for this wave to try to do some extra damage to the turret. He's going to put a significant amount.
Why do I
into
even wake up for this shit?
Outright. So sure, they don't get Baron, but they do end up winning the longer fight there, and will eventually get this turret. TP to help secure here for Paulo, and now they can wrap over towards it. Krako has respawned.
This is literally like the Squidward meme when he's looking out the window and SpongeBob and Patrick are running around outside. It's like KT and Fearex, two frauds running around in playoffs, and we're stuck inside with fucking Bro, and we're losing.
So fast. The rest of his teammates are also there, so I think he's thinking, okay, maybe they can actually help me turn this before I die. Does end up dying, and yes, they end up getting these picks here. It's an overextension slightly, but this is the thing about Jhin. When you have this insane front line and so much easy pick, like, it's so easy to just say, well, you're stuck here now. Like, you guys may have won the battle,
sulking when they're losing one game. Okay. They're losing one game to Bro. This is a 8th place team they're losing to.
All of a sudden,
they're losing to an 8th place team. And they play Nongshim tomorrow if they win. And then they play playoffs on Wednesday. What are they going to do? Suddenly become fucking
still an 8,000 gold lead.
Ultra Instinct Goku Krug Lord or what overnight.
Seismic Shove after the deadly flourish. You can fish for these all day on the side of the Bros, and now the curtains are going to be called. In goes the Scion, dead on arrival here, as we can see. Maybe the zombie can get some TPS.
God, I swear to God, if I see Varus ever again. The only time I'll allow Varus is if Mirwin's playing it top, or if it's played into tanks and it's on hit.
To kill aiming, that could have
it is poke Varus disgusting.
For the Bros, and I think a guaranteed best of 3, a guaranteed at least 4 games here on the day, as the Bros just ran circles around DK this game.
Oh yeah, and Lucid was just a sandbag to be ripped apart in so many of these exchanges. And the Taliyah pick working a treat here. They did not trade it for Azir. They went for the Ahri Vi.
Do you A, take Azir and go 2-up, or do you B, not pick Azir, lose the game, and now Azir is permaban the whole series because Taliyah's out?
First they struck hard and they struck fast. Around the top side objectives is where they really started to build their lead. Showmaker does not look happy because that's Ahri Vi in your Fearless, gone for the rest of the series. Scion also removed, and Shiu, I'm not sure if that should have been the pick for him in this draft. They decided to go for it into the Renekton face up.
I mean, you say that, I'm, as a DK fan, very happy that Ahri is gone and Scion is gone. Because, yes, Showmaker has found some good games and some good performances on the Ahri, but I think the pick isn't good at this point in time. You can see definitely represented in this game. Shiu should not be playing tanks, so thankfully that is a tank out of the pool that he now cannot play. That is very good.
Now ban Ornn.
And I think Lethality Varus is just straight up not good at this point in time. So at least now Aiming can't play that. But that just means that this game looked a little
Chat, when it's raining, do you do bonus damage as a grass type because
really
the plants grow faster?
They fell behind, and I think it's back to the drawing board here for D+ and CV Max.
Yep, let's see whether CV Max has some plans here for game number 3, but it is now all tied up in this best of 5. See who can do it. It's do or die for both DK and Bro. Next up, going to be the space after this short break.
누르자 이거. 눌러. 야 이번에 미담 싸움 낼 것 같은데 얘들아? 싸움 내자 이거. 앞에 밀어 넣자 이거. 밀어 넣자 이거. 앞라인부터 좀 해봐. 과연 보여줄게. 싸움 천천히 밀자. 나 공격해. 와봐. 근데 공격도 예쁘고. 야 나 펜타인데? 미안해 나 공으로 잡았어. 많이 나오더라도 합하면 끝날 것 같은데 30초 안 남았어.
그러면서 오늘도 아티도 막 응원해주고 있고 오늘이 얼마나 중요한 날인지 사실 선수들 표정만 보더라도 느껴지고 있잖아요.
네, 경기 시작 안 할게요. 천천히 내려봐요. 천천히 내려봐.
T1 제제.
아티니 혼자 가는?
전체적으로 안 나왔던 것도 있고.
네, 지금 캐리아 선수가 이 인터뷰의 주인공이긴 한데요. 여기 뒤로 보이는 아띠가 너무 귀엽습니다. 한마디 해주실까요? 오늘 좀 길조가 된 것 같아요.
고맙다. 고맙다.
지금 아띠가 엄청 열렬한 눈빛으로 사랑을 보내고 있어요.
고맙긴 한데 약간 안에 누가 있는지 봐가지고 좀 이래서 좀 곤란하네요. 안 봤어야 되는데 이게 참 고맙습니다. 감사합니다. 존댓말 할 수밖에 없네요.
팬 치어풀에서 지면은 삼계탕이 될 수도 있다 이런 얘기가 있었는데
시험 팬분이 못하면 3개가 나. 정말.
뒤에서 엄청 응원을 열심히 한 친구가 있었어요. 누군지 아세요?
아티?
알고 계시나요?
네.
기운 많이 받으셨나요?
팬분들과 같이 열심히 응원해줘서 너무 고맙고 아티가 오늘 와가지고 직접 봤는데 굉장히 크더라고요. 또 그래서 큰 기운 많이 받아간 것 같습니다. 아티야 고마워.
캐리아가 반대편에 기다리고 있고요. 장로는요. 채웠습니다.
대회장 와서 제 그 얼굴을 보고 있으면 좀 많은 생각이 드는 것 같습니다. 좀 신기하게 생긴 것 같고요. 저런 때가 있었구나 그런 생각이 드는 것 같습니다.
짧은 머리 치고는 그래도 못 볼 정도 아닌 것 같아서 괜찮은 것 같습니다. 구제가 좀 쉽지 않아요. 구제가 사진 보니까는 좀 쉽지 않은데 쉽지 않아요. 한마디로 쉽지 않습니다.
짧은 머리는 제가 더 잘 어울리는 것 같습니다.
구제가 더 전투력이 강하니까 더 잘 어울리는 거 아닐까요? 그러면 전투력이 더 세 보입니다. 롤 잘해 보여요.
사진을 원래 1년에 2번 정도 찍어가지고 바꿨던 걸로 기억하는데 올해는 이제 그렇게 안 하더라고요. 당황스럽긴 한데 그래도 이제 한 해가 얼마 안 남았기 때문에 애매해지지 않았나.
바꿔주면 바꿔주는 거고 또 안 바꿔주면 안 바꿔주는 데는 그냥 딱히 신경 안 쓰고 살고 있습니다.
이 LCK 안에서 그런 머리 스타일을 사진을 하고 있는 게 2명밖에 없어가지고 항상 동질감이 있었는데 저밖에 안 나와서 좀 외로운 것 같습니다. 아마 이제 내년에는 다른 빡빡이 선수들이 아마 있을 것 같은데 기대하고 있겠습니다. 저는 이제 사진 빨리 치워버리도록 하겠습니다.
야 펜타.
Your mic stopped working? Yeah, it is.
야 펜타 가겠네 진짜. 야야야야 내놔봐 일단. 야 어디가? 미니스키는 케어해.
뺏어줘 응 안 된다니까요.
다음에 또 기회가 오면 도와주겠지만 잘 먹도록.
사우드 가자! 캐리아 달려들어서 세리가 버스트 오너 예 너무 세요 그냥 야 펜타 가겠네 진짜 이건. 끊었어 4점의 라이즈. 야 펜타
What's the score?
가보자 펜타.
Don't ask.
도발로 빠질게. 맛있네. 난 굶었어. 너무 그러지 마 지훈아.
오늘은 확실히 챙겨주려는 스탠스였고 이 친구들이 되게 착해졌구나 생각을 많이 했습니다. 아까 인터뷰할 때 제가 좀 이런 식으로 이야기하니까 뭔가 때려보더라고요. 그래서 무서웠습니다.
아니 아무도 안 뺏었어요.
For what?
사실 이게 원래 맞게 된 롤인데 이제 그 전까지는 너무 좀 친구들이
펜타를 안 뺏었더니 팀원에 대한 고마움을 모르고 너무 당당한 모습 보기 좋습니다.
감사합니다. 있습니다.
앞으로 이제 그럼 펜타 욕심은 없으신 건가요?
아니죠. 이 기록을 유지하려고 이제 계속 욕심이 낼 것 같습니다. 다음에도 잘 부탁해 얘들아. 알겠지?
And another Bro and Brew in game number 2 happens. This time, a different result. The Bros look dominant and close.
Chat, is Orbeetle a good Pokemon?
It's 1-1. As it was already written, as it was already foretold, we knew that this game was going to at least the championship rounds, at least 4 games, as Atlas called out. Degon here, alongside Ox and Chronicler. This one, it's a draft kind of thing that we've seen a couple times, forced by D+ to not much success.
So I actually think, considering how the game started, it went shockingly well, because up until mid-game, DK wasn't that far behind. They got 3 dragons, which did happen because Morgan died to a turret, which didn't really impact the game, but I do think was funny. What I want to highlight, though, is why DK? Why is Chiu put on a matchup where he will get beaten when his tank play just hasn't been good? And why are we prioritizing this Vi Ahri? I don't even think that picking Vi Ahri is completely out of the question. My question is, why are we prioritizing this? Why are we not picking Renekton for Shiu? Because it's one of Morgan's best picks. We don't need to 1-2 it here. If you end up playing into Taliyah Vi, you have literally been shown how to deal with the Vi. There are a lot of picks up that can deal with it. And then Neferi is literally what B&K used to beat DK as well.
Yeah, it's the fact that they've played the Vi into the Neferi, the Vi Ahri into the Neferi. It went badly earlier in the play-ins, and they're going to that matchup again. And it just makes it so difficult because the Neferi can play so aggressive. You can't ult onto it. It could be that momentum killer in the fights. I do think, obviously, we have some criticisms for the draft, but the gameplay also left something to be desired. I also think the poke Varus we saw come out again, and we've seen it really lose a lot of momentum this pick. Obviously, it got some nerfs, but I also think the fact that every support is running around with Redemption really hurts it, because
what has
so
CV Max done to this team?
You know, even if you poke someone out, they're getting healed up before the fight starts. You have Sundered Sky as well, so it's really hard to actually make that poke stick and cut through targets, and it's just not hitting as hard as it used to.
Yeah, a lot easier to finish off targets when you're up against a Brand jungle or a Zyra jungle like earlier in the season, but with the nerfs, the fall off there. Now, the first couple of kills went the way of D+. Bros pick a couple back, and then had this sequence where they just get everything.
Yeah, so Morgan did die here. Again, very funny.
Yes, we skipped the Morgan.
Not mattering at all, even though that
never happened.
Over. What I want to highlight specifically, the more we see of DK, it really does feel like...
Oh my god, it's trainer battle.
Team, if the front line doesn't feel like they're in a good shape, just doesn't work. And in this game, Beryl had, unfortunately, a really rough performance, I think, throughout the entire game. Wasn't able to ever create any space in Shiu's tank and frontline play. I think we've also talked about just hasn't been good consistently, which makes us question why they put him on. Because if he doesn't die here for free and Beryl doesn't take half his health bar for no reason, they get a turret, right? They get the top turret, they get the mid turret, and it's salvageable. But instead, DK just doubled down.
Just into a Herald, you're always losing that first tower, and they position so aggressively as if they're able to defend it.
It's a sacrifice there, always it's a sacrifice.
Back off and defend the tier 2. Instead,
then
now
it's a
one
shot.
With less members, it's already taken the Herald hit, the second Herald hit, so they lose another member, they lose another tower. Now, because they have so few people on the map, they lost that tower top, they lost 2 towers mid, they end up losing another tower in the bot lane as well. It's 4 turrets in 2 minutes, which is just such a crazy swing
Which
of
LTA
play.
teams are going to Worlds?
And despite the fact that there were 3 dragons in favor of
Actually,
D+,
C9 lost
it
that
just
kind of
doesn't
mate.
end up mattering if you can't translate
That's
that
kind
into
of funny
soul,
that C9 lost.
and they
That's
lost
crazy.
so much in this passage of play.
Because
That's crazy.
Before this, DK's in a rough spot, but the game is technically...
Oh, I feel better. I feel better.
Kind of the
I
reverse
feel
in the
better.
previous
Okay,
game
someone in
where
chat cheered me
Bro
up.
also has been known to kind of have a tough time actually
Alright,
closing out
1-1's not too bad.
But from this moment onwards, unless Bro make massive
1-1's
mistakes,
not too
there was
bad.
just not going to be a way.
The
And I think
Poker
credit
Rogue
to Bro
run's
as
going
well.
good. good. I got
Particularly
S
with the
tier
way
luck.
that they use the Talia to consistently get that side lane threat and threaten those turrets.
Yeah, well, knowing that now they have a lot more
Ampharos.
of
Is
the
that a
map
good
because
one?
the towers are gone and they're on a timer because 3 Drakes over to D+. The Otacon is started and we know how those things go. However, bro, they peel off, they show some discipline.
Atlas, please look away. Atlas, I'm so sorry. I'm just warning you.
I mean, this is a great setup. I love the wall combined with the Unraveled Earth that makes it so uncomfortable for the Vi. But then,
Gentle.
Beryl just flies in, you know? Lucid has to just...
There's Brooks on the ground!
Yeah, he just gets the lead.
He's probably better than Minum, right?
He saw an angle. I'm not sure what the angle was, whether it was the right angle, you know, but he went in for it.
I'm just glad Atlas didn't see that.
Yeah.
How dare you try and replace my Minum?
And then they end up just losing the fight pretty handily, and at this point the game was just over. They already had a big advantage going into that. The setup was good, the Weaver's Wall was good. They connected on the right target, so when Beryl went in, it was just easy cleanup from there.
And this is just the rigidity in draft for DK is directly in contrast to what has made them look good throughout the, I think, the entire first half of the year, right? The fact that we kind of knew the VIR was coming. Atlas called it out the moment that we saw the Talia locked in. The sign came as no surprise, even though that shouldn't really have been the pick, I think. And I think Bro are doing a really good job under the leading of Duke, taking advantage of that predictability.
Yes, but I would definitely say that this is expected. A solid game number 1 by D+, a battle back by Bro for game 2. Let's see how game 3 treats us.
Thank you very much, Tigon.
I don't die to Bubble Beam.
Also, thank you very much for the disclaimer as well. I do want to remind you, though, unfortunately, I did play-by-play that fight, so I had already seen what had happened, even if I didn't directly address it, because I can take creative license and not talk about one of my favorite players running it down if I don't want to.
Try to just not remember it, and
I mean, that's why I've managed to stay such a positive Beryl fan my entire career.
Yeah, just remember the big records and the big wins. And
exactly, 2-time
everything
world
else
champion, baby.
Is just hate. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah, and also his team wasn't following up, man. It's not his fault. Okay, let's get to the...
Haters gonna hate.
Wait, hold up.
Sometimes championships
with more and less reason. Okay, let's get into it here. Game number 3, D+ back on the blue side once again. And I want to see this guy.
Oh my god, Whimsicott, my go-to.
Top side of the map. I want to see. They were talking about the rigidity in draft. I swear, this has just been CVMAX forever.
Whimsicott, my go-to.
The fact that Fearless is going to help, but you can still run the same archetypes over and over again. You can still try and force the same thinking onto a team, and it doesn't necessarily work out. Sometimes things don't work. Just let it go.
All right,
do
bro.
something else.
Yeah,
DK.
It starts to seem like D+ might have to index into Showmaker just.
Oh my god, they're gonna ban Azir right here. It's gonna be
more
Azir.
than trying to build team comps,
And we can't play it anymore
I mean,
for the rest of the
we saw
series.
Inspired get a pentakill on Tryndamere, right? Like, that happened. And so maybe that means that Showmaker can bring back the mid Tryndamere in a potential
I was
matchup.
kind of more thinking about like a
Why are you
LeBlanc
betting
pick,
Pantheon on blue side?
or like a Kiana.
What are you doing?
That hasn't really been seen here in Korea that much.
Bro, I swear to god, are they just winging
we'll
it or
see
what?
the Yunara and the Azir, which is no shock. You and I were
Oh
talking
my
about
god,
I think Azir's
Azir's
probably gonna be
banned for the rest of the series? Oh, we
I would
could have
agree.
picked it in game 2.
I think the other thing that should be banned for the rest of the series is Nico. That hasn't been looked at just yet. Still 2 more bans to come through.
Right here is where it will be banned.
I would expect so, unless D+ are going to go for a Nico first pick. That was something that I believe worked out for Nongshim yesterday, even though they didn't win the series ultimately.
Victor.
What?
Victor Ben. Victor Ben.
That's not what I expected.
Victor
No.
Ben.
That pick has
Because
not
they're trying to
been,
first pick any. They're trying to first pick
despite
any.
maybe what
The powerful
I don't
flex
know.
pick.
But what happens
of
if we first pick
Victor?
any and they go Galio?
Well, they're not going to get the first pick, Nico.
Don't first pick
Pantheon
any.
was banned on blue side.
Don't first
We're
pick
gonna see
any.
something completely different
Don't do
here.
it. Just pick something else.
Blind
Trundle?
That's
I
what
don't
I
know.
was kind of thinking.
I
That
may
sounds
get
ass.
up and leave.
That's what I was kind of thinking we might see. Blind Jarvan, how about that?
Blind Jarvan,
Oh
all
my
about
god,
it.
it's a horror.
Love that.
Yeah,
That's great.
That could be a better option, but I feel like they might blind Trundle.
If they...
Okay,
Okay, it's
that's
Annie,
fair.
it's Annie.
That's
Oh, I
fair. Yeah,
love that. That's
fair.
not
Yeah,
I
Trundle.
hate it.
That's-
I hate
that's
it.
very good.
I
Oh, I
hate
can
it. What if
stay.
they go Jarvan
Oh, man.
Galio? What do we
Okay.
do?
You could, as Bro here, just go for... Well, you could just go blind Ambessa, but I was going to say you could go for something completely different. The Trundle, okay, well...
Ambessa Trundle.
Whatever.
God
Well,
bless.
who cares
pick
what I
Jarvan.
was thinking, you know?
Yeah.
Just go blind Trundle Ambessa.
God
Sure.
bless.
I
Pick
guess,
Jarvan.
do I have to leave still? I just
Jarvan
didn't want
Gwen,
first
thoughts?
pick blind Trundle. I still don't like this. However, I'm not outraged enough to actually.
I thought they could just go Jarvan Sivir. You know, like I thought that
great.
was,
Don't go
that's where I was
Poppy into
leaning towards,
Ambessa
but,
Trundle. What?
Don't pick Poppy into Trundle.
Pick fucking
Poppy
Jarvan.
Trundle and also Poppy blind. No, they wouldn't.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so
They
it is
never
going to be Kai'Sa.
What is this, Kai'Sa
You could just go
Rakan?
Kai'Sa Rakan. Annie Rakan has been a combination that's
Oh,
worked very well.
but if
in
you
the
go
past.
Kai'Sa Rakan,
Yeah,
what
it does
jungler
give
are you playing?
Some strong lane sustain for what could be a tough matchup, or will likely be a tough matchup. But I like that teams are starting with B&K, starting to push the 80 carry.
Don't pick jungle
into
now.
a
If you're gonna
first
pick Kai'Sa,
phase a
full
little bit
commit.
more,
Come on,
so
pick
you can
support.
actually build a draft around the CC that Showmaker can now set up here with this Annie.
Yep.
It's probably going to be a jungle pick, though, I think. And Poppy still, they really want it.
Fuck
it's
off.
a flex,
Hate it
technically.
so much.
Why are you
Why are we
picking
picking
Poppy?
into Trundle?
For
It's like one of
what?
the
Oh
greatest
my
things
god!
for
Like,
Trundle to press R on.
There's
It's so obvious they're going
much
Galio on
heal
3
and
into Annie.
engage
It's
here
so
Bro with
free
this
for
Galio
them.
lock in here now, and it's been the very common response to the Annie. It's a little bit less crazy than the Vikla Morgana response to the
So
Annie.
now I won't-
like a little bit more. But it opens up so many cool scaling 80 carries here for Bro. Like, for example, the Zeri.
What is
which I
that
think will
draft?
probably be
Just
banned
look
by
at it.
Kia
Look at
in
that.
this second phase.
What is that?
Yeah. Certainly a lot of 80 carries now have been taken away, right? Like the Corki
Just
and the Jhin
look
that
at
have
it.
been
It just
very
looks
high priority
goofy.
throughout.
You could just ban Jax and also the Gwen here as Bro, which is looking like the angle they're looking for.
Yeah. Not expecting that this is going to be a top lane Poppy or anything like that. We're also hoping that because she, as mentioned on the space and during the game last time around,
It's okay,
hasn't been
Banzaya.
fantastic on tanks.
We can win
Zeri
this.
seems super obvious just because it's hard to get on top
Banzaya,
of her.
hello.
It's hard to get on top of her with Poppy.
Hello.
There's just so much frontline here. Zaya,
Jesus
similar
Christ, is
story,
my mic
right?
working?
But the Zeri
Rat.
is even scary. Maybe they'll end up banning the Zeri in that final spot.
Yeah.
Gwen here is my expectation. And it is a very strong side lane threat with this composition. A lot of extra damage.
Yeah, they'll probably
I
bang
don't
Gwen.
like it into Ambessa. I think especially after the nerfs, it just doesn't feel like a playable matchup. But they might go for it anyway just because she has been pretty confident on
And
the
they ban
champion.
Jarvan.
There is the Jarvan ban away as well.
Expecting Poppy support.
Yeah. As of course, I mean, it is technically a triple flex.
Like, Hype
is
is
kind of cool.
Is so good at Zeri. I think if you leave this up, you will regret it as D+. See what they decide to opt for.
What happens if you pick
Ezreal
Aphelios on 4?
also
Do we lose
safe,
the game?
Doesn't work the same way in this comp as
Does
the
Polu play
insane
Thresh?
hyper carry that Zeri will be.
Nah.
Yeah,
we'll
I
be
don't
fine,
like
right?
Ezreal quite as much.
They don't play
He
Aphelios
wants
Thresh, do they?
consistent damage.
Jinx is okay. Like maybe it's real. This is exactly the opposite of what I thought we were going to see. Like the exact opposite.
I also think MF you can see 3 things.
I don't know,
deal
man, what
with
to
MF
pick. Just
really
what do we do? Gwen Sejuani? I think it's awful.
I'm not gonna give this one my thumbs up. This one doesn't get my blessing.
And now you can add more things that also don't care about MF if you would like to.
I prefer the Lee Sin here actually to the Nocturne. Zed in this draft kind of feels pretty good.
All right.
It is awful.
There's the Zed. And we get a huge cheer from the LoL Park fans as well. Lucid going to need to make something of it, though. I think he's looked a little lackluster on a lot of these carry jungles that really need to take over.
Oh my god, I
As
can't.
Shiu now going to be taking the
I mean, the Aatrox at least kind of cooks.
This time
The
around.
Aatrox is good.
They just think there's enough damage in this
The Aatrox
Annie
is
and
good.
Kai'Sa later on that they don't
Maybe the
wanna go
Aatrox
for
carries.
a strong side lane
Aatrox
Gwen or
actually
anything like
fries this
that.
game.
With this Zed pick, it does kind of make sense. They just know they're like, our job is to kill the Misfortune, and it's pretty easy. And if we have the Aatrox, then it just gets even
Zed
easier.
is not gonna
There's another
cook.
flank threat that's pretty difficult
What
to
are they gonna
turn
have-
on. Like, it's difficult for Morgan to say, all right, like, this Aatrox is flanking, let's go on top of him.
Tree!
Chat, I'm gonna run ads if you want
Well,
about ads.
I
You want to
mean,
try and
so
have
basically what
games with
D
biggest.
Plus have said, it's just a pile-on composition, right? The problem is, they picked it face up into Galio. Now there's a Maokai there as
Galio,
well that also
Maokai,
thrives in
Trundle,
those
and
sorts of
Bessa.
situations. If the MF can ever get into a position to do damage,
Well, the Aatrox has got a lot of
all
value,
5 members of
but
D
the
Plus will be
Zed,
there.
I guess,
Because
is
they
just gonna have to
Yeah,
power farm and hope he can
I
one-shot
kind
MF,
of-
because everyone else
I
is
like
too tanky.
the comp here of D+, so much more though, because I think it's, again,
It's
easier
awful, I
to
hate
play.
it.
You have a clear win con, you have a clear target in these team fights, and sure, there's some peel here, actually quite a lot, but the MF is just such an easy target. Like, if you have a Zeri, the reason why I wanted the Zeri or something like it, even the Jinx would have made a lot of sense, which is why they banned it. It's hard to lock her down, and then she can clean up those fights. MF is like, I pressed R, I'm cleaning up the fight if we're winning. If we're losing it, I think
DK
dead.
can still win this easy.
It's a very binary
DK can still win this. Aatrox is the key. Aatrox, Annie are the two champs. Aatrox, Annie, Kai'Sa, I guess.
Stocks of Zeri do go up, and maybe they
those three champs can win the game.
Series, but this is a big risk, and I think D+ should be able to take the win here.
Three good champs. Those three champs, Aatrox, Annie, Kai'Sa. Aatrox and Kai'Sa big damage, Annie setup, and they have 4 melee champs. Those three. The Z and MF shit is just, I don't know. Actually, it'll be all right.
Every little thing is gonna be all right.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the Rift for the third game of this series.
I mean, I think what happened in draft, I actually think what happened is they said, let's go Kai'Sa Rakan, and then they picked Kai'Sa, and after they picked Kai'Sa, someone said, but if we go Kai'Sa, what happens if they go Poppy on 3? And they're like, oh shit, fuck. Well, we kind of have to pick support now, because if we don't pick support, we don't have any melee champs. And they're like, okay, then we just pick the Poppy ourselves then. And then I think that's
than this as D+. You can see the wraparound from Closer.
Who the fuck are you?
Into that level 1 Annie with the
You're fucking dumb.
stun that she has auto prepped. Not going to be fighting. Not going to be trying to.
So
punish.
I think the draft was focused around Rakan,
brush control goes
but
over
was
to
swapped
barrel,
to Poppy.
Ultimately, what they really wanted, and they will be successful. This matchup
I think
here
they should have just gone
going to be a little bit volatile.
Any
Everyone
something
knows
Aatrox 1, 2, 3.
Mbessa stats are not the best.
Because actually, the fact that they got this Aatrox on 4-5 is crazy.
I would agree.
This is insane. What did they ban, bro? They banned Jax and Jarvan, right? Oh, I think if they banned Aatrox, this was a horror game.
Later game team fights, just with the fact that Beryl gets the most value out of the Poppy against the Mbessa.
It's actually crazy how much value it is.
The Maokai, though, just does not care about it. Twisted Advance is so very good. Galio is going to have a bit of a hard time, but Trundle
God
and
bless, we got the Aatrox.
I mean, these are old champions. They don't have dashes, so they'll be fine.
Poppy can also just stop an MF from ulting, can just kick people out of a team fight, take a Trundle away relatively easily. So while like Poppy is not good into Trundle, especially in the jungle because of what Trundle does to you when he subjugates you, Trundle kind of just walks at the team, so it's hard to avoid getting Poppy ulted, especially on objective control.
Yep.
So Poppy kind of good into Trundle in that sense.
Well, the Z clear speed is crazy good compared to the Trundle.
The thing that I do
That's good.
like about the Bro composition is that they took what worked against them. I believe it was Nongshim that just smashed them with the misfortune into the Kai'Sa, and the game was just never playable. This time around, though, you can see actually DK finding a bit
nice
of
try,
value
Beryl.
here.
I see it. I see it.
The minion to tax
Showmaker again is gapping mid, as always.
For him on that one. Yeah. Otherwise doing fine there in the bottom
Like, there's
lane.
some good qualities to the draft.
This matchup is so volatile that like
the Z clear speed is crazy into the Trundle.
On it, as this has been
mid has a bit
such
early
a
push.
common answer into the Annie, but you can see it's an even matchup.
But I really think the Aatrox saves this
I feel
game.
it's going to be an early Constellation Cole buy here for aiming. Actually, this has a longsword.
All right, just going to be that.
That's kind of exactly what you're leading into, though, because this matchup can be really tough to play out. So many Kai'Sa matchups when you end up with a melee support.
Winning
early
game against Galio.
Do things later.
That's not the point. The point is he's gapped mid every game.
And that's kind of the
early.
situation here for aiming.
I'm saying he's winning mid again.
Be battling with Lucid for this crab. Looks like the Trundle will be able to get it there with the combo. So Lucid will have to try and get into position to take the top one, but now actually looking for Crocker. A lot of damage does come through.
Showmaker has so much prio here that Lucid can continue this with no fear. Hard to secure the scuttle against the Trundle, but can at least get some damage done. Force him to back, but he was going to back anyways, as both jungles are cleared.
Oh, Lucid actually coming back to see where the closer wanted a little bit
his
more.
W was 1 second
just
cooldown.
Punch his way out.
Otherwise, that's a send moment there.
A crab trade between these two jungles.
Bit of a scuttle trade. Aiming does get back to lane without any issues here. It's in fact Hype who buys the call.
Yeah. And Aiming did miss a cannon. So
Hype is a big MF
so
player,
you
isn't
can
he?
see that's kind of represented
loves
in the
MF.
money here, and there are 5 minions out of the wave that Hype still hasn't taken. So the Bros with a little bit of money banked up, ready to be taken here.
Shiyu has a lot of pressure on him right now. You know, we haven't talked about it too much, but obviously, you know, the All-Pro votes came out, right? And there's been a lot of discussion about it. And as much as the players probably try not to read, you know, there's a lot of that as he's going to redeem himself here.
Morgan's dead.
GG. GG.
I have no idea what happened.
The Aatrox carries.
Apart from the fact that
God bless.
Shiyu
God bless Shiyu. God bless. That's the best thing he's done in the last 2 weeks. God bless.
I mean, I may have
Solo killing top in this kind of game is so important.
I voted for him for first All-Pro, and some people didn't like that, and, you know, he's trying to make a big splash here.
Yep, Shiyu carries his game.
Time to prove himself.
Yep.
Did you also in that sentence say something like year of Closer again? Because Closer
yes,
also finding a great trade there against Showmaker.
No, I didn't mention anything about Closer this time, but,
World Ender, he just wants to kill Palu.
Oh,
is
yes.
so angry.
Shiyu is very angry.
Being forced to play Sion in the last game. I was about to say, like, about how it went, but no, it's not about that. It's just get me off tanks, let me carry, let me show you what I can do.
So let's see this again.
Well, Morgan was the one that started it, and I think this was a bit of a Shiyu saying cool story. as he
Bro, Aatrox is so OP. Oh my god, 3 points in queue.
I was like, is there something weird where he got level 6 first? No, because he used it when he went bottom lane. Okay, well, Morgan will have 6 in another wave, but does not have it now.
Well, Lucid's going to find Palu here as well, as the Void Seeker does not find.
Coffee.
This early game, pretty good for D+, and it's outset.
Yep. We could do that thing where we talk about pendulums again, because it is it do be swinging. It's on a long leash though, you know, like it takes a long time for this pendulum to get back and forth. It's an entire game of one way and then the other.
Lucid here trying to get some deep vision.
Oh
they really
my
want
god.
To make something happen here. Top
Siwu solo kill top, and I have food and coffee.
Be discovered here momentarily.
Oh my
Lucid
god.
Actually doing a fair bit of damage here against Croco for now.
I mean, they have so much control with Showmaker's mid-prio. They can kind of do whatever they want. Here he comes, in fact.
Yeah, Feral kind of unlocked as well as Showmaker looking to move his way up. Does need to.
That's a volume increase, by the way. That is a volume increase.
Be careful. They just need to let this buff go.
Yeah, they need to be
That's a volume
wary of the Galio, of course.
increase.
Showmaker with his stun prepped. If there is ever a Galio in the
Showmaker
area,
spacing.
he's always
an
able to
astronaut.
stop
He's
him
an
from going in.
astronaut.
It was kind of funny how Closer went up to follow, because I was like, if you kind of just ult from your lane, that's actually the safest call you can make.
Yeah, it doesn't have the range, I don't think, at level 1.
Well, not like fully from his lane, but if he goes back around the Raptor.
Yeah, something like that.
What did I get?
Angle where you are still in
I got a
war,
sausage
that is
roll.
Certainly useful.
But ultimately, they give the red buff back to Croco. Anyways, he takes it, and so nothing happens from there. But I really thought D+ were going to
Anyone who's
really
not
hold on
British
to that
will say,
tempo and that pressure they had there. They do just
You
swiftly
wouldn't
give
get it.
back. Man, Grubs is spawning in 15 seconds. Dragon has not been taken, but Croco's on the bottom side of the map, so it looks like that's his plan. With no top side control, no mid-prio, Closer walks back to lane. It looks like they want to turn this into a gank and Dragon. Lucid actually coming down here as well, though, but he's a bit behind the 8-ball.
Oh, he's actually taking a bit of a Raptor timeout as the World Ender is going to come on through. He's trying
One
to
between them
avoid
now, Shiu.
the kennel and may be able to do so, and yeah, he gets to safety. Morgan has some dashes, will be able to get himself out of the way. No flash required, didn't have it anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately, you got to hit those if the gank is going to be a success. Nice sidestep there with the ult from Shiu.
Yep,
and
bit of public misexecution, unfortunately.
There you go, right in front of everybody, right on camera.
Yeah.
In the most public way.
It's sometimes how these things go. As Morgan now going to get punished once more. Shiu
No
looking
flash.
for some knockups
Nope.
here. Doesn't quite find the Infernal Chains. And Croco turning up. Will be able to defend his top laner.
Are you
but
stressed?
Morgan
No.
is bleeding.
My
here
day
towards
just
his
got so
bottom
good.
side.
Zed is pretty good into Trundle, as we all know. Doesn't have a ton of resistances himself and is very mobile, so can get over the pillars. But did use his ult early there,
up
and is
gold.
going to
Hell
respect
yeah.
the Trundle as that exchange does continue. I think if Bro, hit that ult, they get the Dragon. If Morgan hits that ultimate, they get the push on to Shiu and probably trade objectives, but he misses. Lucid comes down to try to defend that play, and now we're kind of reset back to a state where Dragon is still up, Grubs are still up, and Bro still have control over the
How's the
Dragon.
poker road
And
run?
D+
It's
are not
great.
able to actually rotate in fast enough. Lucid's going topside now here, but Palu does now have level 6, so could delay a potential Grub take.
Yeah, it should just be Croco able to lock this one down.
People are bashing British food, but there's 3 British foods
and can actually contest a little bit for grubs
that are
here.
crazy good. But I will not defend anything else.
Lucid is going to be able to take at least the
The
first
first
one.
is
It's
the
gonna go
sausage
down
roll.
very quickly as well.
Crazy good.
As he's getting closer
The
and closer to
second
that first
is
item.
a British pie.
And Beryl
Crazy good.
just standing
The
guard.
third is a
It going to
Sunday
be the gentleman's agreement
roast.
here, as both of
Insane.
these teams absolutely
Those
full of
3
gentlemen,
things
as we know,
are great.
And even though
Everything else
they had Paulo with level 6 and the Galio ult was available for closer, they just let the grubs go. Safer call. That timing.
Yeah,
Still value. There you go.
Yep, Steadfast Presence going to stop him from doing one of his dashes. There you go. As teleport to bring in the Maokai. Palu just getting himself back out onto the map.
They want to prevent Morgan from being dove here. He has ult and flash, and a Maokai is here. I think D+ definitely will think twice about this.
Yeah, there is a Trundle also making his way up. So Palu looking to try and find Lucid. He's going to be very slippery with his Living Shadow. So Croco will be able to get the smite onto the Krug camp. But Lucid is going to get stunned up. They're still looking for an angle. Deathmark comes on through, and out goes the Maokai and everyone else.
All right, well, we turned a dive defense into an attempt to look for a pick, and then Beryl says no. That's kind of the long and short of that one. It's very difficult to kill a Zed like that with the pillar setup.
It's like when you're like watching your brothers fight, and you're like, no, come on, guys, let's not do that. And that's what Beryl did. He just sent the rest of them home.
He brought ice cream, and
Watching
he was
my
like, how
brothers
about we
fight.
just all play N64?
I have 2 brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Both are older
it's like,
than me.
no, it's no more GoldenEye.
My middle
no
brother
more Mario Kart. There's too
beat
much
the shit out of me.
Let's play
And
something.
my older brother beat the shit out of him.
Maybe play Gauntlet?
Yeah, that could be the way. Definitely not Mario Party.
Yeah, I was going to say
Don't
that
play
is
Mario
right out.
Party.
Morgan still has flash, but doesn't have his ult anymore, and I think he's just dead.
Yeah, he is very, very dead.
Well?
Does look to lock down Beryl, as one more auto will do it. Aiming was tanking the turret, so that means they are able to get it done. Got a little bit frightening there in the middle, but it wouldn't be a DK dive if it wasn't a little bit frightening.
Yeah, it's a huge win for them, though, as they are 3 grubs in with this Aatrox composition.
I didn't beat the
all
shit out of
those
anyone.
plates
I got,
going over,
what the
and
fuck am I
some
supposed
minions
to do?
here denied as Hype heads back to the lane here very late. So much farm is shut down here. And there's no cross-map opportunity, as this is the dive here. We kind of skip everything that happened before. Morgan no longer has his ults, only has a flash here. Beryl gets him into the wall. He's very tanky with that shield, though. Beryl gets out of turret aggro range, though, does not die.
Yep. Is the Poppy, so is deceptively tanky.
Diving with Poppy.
Okay.
Easy.
The Bros suffering a little bit in the kills department and kind of the rest of the departments as well. Next Dragon going to be a Hextech. That's going to be up in 2.5 minutes. Going to be difficult for Bro to hold on to priority of that area. They still have a lot of vision down there, though. So double Dragon potential here for this team. And I do still think the
Hang on a
the
second.
front to
Maddie
back
just
of
said
this
diving
comp of the
mentions,
Bros,
and I clicked on her
especially if they
message
get
thinking,
Morgan
yeah,
on a good
true.
flank, things can
But
work
what do you mean
well.
those
They
are
have
just Aussie
some
food?
answers to what DK
Are you
wants
saying
to
the
do,
things
but
I listed that are
unfortunately,
British or Australian?
DK have a composition that snowballs very well.
Losing so many minions around the map as Hype is
That's not
trying
true.
to catch them, these waves, and missing minions at a time. Lucid getting some more farm away as well.
Yeah, Crocker going to be taking a death mark here as Lucid continuing to try and do damage. Showmaker wanting to catch up and take down the choking. And down he will go. There's Feats of Warfare locked up from Lucid. That is first item completion diff right there.
And also he's like, he subjugates Lucid, and Lucid's like, I'm Zed!
I have no health bar anyway! Well, there is the bullet time, but it is not bullet time, unfortunately. So he has to cancel that one
Very
pretty
briefly,
quickly.
bullet time to get some minions and then cancel it.
The bullet time, unfortunately, didn't go into bullet time, so he didn't get enough bullet time.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird.
Lucid. Not going to get a second season of bullet time.
Yeah,
You're doing great.
He needs to talk to Keanu Reeves about how to bullet time correctly.
Keep it up.
All right, we're going to check this one out from Lucid's perspective.
Gets the camp away. Has Eclipse, so has that extra shield. Goes in for the combo here. Has ult running.
Yeah, he
Good,
likes it.
good. Got him.
And he said it was delicious.
Chabasso.
At least that's what I heard.
I think he said Chabasso, like I got him.
I thought he said Mashasso.
Well, they often do, so, you know.
That could have been one. G-Sun confirms, though, that it was I got him, so it wasn't delicious. May have also been both.
He might have said it right off after we got the comms.
Wait.
Yeah.
Chabasso is I got him. But wait, what's Chabata?
Okay.
I was trying to not
Chabata
known
was
to
I got him
be
too.
on a healthy diet, so it might not really be that delicious to eat, but
yeah.
This game is very slow, but also very oppressive, and I think Bro have just been completely out backwards, to be honest. Like, we haven't talked a ton about like where all the goal leads and stuff are, but D+ are just kind of walking around the map and taking everything they want.
Chabato is, I have him.
That's kind of how this comp works, as Lucid once again lurking. He's got the right target.
God, yeah. Hype is going to have to try and make it rain, but unfortunately it's raining aimings instead.
No.
And down he will go.
So, if the present past tense,
well, there's a taunt onto Showmaker. He's putting the kennel as well, but Tibbers, he likes that. That's another kill for Lucid. Somehow.
What the fuck is Lucid doing?
We'll need
He's completely
context
carrying.
on that one. He went very far for that. Used his flash. Survived.
What is happening?
And Beryl is continuing to be frustrating here. Closer not going to be
like
backing.
killing everyone.
And that will spell a lot of damage on these turrets. Oh my god.
First turret and Dragon after getting the kill and not backing. He doesn't care. Well, yeah, this game is starting to really become quite a one-sided one.
He's killing
Thankfully,
everyone.
the Bros have already taken a Dragon, and so they're not going to get perfect gamed here in Game 3.
Yeah, it's not going to be a double Dragon. They got one objective as well with that Dragon, you know, so it's not like they got perfect feats either. This is how Hype died. We knew this part.
Yeah.
They picked MF here, by the way. And then Palu eats some of Amy's Q. He doesn't even stick for it. Yeah, Lucid just...
Riot.
Oh, Red
man.
buff.
Yeah, just gets him. There it is.
As well committed, I think.
That's going to be some bounty gold. Beryl is about 100 health, but that's exactly the way he likes it, as close as teleported in. That is going to be Rift Herald going over to the Bros against the flow of
Why don't we pick more carry junglers
maybe
for Lucid
able
if you
to,
can
by
do
the way,
this?
bounty if they could get this mid turret. I'm not sure if they can actually get the mid turret with a drop here, but they are going to try for it. Hype has ult. So they're trying to bait a play here out of D+.
Squishy members of DK are the ones trying to frontline here as in goes Morgan, finds Showmaker, and down he will go. The turret is still standing, but it's not quite working out. Polo goes over the wall. The Zed is already dead. And aiming, and
I knew it was a fake gold lead. I knew it was fucking fake.
Here on this top side of the map, as they do get a second charge.
The champs are so dog shit.
Big wave here.
But maybe we'll just win because we're better.
Go for a double turret, but double charge is good enough. The rare Zed taunt as Galio hits Lucid there. And
wait, Galio Maokai just CC Zed and he dies?
Oh, Croco does need to be a little careful. Killer this up here for aiming.
Oh.
Well, that was a big swing of gold back into Bros, you know, eliminating some of their deficit here as they just 5-man mid, and the bullet time is on top of Showmaker here. Very simple to execute when you siege up like this with the Herald, and then the taunt goes down onto Lucid there, and that is his death as well. They get the extra charge.
Come on, Shiwu, this game is you. I know Lucid's making some funny moments,
of advantages on the side of
but this game is actually secretly you.
Fed Kai'Sa and Zed.
I'm not even kidding.
And also, Shiwu's starting to become pretty big as well, because he
it's
spent all the
Aatrox
time really hitting turrets and sides.
Yep, that was pretty good for Morgan though, because he did manage to get that kill.
Yeah,
feels like he's getting a little bit out of the woods, and that gold lead of like 270 here at 17.5 minutes doesn't really matter that much. Still, Sundered Sky, pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
Aatrox especially.
On any champion, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like Aatrox, with the fact that his passive is just kind of the same thing as well.
It's like pretty good on like Lee Sin, you know, also, you know, it's like Poppy jungle, surprisingly, actually, yeah, really good there too.
Yeah, and yeah,
2-item Kai'Sa, okay, we'll take that.
Pretty good.
Wukong occasionally, if you're a connoisseur of that.
Melee, insert melee champion name here, pretty good. Yorick, pretty good, for example. I like it on Garen. Let's have a look at how the rest of this game goes though, because the Bros demonstrating
how is
that the
Trundle
tempo vibes
out-farming
are not
Zed
necessarily
and
residing
up half
over
a level.
DK's side of the map.
Well, this is a weird setup here for D+, so there's no real objective to fight for. There's no top turret, as I am concerned there could have been a potential overextension there. We've seen that quite a bit, especially from our Noodle team yesterday, this type of game state, but they get a lot of Croco's health, and it is a Zed, so he should be fine,
We'll see whether he will be fine, as the death mark does come out onto Croco.
Oh,
the
God bless the
Mikhails. God
bless the Mikhails, and God bless their thing. Polu's completely trolling.
His other shadow. That gives time for
Lucid's
Showmaker to make his way over, and Shiu has finally
there
joined
he is,
the
my
fight,
boy.
finds Hype, and that is going to get the flash out of the MF. The tree died off camera, and DK right back into the driver's seat. Those tempo vibes, man.
They never left the driver's seat, buddy.
They certainly are. And what looked like it could have been a potential catch there.
Some guy in chat writes back to being boring.
Hype is
Shut
under
your
turret
fucking
right
mouth.
this entire time, is not involved in this play whatsoever because he's dealing with a Kai'Sa in mid. The Aatrox rotates over, which is kind of funny as well. Lucid is able to just completely avoid this Nature's Grasp by going back to his Shadow. And then Paulo, who's trying to set something up with it, just gets executed. And then the Misfortune is collapsed on. But, you know, before he got that kill, or helped get Morgan that kill in the mid lane onto Showmaker with the Herald, I was about to say we could play the Challengers game of like, who do you think is going to win from this game state? But I was like, I want to play the Misfortune game where we predict how much damage the Misfortune does, because we've seen some like 4K Misfortune games. He did get a lot of Showmaker's health.
I think it's like it's a
sub 8,000, right?
I think it's a 7 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not great.
The game state, it calmed down for a little bit, so I'm thinking that's pretty fair. I was gonna say sub 8.
Yeah.
It's one of those Misfortune games where if you don't get to play the game, you really don't get to play the game. And D+, with this much map control, they play the game however they want. And right now, just putting Deep Vision up on the bottom side of the map and collapsing onto Morgan is the name of the game.
That's what they're going to look for. Showmaker and Lucid are closing in. They would really like Beryl to be here. Steadfast presence gets so much work done against the Ambessa, who's now going to have to vacate.
3 grubs, spot tier 2, lovely, lovely, lovely.
Grubs, so these Void Mites are going to really be helping out. Croco does take a bunch of petals here. Petal value in trade for a
shield on the TP.
I'm going to put that firmly in the
God,
console.
Trundle is shut up.
Yeah, and then Aatrox just TP's topside to do it again.
Yeah, the Otacon is here, so that's exactly where they want to be.
Exactly.
Showmaker with his teleport still available.
Look at how much vision they have, and they're under so much threat, and then Lucid's just like, I take this dragon for free, by the way.
Oh, he does.
And Showmaker does have TP, so he replaces the side laning Aatrox on the bottom side. Aatrox is free to sit up there top side. If he's left alone, he'll just push that back and start hitting that
Please
other
tell me how DK wins
Worlds
Worlds.
mentioning. And then the Otacon vision will naturally eventually get taken over.
How
by
many
D+,
Nexuses
as they
does
reset
DK have to
post-Dragon.
explode to win
And
Worlds?
D+ playing a good macro
Probably
game
like
again
another
here
25
in game 3.
Nexus size.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's
That's how they do
so
it.
crazy, man. The power of the pendulum. It's like we're just watching a swing set, is basically how it goes.
Blue side strong?
Yeah, it does seem to be how it
Or
works.
is it good drafting win?
I mean, I could see DK picking their last draft on blue side any day of the week. What would
I
the
hate
first
the
pick
DK's
have
last
been?
draft.
Like in other metas, maybe the first pick could have been the Ahri or the Scion or the Vi. Vi definitely would have been the way that they got there. And then you're like, Ahri, Scion, yes.
There's that Showmaker TP. He appeared to be not there, but he's there, in fact.
And
Well, we can do Atakan. Our
whether
name's
the
not
Bros can do
C9, so
anything
we can
about
just finish
this.
it, I
They do
guess.
have the Nature's Grasp, but it's so
Lovely.
far away. Polo moving in, and Lucid able to lock this one down. The Poppycopter is spinning. But Beryl doesn't even need to use it, as now Closer on that flank angle is going to get spotted out. Does a lot of damage here to Aiming, who's trying to keep himself healthy. Shiu doing the same thing. Look at that health bar. That item is
Shiu, just hit them.
revolting, and Morgan is caught out on the backside. They are just being surgically removed from the map. If you have a problem, DK can solve it for you. There is Shiu taking down the Trundle, and Closer going to be the next one on the menu.
One more
They're
game,
all about
and
conservation
DK.
here, though, so the trees will
Oh, that
live,
Poppy W was
but
great.
That is all. Gargoyles
One more
need
game.
not apply.
And then
Notre
tomorrow,
Dame will
DK
be
plays against
taken down in
Nongshim.
front of their eyes. Down goes the inner turret.
Tomorrow.
There are a lot of weird references in that last play-by-play. I'm sorry about that one, but that was a great fight for DK.
Yeah, bro, very termite-like in their infestation of the Otacon area.
Thankfully, the tree got out of the way of the termites, though.
Exactly.
Yep, after this game, I'm going to make the thumbnail.
Here.
And look, this ult from Paulo, like you mentioned, he's so far away, he's so late, he only hits Showmaker. And then this, if you like paused it here and it was an even game set, I'm like, ooh, they get some exit kills for sure, right? But it's a massive lead. That item you mentioned, it's revolting. It's
No, I
just
shouldn't.
disgusting.
I don't want to jinx it.
Aatrox on it, man. It's like,
oh my.
It's like Titanic Hydra, or what was it? Profane Hydra Aatrox all over again.
Yep. Gore Drinker Profane Hydra combo with a death dance or something, but it's all in one item and it's called Sundered Sky.
Just nasty. D+ are so far ahead that Aatrox is just not collapsible onto, and it's very easy to clean up here as D+. They started the Otacon, they had a great turn off of it, they secure it, and they secure the team fight win and the game with it, as there's no Baron. That's not up for a minute's time. The Nexus hasn't exploded yet, but this MF, let's just say she's not getting younger in this game.
Yep. Now we've got to teleport in. Showmaker could be in trouble, gets a speed up from the Molten Shield.
Phase rush out, get out of there.
Nature's Grasp. That's going to lock him up, covered in cats, and put in the bin. Down goes Showmaker. It does take a bit of time, does do a bit of damage there as well. But the Showmaker for inhibitor turret trade is one that scholars have actually come to a determination on. They have said, in fact, getting the inhibitor in the mid lane.
When you call the bro exterminators, they'll throw in an extra inhibitor as well.
Yeah, I guess that's how it works. They got a good coupon on that one as Lucid gets himself out of bullet time. It's not bullet time. It's time for something else. Maybe it's game 4 time. I mean, for the bros.
D+ called in the first 15 minutes, right after that ad.
Yeah.
And that is a bounty going over to Morgan. That's something. But my bro leaf is not very strong right now in this third game, Atlas.
Dwindling, to say the least, Wolf, as DK do manage to take down another inhibitor turret. The Baron has spawned as DK slink back to the fog of war. They're going to buy some items.
You know, I think when I told
it ain't Brover
the
yet.
League of Legends gods and the LCK
it's kinda
gods
Brover.
and tried to caster curse this into existence, I said I wanted a close back and forth series. I meant close games in the series, not just like one team stomps, the next team stomps, and the next team stomps. Like that's
Shiu just killed him.
Shiu is Aatrox. He doesn't care about your chicken buckets. Good skin choice from closer, but it's not enough.
It's not quite going to work. Able to umbrally dash his way out of there. Lucid going to help with
my Aatrox is good.
OG
chatters know how good my Aatrox is.
One-sided blue side games one after the other here, and this time D+.
OG chatters know my
Aatrox.
There is some learning to be done though this time around, Wolf.
Don't blind Trundle.
Yeah, and also don't randomly fumble a team fight.
Yeah, that's also a problem.
If DK follows that, then I think that we're going to go back to a space that has a chronicler on it that isn't looking quite as stressed. If we get another one of these things where we're, you know, meandering around the Baron and barrel ults thin air, and then the bros just steal it away or something like that against
you went 110 when I last watched.
7.6K
yeah, well, that's just top lane in solo queue.
Then that could be a real problem. So this, though, is not looking like it's going to be a problem for Lucid.
The game state makes
top lane in solo queue is go down 50 CS and be a pussy, or drop 10 deaths and win or lose.
Okay, he has it.
Yeah.
Now, Aiming does have, you know, a 3,400 gold lead, an extra arm guard and Nashor's Tooth and all that, but let's just like not talk about the individual matchup. Let's just say, like, look, it's a 2.5 item misfortune. You know, maybe she could do something in this fight. Let's see what she does in these upcoming fights, if anything, in this draft.
Beryl would go in there, wouldn't he?
He would.
As this time, Aiming is going to be alongside him. Lucid
Can't
there as
lose,
well.
just
He
kill
really
him.
wants to kill Closer. He might be able to do so, but
can't lose, just kill them. Look where Aatrox is, no matter what happens, this fight's won.
Bullet time does, though, as Beryl will be going down, but there is also the Galio falling as Shiu gets into the backline. This time, he's on a champion that's actually supposed to do the flanking, and there he goes. He finds the angle, has Aiming there for the cleanup.
Beautiful.
And I don't think we're even going to see a Baron.
Showmaker's laughing, vibes are back, game restored. This is like Doran and Krugs.
But you know what? Maybe Hype broke 8K off that one. That's your consolation prize is D+.
This is like Doran and Krugs.
To match point here in a very decisive game 3.
Oh my goodness. Showmaker flashed him in the air just to show that he didn't even need it to win that last team fight, because there was a certain top laner that got a lot of that work done for them. So that is going to be match point here for D+. They take down the bros.
They got the lead. They played the macro well. They did not let it go. And Lucid with an insane performance on the Zed, punishing quite heavily that blind Trundle pick. And then the misfortune pick just did not land at all. It did, I mean, kill Showmaker that one time in mid when they CC'd him.
Hey, kill Beryl at the end.
Yeah, and kill Beryl there at the end when they funneled into a choke point. But D+ didn't care, and they won the game. Let's see the number. 14K, actually quite a lot.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
Exceeding expectations, and honestly only did a little bit less than Aiming. But as you can see, Lucid did double that. That's a revolting number that he put together there. And honestly, this is exactly what you want to see. If you're a DK fan, Shiu and Lucid popping off in one of the later games in a series is something that they definitely have not been able to do. And now they've figured it out. This is a D+ that should be looking pretty scary moving into the next game in this series. But the bros are never to be counted out. Time for us to take a short break. When we get back, the Space going to break that one down. Then we'll have the 4th game, and then hopefully the 5th after that, surely.
Chat, who's John Major?
봐도 돼. 분해 있다. 분해 있어.
봐도 돼.
나 분해 없었다.
똥광 나와? 똥광 나와?
나 쫄게. 빨리 와.
깜짝 일단.
잡았어. 천천히. 여기 좋긴 한데.
나도 좋아. 나 날라갈 수 있어. 나 궁대. 버스 들어가면 궁대.
나 갈게.
나 안녕.
난다.
뭐야. 뭐해? 여기요. 뭐 아무것도 안 써.
You can try to run, but me, I run this place. That girl with a gun, coming through. Surprise! Boom, let's play.
Yet Disguise continuing to push forward now with another keeper's verdict onto Blabber. Double flash over the wall from C9 to avoid Castle as Thanatos now wants to stay away from Rahel. Castle takes a ton of damage. Massive engage coming out from Huhi. The Magnet Storm onto everybody, and Vulcan and Sven are already down. Loki taken very low now too. Disguise may have just found their moment off the back of Huhi's Rel, clutching up when they need him most.
Huhi just saved the game for Disguise.
All day, it's go time. We've been on a mission. Better hope you ain't slacking. When you running a meet.
确实上来了，欧文被找到了，但同时也走到了 K2， K2 已经拖下时间，杀到招神剑撞墙了，兵哥想力挽狂澜，但俊伟重新猛打，
欧文，但只有俊伟在帮他，
还有一个满 Q
倒了。姐姐下个一有吗？闪现 Q， 但没有 Q 到墙上，没有晕，吃了一个快刀剪断，姐姐的血量也掉得很快。阿明看了一个金身，让人过来一个闪现 Q 技能直接缩掉2个人头，也可以准备下去刷 Q 位，直接平 A 跨上来5A 级连招，再跳上来拿到一个 triple。
奈特关键时候的一个闪 Q 啊！
Just know this, in no time, we came equipped heavy with more. Bet that I can't lose and all.
Milagroso, mas acho que não vai dar tempo não, hein?
Tá caindo a vida do Barão. Já teve roubo do de Samis em cima do Carioca. Será que ele consegue fazer agora a devolução? Entrada agora, Roubou! Barão, mas não foi o Kaká, foi o Fury! A Bey ainda respira, mas será que vai aguentar?
But you gotta know, it's one thing if you coming for me.
싸우자 가자! 달려들어서 대리가 버스트 오너 너무 세요. 그냥 대장의 점등이에요. 와, 순간 아타카 치료 탈출이 안 돼요. 자리에서 그래서 그럼 라이즈는요? 버드라! 네! 버드라 이거는 앞에 주는 초비! LCK에서 거의 뭐 제일 많이 먹다시피 했었는데 그래도 더 원하는 게 펜타입니다. 먹어본 사람이도.
그래도 본대 쪽
태전이 한번 잡혔죠?
본대 쪽을 좀 잘 잡으면
네.
그리고 사이언스도 피하다가
탈리아도 만화가 거의 없거든요.
근데 기인이 붙어 있는 상황에서
그래서 여기 밀어내고 사이온을 계속 괴롭히고 정평
양쪽
대랑상황
탈때
끊어주고
완전 약병. 아니 이거를 몰아붙입니다 1대1로.
왔다 갔다 요리조리.
그런데 뒤로 이동하고 있다가 기인이 범판이 센세.
와 근데 기인 진짜.
I need to cover this zone area.
To try to lock up the FlyQuest mid laner. Will not be able to do so as FlyQuest tried to exfiltrate here, but Whippo has arrived to try to help his team out. There's the Syndra ulti onto Fudge, who's staying alive for now. They've made their way onto Quad, but they can't quite kill him here just yet. Fudge needs more damage, and he won't find it. Now on the front line, Whippo finds a two-man decimating smash, and Masu is free firing. Flash out of the way of the ulti from B-Boy, but it's a triple kill to Inspired. It's a quadra kill to Inspired in the jungle Trendemir game. Inspired.
Not bad, right?
But Inspired, and you could see he saw the angle when he gets the triple.
Not bad.
Already setting up for the Penta. Inspired comes in, and Khalid's house, a Penta, and 4K in the bank still to spend.
Are you kidding me?
Damn. Damn, that goes hard. Damn, that goes crazy hard. I knew I had a secret talent of graphic design. I knew it. I said it. I said it. Wait, what counters bug? Fires.
This is it, bros. There are no more losses to give if you want the 2025 season to continue. As Wolf brought up, this has been a close series, as in both teams have won a game, but in those games, once a team takes a lead, it's been pretty one-sided. This one, the same case here, as the Zed got a little loose in the jungle. Welcome back to Space. Degon here alongside Ox and
We just spam Sappy Seed
to break down Game 3.
We've always said that generous Giga Chads, there's no more games to give. You know, there's no more games to give at this point. They've given enough. Need to lock in at this point.
This is not going to Silver Scrapes. You're clueless if you think this is going to Silver Scrapes.
We also,
you're actually just ill.
Of these games kind of had a suspicion towards which team would be looking better coming out of draft, and then those suspicions were very quickly confirmed, and then followed up by a one-sided stomp.
Bro,
game
where?
One, funnily enough, I think was the most wobbly, but both game 2 and 3 now, we came out of draft, and me and Ox were talking about it. He in particular was not burdened like I was by my fear of my team losing. And it was specifically, for me, the blind trundle. Like, I keep going back to this.
Ooh.
We gotta stop doing this. Just, it doesn't work. Trundle is a really good counter pick when you know the matchup you're playing into. There's a lot of matchups he's really
Sappy
good
Seed,
into,
Sally.
but there's also a lot where he just doesn't do anything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think for me it was the fact that you have like this
What the
Maokai,
fuck is that? I've
Galio,
never seen that
Trundle,
Pokemon before in my life.
Jungle, mid, support trio, which just I feel like really doesn't inspire too much faith. I
Bro,
feel like
where's
it's
a
just
good
such a weak
theory?
skirmishing combination compared to like the Zed and the Annie. We've seen Zed be so good as a counter into the Trundle. We saw Lucid have an absolutely pop-off game, and there's just so little damage. You know, MF isn't really that high of a DPS pick. You have to set up the ultimate to get a lot of value. And even then, she's constantly going to be under threat from the Zed. And I just kind of came out of this draft and was thinking, who is ever going to kill this Aatrox? There just really is not a good answer for the Aatrox. And especially if he gets like an early solo kill, which we kind of saw, it was never going to go well. So I think just they didn't do it themselves any favor in draft. If they do fall behind, it's going to be really rough. I was thinking like at least like MF is a strong lane into the Kai'Sa, so maybe there's potential there.
What I've learned is Mega Gyarados is bait.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little worried about. The last draft where they won, felt like they borrowed the homework from B&K Firax. So the ones that they've came up with their own answers hasn't quite worked out too much yet. If you ever wanted to see what it looks like to subjugate a Zed as a Trundle, well, we've got you covered here in one of the multiple plays that Lucid was able to make on the Zed.
We also do see that Lucid was able to clear his full jungle.
Oh, Malveal.
Because that's clear speed.
Malveal.
Insane. But it was this kill that kind of set him off. And then from that point on, he was just aggressively pushing his lead. I'm kind of with Atlas that I think that Lucid has looked best on like these duelists, right? Things like Lee, things like Xin Zhao.
Azumarill.
That is kind of a different flavor of jungler because if you don't assassinate your targets, you don't offer a lot. Fortunately for DK fans, in this
actually,
game,
let's have a little sniff.
What happened when the Zed does get ahead, as Ox highlighted, I think this was always going to be a draft where if DK does get ahead, there's just not a lot of counterplay because you just get to blow up targets en masse. And there isn't a counterplay on the cross map because you're not going to be able to dive the Aatrox.
And there's just so limited options in all those fights there. It seems so unfair. In the Trundle, the pillar doesn't really do anything to you. If he's going to lose the fight, he can just get away, and then he can obviously re-engage and look for angles to execute with the passive. The MF just, that is, of all the 80 carries, MF feels so unplayable into Zed. If a Zed is fed and you're playing MF, it is an FF, turn the monitor off, just leave the game sort of angle.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the idea behind the draft was like, all right, let's get into like Drake 2 fight, you know, around 12 minutes we'll have items. D+ didn't allow that even to happen here against the Bros. And then it was truly there at the Otacon in the top side of the map where we get to see one of the best items in League of Legends.
Now, the game was kind of already won, but we didn't want to go through this segment without showing you this beautiful, beautiful flanker again.
I mean, this is the thing with when Gordrinker was strong, Aatrox was one of the biggest abusers, and Sunder's Sky as well. Especially when a comp lacks damage and you can just freely find windows to get all that healing. It's just kind of absurd. Just the big green numbers coming through. And
bro, where are the good Pokemons?
You're never cutting through this. Like,
where are the good Pokemons
all 5 of your members focusing him down, and even then, that just means he has more targets because there's so many melee targets on the composition, more people he can heal off. So, yeah, there was no answer, I feel.
Yeah, we did have hype by Executioner, so that was nice. But that didn't obviously change the game, really. And again, want to echo what the cast was saying as well. Shiu in particular was someone that really struggled in their final series against
I'm going to catch a Rayquaza, watch this.
Reasons, I think, why that game 5 fell apart so quickly. Both because he had a really bad laning phase and the rest of the team wasn't able to cover for him when there was repeated attention. I do think that it's been very blue side favored and the drafts have played such a big part. I think that both these teams need to just embrace the fact that we said it yesterday as well, just play something simple, as that is actually a really big deal. We are getting deeper into Fearless, so matchups will get a lot more lopsided, but blue side has been heavily favored here today.
Yeah, interesting, because we've had situations before where teams have opted into red side, often favoring when you really want to lean into counter pick.
Now, Rayquaza, now, watch this, ready?
I feel like that wasn't really the issue with the last draft in terms of those. I will say, like, obviously the jungle matchup was something that wasn't really favorable, but I don't think that was obviously something that came down to side, as they won red side before and ended up with a bad draft.
Yeah, Bros were able to get a win in their first series against Nongshim on the red side, looking to do so here with no more losses to give. Will D+ move on, or will we get yet another Silver Scrapes? Fingers crossed, Dagon. Fingers well and truly crossed. However, I'm a little worried. I know the Bros love balance, right? Blue side win rate getting a little bit out of control.
LPL All-Pro 2020. Deshai, Kanavi, Knight, Jackie Love, Lamau. LPL All-Pro 5 years later. Deshai, Kanavi, Knight, Jackie Love, Hung. Damn. That's called legendary status right there.
Obviously, they have a plan. We're going to get into the
legendary
draft here and
status
find
right
out
there.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, that is the big question. I mentioned Zeri in the last draft.
Wait, is Hung Lamau? No, that wasn't the point. That wasn't the point.
We are
You're
now
such a rage
right?
baiter.
Like, there's even
That's
less
no.
engage to lock her down.
Yeah.
I think Hype, this is your angle, I think, to play that champion.
I mean,
I don't think you're going to be picking it early on red side, but
there is so much potential for Hypercarry, because not only is there not a lot of engage left over, I think it's Rakan that's the only thing that's really left up.
You're not 100% SP ban for all these reasons.
But there's also
Bro
Nautilus and Fire being
chose
taken away,
red
which are
side.
the things that can
Now,
really lock
don't
things down.
let your
Inara
guard
obviously
down.
does
They're
have to be
doing
banned, like
something
you
here.
talked about, no Wukong, and no Poppy, and no Talia. So the dashes are certainly going to run rampant in
They're
this
doing
game.
something
Yone
here.
and Yunara both taken away here as we are stuck in the Ys. But let's see
Pantheon,
what is going
Azir.
to be going away next. I've written down in very large letters Yorick and Nico. I think both of these champions need to be addressed as Sejuani. So, if we're looking at our jungle pool from what has been played so far here in the play-ins, Sejuani, Skarner, and Nocturne are the only ones that are really sitting in that, like, A
They
to
need
B
to ban
tier.
Azir and
Then you
Pantheon.
have other
They
niche
do.
picks like the AP junglers
They
that we
do
haven't
need to
seen
ban
in the
them.
LCK. You have the Lee Sin pick, the Viego that's still relatively valuable. I don't think we'll be seeing Showmaker play that again in this series, but he certainly could try for it depending on the comp. I think a lot of the tools that help empower that
Nice.
pick
Pantheon's
are
open.
gone. They were
They
definitely
have to
gonna
ban
Azir here
Pantheon.
no matter what. They just wanted to discuss
We can
some
ban
other
something to
potential picks
empower
'cause the
here.
Sejuani is gone. Heard something like a Jax. The
What could
other
be
top lane
empower?
picks that are kind of interesting and still available are like the Jace that we've seen rising in popularity. So the Yorick you mentioned for Morgan always sticks out like a sore thumb. And I mean, there's no Sejuani here now. Picks like the Jax go down in priority was banned in the previous game.
Tristana
interesting, saying I don't want to deal with any of those AP jungle
So that stops like a Tristana
I
Ziggs.
wonder what this indicates as far as the first pick is concerned. Tristana often picked into Galio, but obviously that was played in the last game, so has been fearlessly banned away.
Just, I think maybe trying to deny some sort of, you know, red side AP.
Why does
jungle
someone link
pick,
this?
maybe.
They're all retired.
Yeah, as Twisted Fate will also be taken away here, so Pantheon is up as a global pick, and that is.
It was for
I
TF
think
first
part of
pick
what
actually, the
this,
Tristana ban. That makes
ban was
sense.
trying to say.
Yeah, okay, well, they're going to pick Pantheon.
Well, we get Pantheon at least.
So the jungle question mark that I had written down is now going to be somewhat solved for one side of the rift, but Croco, I mean, right now it's like
There
Nocturne or
isn't much
Skarner.
left
Of
to
course,
match
Nocturne
Pantheon
can
other
kinda
than
answer the global
Jarvan.
pressure a little bit by turning off the lights
So
and
be
dashing
ready
over
to
someone.
pick some mobility.
But I don't
Yeah?
know whether it's
Yeah?
got the same amount of synergy
need-
alongside it without the
Showmaker?
Oriana's there and
LeBlanc?
things like this.
Yeah,
for
or you
that
need
follow-up.
a really strong side laning champion that you can play through.
Well, the Yorick wasn't banned.
Yeah. So we
Nice.
picked Red Side versus
There it is, Jarvan.
And
There
maybe
is a
Sivir.
world here where you
For some
blind
reason, I
LeBlanc
completely
and they
blanked
pick
on
Lissandra and it's gonna look
so this is
sketchy.
actually a decent trade.
Well, they didn't pick it last time when it was a pretty obvious and free choice, but this time they do lock it in. Sivir,
What
pretty
mids
strong
are
to
open with the
Pantheon,
dash that
pretty
works
strong
with
wave clear.
Pantheon?
You don't have necessarily a strong global to pair with it
What
here. The
mids are
Rise
open?
is gone.
I mean, we could go Gwen
Zeri
or
Lulu,
Jax early. We could go
think
like
you
Jax and a mid laner, or we could go full
or
bot
you
lane.
could go a different
Could
direction.
go Xayah Rakan.
Which is a show us your Draven.
Could
I don't know
go.
about picking Draven
I don't
into
like Ezreal.
Jarvan. That's
Yeah,
not a good way for things to go disastrously.
I
I
don't
think
know if I
this
like
is not
Xayah
actually
Rakan
a
either
serious
because they'll
pick,
go
but
Sivir Lulu.
I hope not.
It could be.
Zeri obviously.
Zeri is so easy.
Yeah.
Oh my
this is what
god,
we were
let's
kind of
go
expecting.
Zeri Lulu.
And yeah, so they do just slam Zeri Lulu. As it turns out.
Nico is up
we were
though.
right.
So this is not a
Oh,
free win in
God.
the lane for the Lulu as it often has been.
That's kind of crazy that I.
Oh, you'll have to
that
see it.
slipped my mind as well.
Match
okay,
point,
let's
pick
go
Zeri Lulu.
together. That is a very
Can't
strong
get
red
caught.
side.
It's a strong pick
And
with
let
the
Beryl
Jarvan.
die.
And I was wondering
If he's playing
if
Lulu.
if there was any other mid pick that's high prio enough here to grab in this case instead. And like D plus Kia knew they wanted the Lulu because it helps follow up on Pantheon engage, helps keep this area alive, it helps you in lane, but you're going to be laning into the Nico no matter what, assuming there wasn't some crazy pick here for closer that
They could
I
have
was
gone
kinda thinking
Zeri
maybe
Zeri.
D+
Yeah, they
were
could have gone Zeri
expecting when they
Zeri.
let that one through. End of the day though, it's not going to be the case as not a missed ban, I hope.
Well, it is going to be the Gnar.
Nar, 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 nar.
yeah,
Are they
we
thinking
know
of
that.
Cassante or what?
Yeah, I mean
Are they thinking of
Gwen is
Cassante?
so strong in this situation with the Sivir, right? Like,
yeah,
and you don't want them to
I
have
don't know
their
if I
hands
should
on
ban
it, but
Gwen
you have
yet.
big
Jax is
priority
still up.
here, as you know, the Pantheon plus the Gwen is so incredibly powerful.
I'm a bit concerned about
Gonna
Cassante
continue
for
to be banned away here.
bro.
An interesting one.
What else do they decide to ban here? Like the Jax value is pretty low. Jace, if you want to play the Gwen, feels like a pretty good champ to take away to protect
There's
it.
Yorick,
But then they might just ban the Gwen, in
Gwen,
that final spot.
I wouldn't
Cassante,
mind a Jax
Jax.
ban.
That's what's
or,
open.
You know, angling to pick that one up themselves, but you could ban it away and really put yourself in a position to be able to play
So
the
there's
Gwen.
Jax,
Yorick is going to be taken off the board as Morgan's
Jax,
like, if I'm going to
Cassante.
play Gwen and
I said the fourth one, I
then
forgot
don't
what I
get
said.
to play Yorick, then neither do you.
If they ban Gwen, maybe you just go Camille.
Oh god, flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, Morgan has played
I wonder if they are looking for Jason or Cassante.
Yeah, no, I like it for the bros. That's a better angle.
Yeah, no, if they get their hands on it, you're in trouble, but somebody's got to lock down the Zeri, right? And ban Cassiopeia instead. That has been one of Closer's favorites. Usually into the Rise.
Someone
ban
remind
Cassio if you want to play
Showmaker
Rise or
Fearless,
Silas.
The Rise has been already picked.
So if you go for Gwen, you have side lane power. With the wave clear you have in mid, you can kind of just control tempo on the map. If you go for something like Camille, you just kill Zeri. Like, that's your game plan. You get on top of Zeri, you kill Zeri, you hope that is what is going to happen in every single fight. If you go Cassante, you get neither. And you just hope for front-to-back team fights with your Sivir later. And you go, I'm just going to let this game go late and hope for the best.
Gragas, perfect.
Okay, I'm
not a good matchup.
Entirely sold on the Cassante lock-in here, as Gragas
but it's a tank.
is the hover.
I really wonder what you're doing for mid.
I thought was
actually
Gwen,
Rek'Sai top would go crazy right now.
Instead, I suppose.
Any Rek'Sai top enjoyers?
Oh
my god, he's doing it.
There we go.
LeBlanc is such a... I knew he would go LeBlanc, and then I think Closer is going to go Lissandra, surely. Surely he goes Lissandra.
But hold on, we'll wait and see. Like, Shiyu, it's certainly not an Orin angle.
It's an Olaf.
And he's just going to play Gragas.
They're just going to play Gragas, okay.
I think Closer has to go Lissandra.
Honestly,
Nico, Lissandra, Jarvan.
Feels pretty good.
What is there? Morgana, Lissandra.
This could also work.
Oh my god. Lissandra mid goes insane on 5 here.
Is what they're going to consider. Yeah. That does add some frontline. And there are some champions that do like to auto-attack in this game. That's
Akali's
an Akali
awful.
lock-in.
That's a free win.
Closer
GG.
has decided
doesn't Akali get revealed by the E from LeBlanc?
It's going to be a close game, I think.
And also Lulu is in the game, so that makes Akali's life horrible.
Because this game has two insanely strong
scaling
elements with the Sivir and the Zeri that you want to play through. There's a lot of explosive pieces on the top side of both of these comps, though, in the LeBlanc and the Akali, right? And then the Pantheon that can follow up so easily on any sort of aggression the LeBlanc brings through. If you get first turret early on in the game, like D plus Kia have so much agency. Honestly, whoever gets first turret is going to have such a good time. Matching the wave clear for the Sivir is going to be a bit of an issue, I would say, for the side
but it's
of
Closer.
D plus and the Zeri.
I like LeBlanc into
Akali. Both these drafts aren't really what we would call standard compositions. They aren't simple to play. They're both hard to play. So I do think that if we have a team take a 5,000 gold lead, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, by the way. You know, like, this is the kind of game where all it takes is one swing on a late game team fight, one crazy LeBlanc pick from Showmaker, and you're right back in it.
I'm very intrigued about how both of these compositions are going to function. I can see how D+ want to be playing this one out, but it could also be very, very scary if the LeBlanc starts to fall behind, if the Pantheon doesn't find the value. And on this side, certainly the Akali is going to be a little bit of a risk. Cassante being some ups and downs. Let's get onto the rift, see what happens. Game number 4.
Why doesn't DK play Mordekaiser? There's only one man in the world that plays Mordekaiser right now.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 4.
Yeah, this should be a free win. Zeri Lulu
talk about this, but Barrel's been having
into Akali with a LeBlanc.
Lulu again. And last time he did that.
Why would he go Akali on 5 here? Am I blind?
Like the lower third of the last time
it's good into checks.
No, let's not do
Akali.
that. As Barrel's just going to face check.
What the fuck are we doing, Barrel?
As sometimes
I actually think he could have killed him there.
I wouldn't even call that a caster curse. That's just like a caster truth.
I think that was a caster prediction.
Yeah, an accurate caster prediction as well.
Sometimes you like it when your point gets proven. That time I didn't like it when my point got proven. As Ward does go down immediately on top of Bros Ward.
Like at the end of the day, it is technically an even trade of summoners, but the Flash more valuable than both secondary summoners for Hype and Palu. And, you know, it's a big win here for the side of Bros bottom lane in a matchup where
Showmaker LeBlanc, holy, look at that skin.
Able to add a lot of poke damage.
I don't know what skin is that. Is that Program LeBlanc or some shit? He's just walking with aura.
Fun, to watch. Very rare to see both of these mid laners that are more assassin-based and less supportive.
Yeah, a lot of burst potential on both sides. I feel like a lot of finesse in these fights as well. As Showmaker should have a fair bit of agency early, but obviously we know that Akali just wants to live
skin is
as the game goes on.
This is the kind of D+ draft where you can just kind of say, forget team fights, forget team comp synergy. We got a lot of comfort here, and we have big outplay potential. And individual players can pop off, and even if our team fights in 5v5s aren't that clean, it doesn't matter if Showmaker finishes his Magi's, you know?
Well, we'll see whether he does actually build one. He does certainly like to, especially on LeBlanc. As aiming and barrel a little bit
Bro
split
will win
at
this
point, looking a bit awkward, but
Akali's
tell
not
me you're
doing so
clueless
hot.
without telling me you're clueless.
Closer's not doing so hot on it either.
Hasn't quite found the same value that he has in other seasons and other years on this Akali. Has in the past been one of his big picks, of course, came into the LCK as the Aurelia one trick, but did find a fair bit of success on the Akali, especially when she was a lot stronger earlier on.
Yeah, it was such a strong counter pick to Azir for a really long time. Not the case in
Nice.
this meta. And,
Love that trade.
Unfortunately, is going to struggle in most matchups in the early game. Showmaker is going to use his Electrocute as aggressively as possible to try to further that lead. Paulo's just going to look to fish for some potential snares and otherwise poke here as they push this wave in.
Yep, aiming, dashing after hype here momentarily. Does get hit by a bit of the boomerang blade. But as long as you get the cannons, you're just
I don't want to
happy.
watch Zeri Lulu versus Sivir Nico.
This
Yo,
will
cameraman,
be
can we watch mid?
mostly biding time.
I want to watch
for both
LeBlanc
teams,
Akali.
right? Both Sivir and Zeri
I feel
won't
like
be
the
getting
bot lane is
to,
just
you know,
chilling.
2 to 3 items to really feel comfortable. As
Ooh, it doesn't
Lucid,
check.
yeah, just barely not seen.
Lucid, he's all.
And Lucid actually was paying attention towards his bottom side of the map. Now it's going to be a 2v2 and a 1v1. Is now Paulo getting chased down, aiming though, going a little bit aggressive. Is hype.
Oh,
Not
God
going
bless.
to flash for it, but does get aiming's flash for his trouble. We're running out of summoner spells. As Lucid's also running out of position on the map, as things are looking a little bit confusing.
Yeah,
Standing
Aiming
on
is
top
not
of the
here.
Lord right now as Barrel's moving up.
W
We'll
the
see
crab.
whether LeBlanc can move down, as Showmaker
Or
might need to help out, and he is going to be
press
able to
nothing.
get down there.
All right.
The pros will be able to claim their prize in
Okay, we get
form
top
of
crab.
a crab.
Yeah,
Bot
that's
wave is
what this
awful,
all
I can
ends
see
up
it.
into, as aiming has to back first, but ironically is probably going to like it now since hype stayed
Ooh,
so
bot
long.
wave
He's
is
just going to
sketchy.
get back to the lane first with Barrel rushing back over as well. And so a relatively even trade. Scuttle goes to Bro, nobody dies. And Barrel's lack of flash is not punished. Aiming, losing both summoners doesn't feel great. Whereas this is, every time we look up here, I'm like, whoa, something
Mid is
happened
gapping
since
though,
last
that's
time
good.
we were up here.
I feel like the turret may have hurt Shio a little bit, based on where the minions were.
Chad,
But
what are
as
the
you can see,
chances that
things
Gam
very,
makes it
very
to
even
Worlds?
between our two top laners at this stage of the game. Shio just going to immediately be teleporting back to that wave to try and put that pressure on once again. Teleport going to follow there from Morgan, so no real advantages one way or the other as far as that is concerned. And Lucid
Hi,
back in his
really?
jungle, just going to continue the clear. We'll be able to get rid of his top side now.
Just going to go back to this lane here where both laners had teleport back in. Neither mid laner have backed yet, so just sitting on initial items here, which gets harder and harder for Closer. Obviously, will want to back as soon as he can, as he's still sitting just on that door and shield. Health advantage here is slightly going to the favor of Bro.
Yeah, Barrel does like it when he's at about 300 health, though, as now they're healing to try and catch
Nice
up.
sidestep, really nice
They're not
sidestep.
going to quite find the tackle bobs.
Yeah.
That was
Beautiful.
rough because he looked a bit like a sitting duck. Polly was getting ignored, but unfortunately, you got to hit that.
Yeah, if you hit that, it's a completely different story. He has to heal. And Barrel's about to have his flashback, so he's not feeling great
The
here.
mid lead is
Hopefully,
shrinking a
Beryl
bit.
has flashbacks to winning worlds. That's
Yeah.
what I'd like to see. Instead of flashbacks to previous games of this series, that would certainly be good.
And maybe
Gam just need to win a best of 3 in their Worlds. Wait, really?
I think
Wait,
this
is
lane
that
is
today?
going to relatively even out from here, unless someone makes a big mistake. We are looking to see if Paulo hits a big snare. Spell should getting a ton of value here. As Lucid is coming over, but like so is Croco, and we're going to just 3v3
It's the same
again.
play. It's exactly the same play all
And if
over
PSG
again.
wins, do they
this
go to
time,
Worlds?
Though, Lucid is going to have an added
They do,
advantage
right?
because
Winner goes to
his
Worlds.
mid laner is roaming down. This control ward going to get cleared out as Lucid. He's the one that face checks, immediately finds the stun onto Croco.
Closer's here too now.
Yeah, Flash does have to be burnt here. Showmaker does
Nice.
put him on a leash. Now Closer finding a bit of an angle. Connects the shuriken backflip, but decides to not dive into 4 people. And to be honest, I respect him for it.
This might be like the most damage done in the first 7 minutes of a game, resulting in no kills. This is actually an insane amount of fighting here on the bottom side of the map, but nothing does eventuate in terms of a big explosive gold advantage. But
Okay,
just lane
I mean,
pile for Showmaker that
jungle
you're
trade
seeing in
flashes.
a small gold lead. that D+ currently have.
Am I happy that the game is 0 kills, or am I upset? Because on the one hand you have LeBlanc Pantheon, and the other we have Zeri Lulu. I think I'm fine with it.
Looking pretty good on the Cassante, especially in this
Chad,
one.
you know what I think is super underrated and actually like insane?
On top of it,
the LTA intro song.
To pressure here.
Lucid so close to 6, man.
Yeah,
that song goes crazy hard. It lives in my head rent-free sometimes.
What he is doing now, and we'll actually just decide that's
I think that's the best part of all of it, that song.
Top side, we'll take the opportunity to back because the lane swapping pipe into the top lane. And the next big fight seems like it's going to end up eventuating on the Grubs.
That's not what I was talking about.
Everyone is posturing right now. 15 seconds until they spawn. Closer has gotten out of the toughest part of this lane and is starting to be able to match farm here. Get that cannon though, surely. Yeah,
nailed it. 5-point strike going to be enough there. Hextech Cookie completed here for Closer. Looking like a dash cannon first item.
Wait, that's crazy to me that all you have to do in the LCP is win a BO3 and you're at
we
Worlds.
Will see both top laners just
I need to check out that format.
In the Grub fight. Lucid tried to start this up. He's going to at least get some minis.
Yeah, we do have an immediate rotation over the...
Hollow is like one ward if they still get HP away from 6, but he doesn't have it. So unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Beryl also doesn't have wild growth though. Both of them.
They're 6.
Yeah, pretty important as now.
Oh, we are going.
There's the Grand Starfall. Hollow does find the knock-up though, and immediately Lucid is taken down so incredibly low. But first blood goes over to Showmaker. Finally, Closer is able to lock that one down. Just presses R on the Pantheon, but has to use it to get himself out.
Doesn't
and
Lulu
now DK
counter
with
ever on
control
this
of the
game?
area. Now we've got some ults flying out on the bottom side as well, as she with some fancy footwork is able to avoid Morgan. But Morgan didn't actually go all out in that play.
We're just going to continue to skirmish here. The answer seems to be yes, as Beryl just does not quite get hit by that shuriken on the black flip, but
like Beryl
still going to be able to push
now
this lane
cannot
up into the top
playing
side.
Lulu.
Only one grub was secured, and it was for Bro. Otherwise, just a trade of kills on the junglers, mid laners, the ones who received them.
Oh my god, he missed the chain.
Yeah, Closer actually going to be able to find an angle here as he does go into his shroud, but Lucid's found him. Now Showmaker having to flash away from the Akali, who does have the passive.
No way are we dead there. Why does he snap back? What?
And Lucid may not actually win this one as the Shuriken backflip is going to connect. And Lucid gives him a good old thumbs up as he slinks into the jungle.
Why doesn't he snap back?
Go for the 1v1. But in the meantime, Croco is on the dragon. And Lucid's just going to have
Beryl?
to go over.
I don't know about if you really
yeah,
want
he
to
wins
find
that. Beryl wins
here.
that.
Well, he does find him regardless. As 2 seconds, Showmaker is
E the
now
minion in
back
Q,
up
flash
again
EQ.
as he's just dead. So that is going to be an execution. No kill going over to Beryl this time around.
Why?
There wasn't any vision on for like where Lucid was there. Otherwise, obviously, he would have tried to maybe do something different there. He was looking for the execute initially, and he's like, I don't know if they're following me. Tries to channel back, and then eventually just goes for the execute. And will get away with it, but that's a big swing of gold over to this Akali that has a dash cannon online.
Healed to get an XP range. He was easily in XP range, wasn't he?
Yeah. Everything else
Did he heal and run in a straight line? I feel like he healed and stood still.
Get picked up here eventually for D+ after it as, Xiu.
Xiu was kind of looking for it. It's kind of crazy. Health bar pretty low.
He did have advantage, yeah.
Grandmaster's Might is up and available
Croco though.
Yeah, looking to make his way in. There's a Cataclysm to start it off. He does get
Jarvan
stunned,
versus
but
Jax,
thankfully
Lule.
he gets the flag and drag out of there.
And that was unfortunately for Croco.
I am the
Jax under
storm
turrets.
that is approaching.
I like the idea, but that ultist doesn't do that much damage yet. Lucid actually coming down here. I thought maybe he would make a play here, but doesn't quite have his ultimate back up.
Two behind top.
Okay, here comes Showmaker.
Oh my god, the flash knock-up on Lulu.
Pop Blossom going to pick up
There's
the Lulu,
no way.
but Hype is in no position.
Wait, they're double
to deal
TPing, what?
damage. Aiming, locking down the kill, but the Shuriken backflip doesn't connect onto the Zeri.
Oh my.
Perfect execution's exactly that though from Closer.
What the fuck, that worked?
The turret Showmaker.
What?
I don't know whether he's going to be making his way out of this one. He's going to see what he can do as he goes back to the ulti, but there's just too many here.
What?
And Lucid, way too
What the
late.
fuck?
As Morgan can tank this one up.
What?
For long enough,
That-
Closer actually picks
that-
up the aggro.
that
I thought
worked.
Morgan was definitely
That
dead
worked.
there, but it's a bloodbath, but one in favor of the Bros.
Xiu gets a little bit of extra time down there, but don't ever underestimate the Bros. They're ready to scrap. They're down to scrap. Sometimes they sit back and brew, but if you think you're going to TP flank and they won't show up to answer,
bro.
think again as we go all the way back to this play here earlier with Closer.
I watched Heretics and fucking Vitality dive each other every level all day yesterday, and they fucked it up every single time. And bro
And ends up having
8th, 9th place LCK can dive like that.
Execute himself. We know what happens after
And
this. I don't know if we really need to
we're
watch all
supposed
of
to
this,
win.
He knows that Lucid
What?
can't actually kill him, but he doesn't want to go on the shuriken because the
How
stun
the fuck did they
prepped,
dive them there? Are you kidding?
Stacks there.
Did you
And then
see
over
that?
Here, Showmaker goes in. And it feels like, okay, this is going to make sense. This is definitely going to work. But Closer also TPs and Paulo.
So Closer, Q R1, E's out of tower. E's back, R2's the Lulu. What? Morgan
here,
tanks.
it's
Oops,
just a
drops.
sick play.
W's
Honestly,
the shot.
Bro,
Out.
Really just calling out the bluff. Saying,
Redive.
Yeah, I think that flank is enough, but
Drop.
we actually have more members here. We
Tank,
win this.
kill
And
with
the
Hype.
Pantheon ult
Hype
comes
was tanking
through
that.
So late,
Like what the
instantly knocked
fuck?
up. Nothing he could do.
Really, really nicely done there by the bros. And showing that power of friendship can actually win you games. Everyone getting involved, getting in there together.
That was like one of the
there
coolest
is
dives
now
I've
a
seen
gold
all year.
advantage for Closer, sitting up by about 400.
Anyway.
Even though the CS deficit
Congrats,
is
bro. You're
quite
clip
large.
farming. Good job.
The game
One clip
is
before you
still,
get
I
knocked
think,
out. Fair enough.
pretty dead even, but when you have one of these explosive mids starting to pull ahead, the outplay potential becomes kind of insane. And, you know, Showmaker did get a small lead in the early parts of this matchup, but now that these kills have started to come through for Closer, this is really, really scary, right? And when we see that Herald spawn in 2 minutes' time, I think it's going to be incredibly high value for either of these teams who pick it up because of taking that mid turret off the map, meaning that these assassin mid laners will just have so much more agency, so much more pick potential, so much more flank potential, especially in Showmaker's case on the LeBlanc. But even the Akali is going to
Aurelia, Akali, Yasuo, Yone, all that shit.
And the fact that Morgan gets a couple of kills kind of bailed him out. As you can see, the gold lead is minuscule between the Jax and the Cassante, but the CS margin, about 20 at this point in time. It's like 3 waves in favor of Xiu. It is a bit of a big deal, but has been mitigated by that last play as Closer in a side lane. Going to be a very scary prospect. Tanglebarb's not connecting here by Polu. As we know, the Nico can be an absolute monster in setting up some fights, but can also,
Cassante
like, if
lost
you whiff, you can
3
sometimes
waves
just
for that
explode. And Polu has been a problem
So
there.
what are we going to do about it? We're going to carry the game alone, right?
Showmaker did unfortunate.
Xiu, right?
Yeah, this is a very, very volatile game state here because, like, the Zeri is ready to pop off in a team fight. You have so much setup here for her, and you also have Showmaker who can threaten the back line as I have a bit of a...
Aiming needs to be a little careful. Bit of a poke war. Still fishing for a little more, but now we've got an ult in from Lucid, diving right on top of Hype, who goes on the hunt.
Is Lucid?
And Polu going to split some shapes, and it is just going to be DK getting back control of this mid lane.
Yeah, just for a moment here, heavy commitment, but doesn't matter too much as
Yeah, Morgan does need to be a little careful. Xiu, now that he's got his Trinity Force, feeling so much better in the matchup, starting to bully, is now continuing to go for it. Finding the empowers one after the other. There's the ulti from Aiming, looking for Hype here. And with the wave crashing in, Hype very, very low. We'll see whether Lucid goes for anything, but that spell shield makes the Pantheon by himself a little difficult to make work.
What I'm saying
go straight for Herald
is he's
here
making this
with
champ
the
look like
advantage
not
they
a
just
first
gained.
pick
Instead, they're
champ.
gonna kind of back off.
It's looking like
Could
a
be
B
dragon
tier.
opportunity as well if they'd like to go there, but I think making something out of this pressure that they've put together is
They kind of just made a lot of great small plays and then said, okay, we'll back now. And so Bro are going to be feeling, I think, phenomenally about how that exchange went because they had so many disadvantages after that exchange. And Kroko is going to go straight to Dragon here. Question mark pings on the Herald because neither team has vision. D+ do not know about this Dragon take or anything like that. So they're completely blind right now. And in fact, Bro look like they're just going to get this Dragon for free. And because D+ don't have vision on Herald, they're like, just gonna maybe lose both, you know? Like, Bro get this one, they can actually go up and contest the top side.
Can we cross map for a Herald or some shit?
Really well played by the Bros. DK not really worried about dragons at this stage of the game, I guess. And when you've got a Zeri, I mean, she's kind of the win condition. You don't need to worry as much about it as Xiu going to walk up a little bit late. It is going to be an Infernal Soul.
Double Dragon on the high roll here for Bro.
Yeah, feeling good. Also, if DK can stack up 4 of these, they will not have any issues with damage. Let's just say that.
True. That is very true. As Xiu here really continuing to put the pressure on this Cassante, but if he doesn't get kill pressure, it takes a really long time to wear down that turret, but he might be able to do it on this next push.
Look at how aggressive Beryl is positioned. It makes me nervous.
If Xiu gets this turret, it's feats of strength, by the way, which is kind of crazy. 16
nice
minutes into the game, almost 17 minutes in.
Yeah, getting pretty late, actually. one more objective for the Bros. So, like you were talking about, if this Herald is going to get contested, you best hope that, okay, in goes aiming, finding an angle here.
Kill.
One more
Beautiful.
flash. Does get aiming in there. The wild growth to keep him alive.
Live.
Can he skate his way out?
Beautiful.
Does he even want to get out? As he gets so
Aiming
much of
carrier
his health
shit.
back. And DK
It's like the baton.
find a
We
pivotal
passed the
fight
baton.
just before the potential
Who carries the game?
Herald.
Beryl never gets the baton to carry the game, but it's between like...
And they're looking for more! Oh, in goes Showmaker, just surfs his way through. That is going to guarantee the Herald maybe even more.
LeBlanc has long been kind of considered a counterpick for Nico because of her ability to catch her on flanks and to hunt her down, but this is really not the reason. This is just full map control, full topside control of the lane there, and Showmaker finds a stray Palu and takes him out. It's a ton of gold, inconsequential on the objective.
Siwu really has been just at a payphone in this game.
Getting that extra bonus is so
Enemy
massive
top
here
has
for
2
D+.
kills, but he's 3 gold up.
As look at this collapse here onto Hype.
Oh my god, now it's getting boring again. Oh, the team that I want to lose is winning.
There is no more lockdown for the Zeri. And then Palu here, he knows Showmaker clears this ward, but he stays and dies.
Yeah, I think it was just a distortion, mimic distortion, and he's dead. So a little bit unfortunate there for Palu. We mentioned Palu is going to be so important for the Bros if they're going to get us to that game number 5. And that is 2 items now done for the Zeri. Certification question mark. I mean, it was looking a little bit dire.
I mean, I considered it for sure.
No. He has no mana costs.
I'm gonna try to look for it.
Well, he did.
Got it.
Jabata.
And then calls to go for Herald, which they did secure and will secure the mid turret, which is scary because LeBlanc got that bonus kill, and now there's no turret in the mid lane, or there won't be once they decide to destroy it with the Herald.
And now, next objective for either team is going to be Feats of Strength. So that is a whole lot of fun. See who's going to be able to lock it down. So far, Dragons have belonged to the Bros, but this time, DK, I don't think they're just going to give up Soul Point for free.
No, I don't think so. And the mid turret being down also really helps them set up for plyo for any objective on the map. And this is a Sivir who just lost mid turret. Now, that's not what you want to be doing in this combat. That's really a big way to describe this game state is the fact that Hype's just been kind of hanging out, trying to defend a turret, sitting under turret.
Yeah. And now 1-3-1, right? It's not something we've really spoken about
Why are you
yet,
making a deal?
LeBlanc and Jax.
No, you can't do that.
Side lane
Mods,
support
guards,
in
hello?
a
How are you letting this
Pantheon.
happen?
Even the mobility of a Zeri who
fuck?
can actually skate over a lot of walls to get
The fuck
away
is this?
into the action if there is going to be some sort of skirmish.
I mean, they have 2 grubs. It's not 3, but it's still a lot of extra damage for these 2 champions that are winning both of their side lane matchups right now.
Yeah, and will continue to do so, right? It's not like later in the game Cassante
All
will be
they've
able
got
to beat
to do
Jax in
is
a side
stop
lane.
the
That's just
soul
never
point.
what is going to happen.
Stop
it's not
the
a
soul
thing,
point.
And the Jarvan can only pick 1, whereas the
Mods,
Pantheon
hello?
can impact
You there?
basically
Guards?
2 at
Anyone?
the same time. As I think the way back into this game for Bro is just a really big combo here with Palu and Croco.
But I think it has to be team fights, and it has to be aiming, getting singled out, all-outed, destroyed, and then they win the fight, right? Their chase down is actually incredible, right? With Siva, Akali, like there's so much mobility there. And lockdown with the Jarvan.
I think though the problem is if everyone goes in onto aiming and Showmaker's just waiting, he just also kills Hype 1v1, and then you're like,
just know that
oh,
DK hasn't lost a
kinda
tower
far
yet,
back.
okay?
And Jax
Just
either
know that.
Takes
I'll
over
just
the
tell you
fight,
that fact.
trade 80 carries so the fight slows down, and she using a side lane, killing your turrets, you know? The game state here is so tough for Bro, and if you could describe those fights, okay, this could be a scenario where...
oh, wait! Yeah, Close are going to be able to find him here. And aiming is really dead.
Okay, well,
Why was he there?
Caster Curse, maybe?
Yeah,
Caster Blessing for Bro, maybe?
I'm still not...
He's like, I'm Zeri. I'm like, well, there is an Akali over there,
Some
though.
of this play,
That's a 4th
like,
kill for
I need to
Closer.
investigate some of it.
I think scholars are still asking the
That's right before Soul Point, by the way. Like,
yeah.
So you're telling me 20 seconds before Soul, my AD carry runs in solo, gets caught, eats into an Akali, uses nothing to save himself, dies and gives him Soul Point, and a 600 gold shutdown.
whole lot of tempo and momentum
And it
back
was
in
an
the favor of
accident.
the Bros.
I mean, just suddenly
What
off
are
of a
we
pick
doing?
like that, and I can hear Chronicler's voice from here. I can hear Caedrel's voice from here. That's,
what are we
that's
doing?
not the pick you wanted to be giving over. Now, they're going to turn this into an Otacon take here on the top side. Closer has TP. Morgan has TP. But
they have no vision.
What is that call out? Hey!
They just don't have any vision here whatsoever. I think they simply have to give this up.
Well, Xiu is going to teleport in.
Okay, they're going to commit to a late contest, but it's just way too
Free
late.
Atakan. I like that. I like that. I like that.
They do know. So they can
commit to a watch. They're going to
We'll
check
take that. We'll take a free Atakan.
Feats of Strength did go over to the Bros.
Yeah.
But the
Bro have 0 flowers. 0 flowers, 0 playoffs,
just like
0
to see him
bitches.
not randomly in the middle of nowhere for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Look at some of the advantages in XP that come through. Like both Xiu and Aiming get a full level lead. Same with Barrel. Bro, not a pedal to their name.
Oh God, it's 33
I didn't want it to be like this, bro.
Not a single one.
I wanted DK to beat Fearex, and then you could take out Fearex.
Like, you just don't like flowers, I guess.
I mean, the generosity.
But it didn't go according to plan, so we're gonna have to take you out now.
Gonna get this turret in the bottom.
What does that
lane.
mean when the guy's crying and he's got the gun?
Even. And I still think the same problems that existed in the last time we asked this question, like before this happened, is how do you kill Zeri? Like, this is one way. If Zeri just walks in here, by the way, look at the map. There is nobody here. Like, Xiu, I guess.
She is just like, oh, I was just getting the Cinder. Like, see ya.
My AD carries walking in alone
up there. I don't
with a 600
but you
gold
don't
shutdown
get
into
that
Nobition on the
opportunity
Dragon
twice,
Soul
surely, right? Like, Aiming's not going to do that again, so you still have to solve for Zeri.
Do not tempt fate like that, Wolf.
I
know we want 5 games.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do. That's kind of why I'm like trying to figure out how Bro can kill him.
This game's unfair. Bro has a limited oxygen supply.
Twice,
well, my chat told me yesterday that if you breathe oxygen only, you die, so
you have to get the soul.
That's not a good
excuse. Win the
excuse.
next fight. You actually have to win an objective here. Down on XP because of the pedals, down on map control.
I think Aiming is killable. In, like, the Bro comp does have the tools, right? Pop Blossom's there, All Out is there, Morgan can hold down Aiming so that Hype can get the damage. Closer has a lot of burst. If they are able to get initial CC onto the Zeri, they will be able to kill her. The problem is,
just don't
maybe
let them have
Showmaker
soul.
just kills them. Maybe
Just
Shadow
don't-
is
just
going to
don't
be
let
too
them
much
have
of a
soul.
problem in the backline as well. And
it's a lot of ifs, you know?
Yeah, this is actually the type of Zeri comp that I really like. One that has extra threats. And DK certainly do have that. Like, this is triple threat comp, and Lucid's also pretty strong.
Yeah, it's so scary because Deep and Fearless, like, you know, it's hard to draft into the Zeri. D+ were like, yeah, you want Sivir, you want Wave Clear, I'll just take the Zeri, I'll take the team fight. And they got a lead in this game, albeit slight in gold, and they are down 3 dragons. I think the scaling really favors them because they have so much map control. Like, look at the mini-map and tell me that Bro have an opportunity. Croco's finding one!
Yeah, Croco gets him. The Pop Blossom comes down,
Nice,
Aiming just
we're
off
outie.
the wall. He does have to ghost, has to use flash, gets the wild
Lucid.
growth. Lucid also has to flash, but that
What?
wasn't... That was his fault, I guess, as now he's going to dive on top of Hype. Now he's dead, though. Hype going to be able to lock down
That's
that kill.
fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay,
they can't do
use
anything.
the Zeri
Baron's
to
interesting.
kill the Pantheon.
They can't do it, they
I got
can't do
it.
Baron,
Yeah,
they can't do
that's
Baron,
the
they can't do
strat.
Baron.
In this case, Aiming caught again, but this time it's Croco who sets it up, and...
All right, Closer. Dashing on in. My whole brain is kind of a question mark thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, Aiming lived,
Jarvan
but he
just
some
killed
fouls,
red
so now
buff 2
follow-up,
seconds before Baron
picks
spawned, and he could have
are
given his whole
potentially
team
gonna
red
be
buff.
massive. You won't have
Was?
that flash for the Dragon fight. Baron is also up here. We are 25 minutes into the game now, but I don't think either team is interested in that right now. I think the Dragon is 100% where all eyes will be. Neither team has really any vision set up there. Bro has like one ward kind of in the area, but top laners here with TP. So I think this is going to be a 5v5 fight that may actually be game deciding.
Chat,
and if D+
stop
win,
typing
it could be
Zeri no
series
flash in the
deciding.
chat like you're on Bro's team.
As they will show up for it. They're
They
not
can't
gonna give
hear
Infernal
you.
Soul over to this
Okay,
Akali,
Zeri's
over
fine.
to the Sivir.
Yeah, you would hope not. And they also want to be going for fights, right? I mean, they probably do
You're like
want an
shot
extra
calling
item
in
on
the
Aiming,
chat.
but right
Shut
now
up.
it's item parity between himself and the Sivir.
Is he picking it up right now? He might actually have enough
If
money.
it's IE,
I
then
think it is.
IE.
It is.
Yeah, that is
Boom.
perfect timing here. We'll see whether Hype can actually get there before this Dragon does spawn in 35 seconds time.
Like, this is
Shut up,
it.
rat.
Like, the miracle run for the Bros we talked about after they barely
Here we
beat
go.
DRX. If
Bro.
they get completely crushed here,
Setting up
I
around
think
the Dragon.
that is all your
DK,
hopes of that
the
World
better team.
Championship down the drain. That
Ready to
LCK
retake.
Championship down the drain.
Siwu level
I mean, they
16.
can give this Dragon, though,
Showmaker
right? They
with a little bit
have
of poke.
3 Dragons in pocket.
Full
There's
vision on
plenty
Bro.
of time here for the
Showmaker.
Bros.
I just think
Doesn't
they don't
get any
want to
poke.
give any more scaling over to this Zeri. They want to get this and
Could
get
come
the
down to a
longevity
flip.
from it right now.
He misses.
Showmaker,
No spell shield.
Spell shield out from Hype.
See you on the bot side.
On a flank
Morgan
angle,
turning on
though,
him.
as Morgan
Showmaker a bit of
immediately turns
hope.
onto him. Showmaker gonna
Trying to land
stop
it.
the follow-up, but
Flip
he
back
still
on
gets
Shiwu.
pulled back on the hunt.
On the hunt.
Going to come on through here is
Bit of damage onto Jax.
Showmaker gives Shiwu a
Shiwu
target,
jumps
but
away.
it's not exactly the
Shiwu no
greatest. Now
TP. Morgan
looking
keeps
for an
going.
angle as the Dragon has been
Gets
pulled
rooted.
out.
Gets
A
rooted
fight on
again.
multiple fronts now, but
Dragon
Hype gets
started.
back to the rest of
Showmaker
the
cooking the
three.
Cassante.
Showmaker continuing to
Shiwu
be
rejoins
annoying
the
though,
team.
and Morgan
Closes
is
on the
put
right.
on a leash.
W proc by Morgan.
Showmaker's
Steal
taking
used by
Morgan
Polu.
for a walk. And okay,
Onto
now
Lucian
Lucian
they go.
and Croco battling it out. It's going to be about this fight to see whether
Yo, there it is, there it is.
coming
DK win that,
in.
DK win that, DK win that.
Already starting to pop up.
DK win that.
It's going to go down. It's a bloodbath.
They got soul though.
They get the Infernal Soul, but they get nothing else. And Croco going to try and make his way out with his life, but I just
Can you
don't
end
think
mid?
it's going to work as Showmaker connects the chains.
Can you end mid? No
Will go,
joke.
that's
Is it
the
over?
ace. And now let's see what DK can go. Can they just win the game?
I think so. I think it's just done. They went for the fight. They went
Are
for
we
the
done?
collapse, but
Are we done?
Showmaker said no. And D plus continue the run, keeping
we
their
done?
chances alive here. Bro, no one to respawn. And I
We're
suppose
done.
here in game 4, Digon, it's truly
That's
Brover.
fucking right.
It is unfortunately Brover. for
Doubters
this
be
year,
damned.
but remember,
Hate
we will
watchers,
have a plan
wasted your
that
morning.
Protax will still make
Today
it.
is not the
As
day
DK,
that
they will
DK
too.
dies. Not
now
yet.
Up against
Not
Nongshim
yet.
for that last spot in the playoffs.
Maybe
DK
tomorrow,
keep
maybe
themselves
next week,
alive.
maybe one day, but not
DK
today.
make it to the final day of play-ins tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Nongshim
Nongshim DK. Winner goes through, losers out.
Of the year to the World Championship.
And I know who's going through.
Results haven't always been lifting the trophy, but for Barrow,
Fear
it
X,
was at
we're
least
coming.
twice across 2 different teams.
We're coming for our revenge.
Bros, the year ends here. One final fight for Dragon.
Farewell, bro.
They look to try to collapse on that flank. Shiu deletes Hype
Farewell.
from the fight, gets on top of him and takes him out. And I think for player of the match here, you've got multiple different options.
Farewell.
Insane performances from Lucid Shiu, having outside of the tank game a pretty great day today. Showmakers, LeBlanc, pretty insane. And yeah, naming the consistency he showed across the series might get a few votes as well.
I would agree. I think, like, I'm a bit sad that Lucid's Pantheon performance wasn't fantastic. But his Zed, man, maybe he just deserves POM just for how well he played in that game. Aiming like you say, I mean, the Varus was very forgettable, but outside of that, Killer Instinct on the Kai'Sa looking pretty impressive.
Was that just showcasing that barrel left already?
Yeah, that
All right, tomorrow's the big one.
I guess that's what that
Tomorrow's
was.
the big one.
You can see Showmaker class was
All right, Cham, peace it.
the crowd because I think he knows that
I will be back for LEC in about 3 or 4 hours. In about 3 or 4 hours, I'll be back. Normally we'd stream all the way to LEC right now, but I gotta do some things. I gotta do some things in the next few hours, so I'm gonna get them done. And then tomorrow, after LCK, we play Silk Song all day until LEC starts. But just today, don't say fraud pace, it's just today. Just today, I'll be gone for a couple of hours. I won't be gone for long. You're just mad because DK won. I know, it's okay. Calm down, relax. Next stage is acceptance, buddy. Next stage is acceptance, buddy. All right, I'll be back in a few hours for LEC Elimination Series Best of 5. Okay, deal. I'll see you in a few hours. Tomorrow we got DK Nongshim. IG is not tomorrow. IG is on Monday. IG is on Monday, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Oh, IG is tomorrow. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, AL's on Monday. All right, chat. Take care. Sleep well, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, morning, evening, wherever on the road. Big kiss. And I'll see you in a couple hours. I'll see you in a couple hours. I'll be live in about 3 to 4 hours, okay? Bye. Bye. See you in a few hours. Bye.